Inspired. Whippo is already down here in the bottom part of the map, while Inspired is up near his chicken camp. Looks like everybody on 100 Thieves is going to be heading towards this bottom half of the map here too, as we're kind of in this weird stare down where everybody's down here for some reason, but nobody really wants to take anything crazy early.
Yeah, they are just kind of 5-stacked here, seeing if there's going to be any sort of shenanigans on an invade, but does not look like it's going to amount to too much. Sometimes you will see teams, especially when it is kind of really spicy bot lanes, send a lot of people bots just actually get brush control on the side.
Or so late for us to start the stream
and to make sure
here.
their opponents cannot get one as well, because that side brush control can actually mean so much in some of these matchups. You can see that Masu is going to be playing cleanse. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, anytime there's hostile takeover on the other side, you kind of have to pay that cleanse tax. And it is going to be heal from Busio, so not the most aggressive as far as like going ignite or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you can see it, Whip was actually going grasp here instead of you know, the electrocute, or sometimes people do comment and stuff like that. So this is obviously, you know, going to be maybe a bit more consistent, like a little bit kind of lower variance here. But Whippo, obviously a player.
Chad, I can't lie. Technology's about to make me crash out today. I'm about to go crazy, and we just
bringing out the Vladimir we saw against TL.
I'm about to lose my mind right
now. In the past, he was known for things like even like Rengar. He's been known for his Volibear. He's been known for his Urgot. Like, he has such a unique playstyle that really makes him different to prepare for than any other top laner in the league, and I think it's such an advantage that FlyQuest do have, especially in this kind of fearless era. As we're going to be moving on to best of threes and best
Technology
of
is doing everything in its power.
Reaction here, you know, from Castle there, I believe.
It's doing everything in its power to make me go crazy, but we're trying to lock in.
Holy crap, that's champion. I didn't know what it did, basically.
Sorry for being a little late.
My top, and you
Dream
really
Elements
can get an edge in that way. It's
really
like,
wonky, and I was trying to get it all figured out and had to make a bunch of changes and stuff. So
go play solo queue.
I don't know.
That you get some weird random
I don't
guy
understand
it.
I don't know why it was doing what it was doing.
Like, that's what you got to do.
We're here now.
Is kind of getting smacked around a little bit here by Sniper in the Mega Gnar form, and I like that you talk about the
we can now officially lock into League of Legends,
because I think specifically
how's everybody doing
in the
today,
context of North American professional League of Legends, even more so, it's also an advantage for
Destiny.
I feel like historically North American teams
Good
have
to see you in the
not
chat
made
already.
the most use out of Red Side 5th pick, like last pick in the draft.
How are we feeling about the League of Legends matchup today?
And having Whippo willing to play
FlyQuest is 2-0. We're 1-1.
Nobody else is willing to try.
From what I've seen, FlyQuest is apparently the best team.
It really does. I would actually even take it further. I don't think it's just
North
America. I think historically the only region that has done it very well has been the LPL.
I'm still learning the League of Legends stuff
in the
here.
LCK and the LEC, it's kind of similar things where Red 5 just ends up being some kind of like standard meta pick that you could have just blinded and it would have been the same matchup, right? And I do think Whippo is one of those guys that makes it really, really hard. You know, he's drawing bans, he's doing things, and he can also still play these meta picks that are more standard. And we'll see, you know, how that top lane is going to go. Obviously, it's an HP advantage for Sniper. He still has his potion in pocket, largely because Whippo, I think, just kind of overplayed his hand on the wave and didn't respect the level 3 timing there from Sniper, so he's able to get a really nice trade in. And now that wave is slowly pushing away from Whippo.
Ooh, Busio caught out there by the handshake. FBI continuing to go forward, needs to hop
keep
a little
hearing
bit
Busio,
further.
and
Just a little bit more damage
I feel like I hear
enough.
Busio.
FBI on the chase, but he cannot get quite enough damage there with the Rend. So Busio low, but not all the way down. He and Masu both, however, down below 200 HP, forced back underneath their turret.
They're both super weak.
Mistake there from Busio. He was too slow on the clone. So what you're supposed to do in this matchup is
it looks like a lot of space gain.
They're going for a dive, but Inspired's here.
Inspired's ready to try to shut this down. Busio and Masu playing on the knife's edge, trying to stay close enough to bait their opponents in for Inspired, but not close enough that they end up getting killed themselves. FBI down to about 50 HP. The bailout has landed, but it's not going to bail out a damn thing.
It felt like we might have been overcommitting there.
They might have done better in the 2v2, but it's a 5v5 game, and Inspired shows up first for first blood. Sniper flashing out from Whippo at the exact same time as Whippo flashed forward too. So both top laners now also without summoners.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because Masu didn't even end up having to use his summoners at the end of the day. He held on to both summoners.
Again, so, I'm still learning stuff here, really, but that seemed like a little bit of an overcommit there.
Masu gonna die now as well as he was trying to reset that wave.
But River does get a pick, so now we're tied up.
That wave
we're tied up on picks here.
Yeah.
They're actually, so they're
still down in gold,
so they're going to send Sniper down towards bot. He's going to be the one to actually get to collect all of these minions.
That's a happy Gnar.
That is a very happy Gnar. He's going to be in a great spot off of that. You can see built the Executioners already very early on here.
Okay, so what was River just fighting right there?
And we're just going to see how River was able to get in. The wave was really, really bad. Masu says, you know what, I'm just going to flip it. Going to try to reset
how
this
are we
wave.
feeling about this match?
And that is just a freebie. Masu,
I need to get some of your guys' takes
I don't think River even really needed to flash. Maybe he was worried about,
like I said, I'm still learning League,
and then it getting turned around on him. But does
so
any
info I can get,
pretty happy about it.
Maybe thinking that Masu might try to flash away since he still has the summoner spells. If you flash right before he flashes, you'll still buffer the auto through the summoner spell and instantly get the kill anyway. But Masu just holding on to it, knows he's dead there. You're a 300 HP 80 carry, and Zinjao just jumped out of the bush. There's not really a whole lot of outs in that situation. But Masu and Busio up here on the top side now against FBI and Ayla, and Inspired is
great response by
in the
River.
brushes yet again. Just hoping FBI and Ayla get a little bit too aggressive so he can immediately turn around and punish just like he recently did.
Yeah, they saw the vision plan just get hit, Bo.
There it is, Inspired jumping right on in, and FBI is in danger, caught up in the tangle barbs, and shot down again. The bailout is too little, too late. Masu getting his first kill of the game.
Inspired had such good patience there. He actually waited for a
get
really
the void
long
grubs,
time.
It looks like.
And then they got the info that River was around because he hit
I don't remember what that does.
Jungle, so they realized he's not in lane, he's not going for a counter gank or anything like that. So they have the
dragons
opportunity
give
then, as soon as
power
FBI steps forward,
increases.
He waited a really long time.
Remembering that,
Ayla out trying to
give some form of a power increase.
But not really going to happen.
And then
River, though, going in after Quad, who immediately goes into the Soul Unbound, and Inspire jumps over the wall, ready to help out his mid laner. There's the Yone with a Fate Seal. A little bit more damage is required, and River is down. Nicely done. Feet of Warfare secured, and Ayla's going to be the next to die. Inspired flashing over the wall, looking to keep himself alive, but it will not happen. Shut down over to Quid. 4-2 game for FlyQuest as Quid now tries to make his escape. Busio's going to block him up here as Masu provides covering fire over the wall with a 90 caliber net right back into his own side of the jungle.
Not making it out of this one, though.
Ari, a little bit more will do it, and the Pilt-over Peacemaker does the job. 5-2 FlyQuest.
Not looking great
FlyQuest getting a
in the
huge
kill category.
Advantage off
but
of
I mean, the other day the Thieves were
able to finish off the grubs, and then the rare
Team Liquid, and then Team Liquid just had
one
wave of kills, and the entire game was different. So
from River for sure. I guess they
I don't know if we have the right
to try to make some sort of a play, and then that just looked like a misclick from Ayla. He
hopefully that'll be the case
instead of on River there. So they were a little bit stacked. I think that was a misclick, and that definitely hurts them as he ends up going in. Definitely disappointed with how that play worked out. Bailout on the wrong target, that is critical. I don't know if they would have had enough juice to actually get the reset and then maybe make that fight go very differently. It's hard to say, but either way, it's going to be a frustrating moment when you commit your flash
what's that logo
and it doesn't go where you want it.
I think we have more kills in 8 minutes in this one than we had 28 minutes in the last one.
Yeah.
These teams are
what do they have the lead on when it comes to that?
And particularly Inspired, paying attention
that's
to
not towers.
When you have the poking non-committal bot lane duo versus the all-in duo, you know that all you have to do is be there when they try to all-in your guys. Otherwise, they're just going to get suffocated the entire time. They have to all-in eventually, and Inspired's doing a great job of punishing that.
He really is, and honestly, in the 2v2, it's got to be frustrating for Ayla and FBI because there was this mistake that was made by Busio, and then you're in this position where you can zone them off their own tower.
It's crazy. They're talking about
the game and get this big advantage.
Busio made a mistake, but then they still ended up coming out on top.
And they chase, not respecting where Inspired could be, punishes them there, and then lies in wait up in that top lane side brush for
I don't know what that says about the Thieves or what that says about FlyQuest. Which one?
Nearly a 1,000 gold lead despite still being down a couple CS. He is really off the races.
Up here in top side, though, the mid lane battle continues as Quad will just snap back to his original position here. Gets the slightly better trade on Quid on the Ahri. We do have only that first feat claimed by FlyQuest, but they're 1,500 gold ahead thanks to all the kills that they've managed to secure for themselves.
Yeah, it seems like they have a good chunk of
champion who does have a singular gold advantage over their lane opponent is Quid on the Ahri, up about 150 gold there. But really not feeling too great about that, even if you're on 100 Thieves side, because Quad was a part of that big outplay that they had.
An absolute Drake on
the backside of the grubs and really just get so much from it.
Yeah, exactly. They tried to punish there, but didn't quite have the damage And we can see in the head-to-head, it has been pretty much all Bwipo. 8-3, massive gold advantages. This time, Sniper doing well. It did take them a lot of bans to kind of potentially get these matchup, but still, Bwipo did have counter pick. He was last pick on red side, and it is Sniper with those
I don't know if it's just because it's like League of Legends or what, but seeing a little like
pretty much dead
fluffy
even,
dragon
at least have to
looking
push. Maybe you can be able to grab a plate here as well.
Fighting a
Something
giant
interesting this game, a minor thing, but still
giant
catching my interest.
armored
Red
character
Smite
with a sword
inspired on the Sejuani.
just seems
I feel like
so
this
juxtaposed.
is not very common at all. I feel like I'm always seeing blue or green.
Seems like a very interesting,
I'm kind of
combo
curious as to why he exactly
facing
went
off
for
one
it.
another.
I mean, you do have a little slow. You have a little bit of damage when you smite. I'm just trying to think, like, does he think that that is maybe more important, just getting a little bit of a slow for a chase down or something?
Maybe particularly on Callista, because slow's
that's kind of
affect
what
her
I was
ability to
thinking.
hop. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's the only thing I
So
can
there's
think of
now
too, is
there's
that it's
now
just about that, valuing that
Drake
more than moving
and
speed out of the brush or the
the
additional
Void
HP
Grubs,
shield.
I believe,
When you do
right?
evolve those smites.
that have spawned up.
It's possible it was just like a random misclick or something, but Inspired is very calculated in how he plays. So if they win, maybe we can actually interview
so
him and ask him about that. His
symbol is the
Smite, 'cause
Void
good catch.
Grubs.
It is definitely very atypical, and gonna be 6 grubs for FlyQuest. That's tough against Caitlyn, man.
Ooh.
You have this like siege 80 carry now with 6 grubs. At the very least, Sniper does have push here. You can see that Bwipo had already based, and Sniper's going to be able to get the Demolish proc, get at least another plate.
If we were to
do grab some gold down on the
if
bot
we were to
side,
take down the dragon,
2,000 gold lead here.
how
for
would that
FlyQuest.
compare
It is
to the
6
fact that
grubs
they
to
have
0,
the
no dragons being taken by either
grubs.
side. Means 100 Thieves have not been able to trade anything back.
Will that kind of like level it out a little bit, or
from a lead,
do they still have the advantage?
Where once you reach mid game, they are going to be the ones that are first to arrive to the neutral objectives.
Big-ass
Normally, that's always hard to contest in any given game of League of Legends, but against Caitlyn especially, the ability to block off an entire entry point into that objective fight with a line of 4 or 5 traps just makes it that much more difficult for the team to approach. And when you look at this roster for 100 Thieves, Gnar would have to be Mega, or Xin Zhao jumping in with an ulti is the only person who can really afford to try to step up and clear those traps away. And I feel like 100 Thieves' job trying to contest neutral objectives in the mid game will be very difficult this game.
Yeah, it does seem really
dragon
tough.
as well.
Like you say, and you have that line of traps. You're walking through potential poke from Bucio, and if you do overcommit,
is this going to turn into a team fight, or like are we going to try and take the dragon?
There's so much CC there to follow up if any bit of CC hits. So FlyQuest are going to be able to grab this. River says, you know what, it's not even worth risking it. If he goes in, he's very likely to die.
We're just not getting the
be a really low percentage play.
Ocean Drake either. So this helps for healing, right? That's what I believe.
For FlyQuest.
First dragon of the game and third neutral objective on top of their first to 3 kills means FlyQuest will snag the empowered boots off of that objective take as well. Everything going their way here in the early game. 100 Thieves are going to have to stop this bleeding. It's not like the game is so far away from them that they're just staring at death's door, but they really need to find something to go their way here soon.
And I'm checking in on the Sejuani thing to see if it's something that's getting popular in solo queue, but yeah, there's almost no purchases of Red Smite on Sejuani in solo queue either, so definitely not super popular build, but yeah, maybe we can find out from
Nobody's taken a tower yet, but it looks like
that and kind of maybe the edge he feels like he's getting from it. We are going to have Quid doing this kind of pretty popular build now for Ahri. People are really liking the Roa build path. It got some slight buffs as well. And so we're seeing a lot more of this kind of tanky style of Ahri. We're seeing a lot of just Roa into Leandries and this kind of like more...
This is interesting because I feel like this is the most amount of kills that I've seen
dashing in and out, you're applying dots, and you're
before
just
having
more disruptive
a single tower be taken down. At least out of all the matches that I've watched.
It's lower burst, but you have more consistent damage over the course of a longer fight. Also, the health to participate in such a fight. Turret going to drop down there in the bottom lane. FlyQuest has to retreat over in mid. Sniper staying alive down there in the bot side. Is Inspired turns it around over in mid lane. River down to about 100 HP. Tries to jump in, needs the bailout. Masu's still alive, and now he's in a killing spree. 100 Thieves thought they might have got something, but they are immediately corrected in that assumption.
Yeah, quad TP's in as well to try to help
so
cover.
we apparently can't seem to win a
getting a
team
number
fight,
of kills. It was a really
like.
good hostile takeover from Ayla across multiple members there from 100 Thieves. Now in goes Quad.
Oh, Quad jumping in, using the Fate Seal just to get extra distance and then trying to jump on top of his targets, but not really.
I also didn't realize FlyQuest got a turret as well.
At the very least, though, we could see Sniper and Quid were able to push Bwipo back off to that tower.
That's
they took
not
the tier 1
ideal.
bot, so they are able to grab a turret for themselves. And the little bit of gold that does come with it, but Masu is just going to be such a problem because Caitlyn traditionally has really strong early laning phase. When you're on like no items, you're just level 1, you're already really going. Quid could be in some trouble.
Yeah, going to have to use the Spirit Rush on this one for sure. 1 charge left. He'll escape, but hey, that means that we've got Rift Herald spawning here in 45 seconds, and Ahri has no ult. Ahri missing ulti is such a reduced threat in a team fight.
Exactly.
We're gonna need some. We're gonna need something here on our side. We have not really gotten any of the benefits here. They got they got the Ocean Drake
game where
they got the
aren't that strong on 1 items. You get really strong again on 2-3 items as Caitlyn.
I mean, at least if we can get something on our side, I feel like that would be nice.
Second, very likely. And then, once that 3rd item comes in, Caitlyn is really high DPS, can be quite difficult to deal with in these fights, especially with so many champions there for counter engage and to kind of build space around her. If you just try to send everything at Caitlyn and then you get hit by the Nico ult and the Sejuani's coming in, and the Aatrox and all these champions are so difficult to actually ignore and fight through.
So the Rift Herald is up now.
Nico is such a powerful anti-dive tool with what Pop Blossom does. I mean, we've talked about this before in previous metas where Nico has been more popular, but that champion is such a heaven or hell team fight experience based on
it looks like we are going to go after the Rift Herald here, but
Pop Blossom, cool. You just won the game.
You're in the highlight reel forever. If fairly close.
You're also in the highlight reel, but for a very different reason.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Lions online having some really good Pop Blossom, some really good engages there last week, and especially as support,
they did just take down another turret as well.
Q&E are even doing that much
They're
damage.
up almost 3K in gold.
Get towards 1 item, probably go Proto Belt, and then it's just all about can you find that juicy ultimate. It's 100 Thieves trying to force this Herald.
Okay,
we'll grab it.
They'll take the Herald. Sniper goes for the Mega Gnar, but does not hit
anything.
End up getting
the
Fake
Herald.
Sealed also going to miss as the ace in the hole flies out. Yeah, it hits Sniper, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Honestly, good play there from 100 Thieves.
Yep, going to be able to grab it.
There we go. We like that. We like hearing
Sniper
that.
says, nope, we're not taking this fight. I'm in mini. I'm just going to flash and not risk getting engaged on. Quad looking on the side here, but can't really find anything. And with all these 100 Thieves members around, I don't think there's really much of an angle for a push here from FlyQuest. So we're going to see Gnar going back down towards bot side. Whipple's heading out towards top. And it's going to be likely Quid answering that top side push.
See, this has been an interesting match
kind of
for me because
that we were in before.
Like I said, the 2 other matches that I watched
in
before
this situation, just
they were pretty like
and we'll see if they
even
look to
overall in
fight
the entire scoreline, and then like one thing would happen in the entire game was kind of like out of hand. But then, like right now, it's like FlyQuest is
because the first
ahead.
was taken
What seems
so
like in every
late, it kind
category.
of feels like we're always one dragon behind.
They're only one tower ahead
because it really was just about that amount of delay on the first take.
I don't feel like the Thieves are like
even
crazy far behind.
Even if they get
maybe
4 in a row, it'll still
that's
be quite a timer there for 100 Thieves to scale
not
up towards.
knowing enough about the game still, but
by all means, there really isn't a whole lot of pressure on them to do.
It definitely seems like they're still
kind of doing what I
they're
was
still
talking
in
about
it.
earlier.
You know, like they don't seem like they're out of it yet, despite the score
making it that much tougher
being
for 100 Thieves to come up and try to
the biggest gap that I've
seen. I don't really think there's going to be
at this point in the game.
Here, unless they can get them to kind of come back for this Herald that they're going to drop. We can see that Sniper's moving down towards bot side. He needs to get that Mega Gnar charged up, though. He's got nothing on the bar.
Ayla just used the handshake on the Nico clone, and now coming from behind, Whippo with the World Ender ready to go. River's about to get stunned up. Staying alive for now. Hostile takeover doesn't do a whole lot except create a little bit of space. Sniper still no Mega Gnar. And as 100 Thieves, they don't lose anybody, but those health bars are wrecked. Ayla and River both nearly dead. Ayla having to spend both summoner spells to not drop. And
it's
now
looking like they're going to get another Drake.
Yeah, it's going to be uncontested. They're just going to send a Sniper out towards top. He's going to push and try to trade back a tower up there.
Is this shit over?
It's a tough fight as they, try to drop the Herald.
This shit's over already?
And they preempt the engage because they knew Sniper wasn't there.
It seems like we're not getting a lot going
so
for
with him
here.
not in position, they just force their hand of their opponents.
Oh, but Masu now getting caught out as River jumps in with a Wind Becomes Lightning Audacious Charge. Quad, though, turning it right back around here with a Fate Sealed back into the 100 Thieves jungler. Needs a little bit more damage, but has to snap back to his original spot. Quid missing the charm. Nice sidestep there from Quad to make sure he does not get caught out on his exit.
Yeah, good little bit of pressure because even though they don't get a kill, 100 Thieves keeps them interested in around mid lane. That's buying time for Sniper again, pushing out on this top side. He's going to get the tier 1. But though also pushing down on bot side, they cannot give up free tier 2. Tier 2 is just so much gold, so Quid is going to have to go down and respond, try to defend that. And we'll see how low it is right now. Sniper looks like he left early enough. This tower might just be dead. We'll see if Whipple wants to actually fully commit to it, and he's going to do so. Might end up trading his life for it, but we'll get that tower, and that's 700 gold. Those tier 2s are just so ridiculously valuable.
Well, Bwipo is very happy that Quid has no ulti right now, because otherwise that would be a very dead Aatrox, but he can walk it off, he can get himself away. Big stuff there. Otacon spawning on the top
so
side
at this
of the
point,
map now.
it seems like we have to get the Otacon, right?
Up by Quad. This mid lane
like
tier 1
it's
turret
a necessity at this
also
point.
incredibly low. If this is left unattended for 2 auto attacks, or 1 auto attack actually, considering they've got 6 grubs, it's down.
Yep, exactly, and that's why they've kind of had these members around here for such a long time. Masu just going to be throwing out the ult, trying to get a bit of a chunk there onto FBI, and see if he can actually get it on this wave. Busio kind of covering him on the side, and it looks like Inspired is moving up, but still not feeling fully confident that he can walk up and hit that tower until they see more people responding in side lane. So Quad going to be pushing out top, and again, Bwipo's back down towards bottom. They are going to TP though, and it's going to be a fight here for 100 Thieves. They have Mega. Can they actually run him down?
Yeah, they're trying to make their way onto Quad before he can get any
we
sort
gotta
of
get
escape
this pick
route.
here, right? It's a 4v1.
Nice block from River, guaranteeing the Yone cannot get over the wall. The shutdown goes to Sniper. 100 Thieves get their pick on a critical member of FlyQuest, and now they're making the call to go for the Otacon. It won't drop particularly quickly, and FlyQuest is on the way.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually commit to this. I think they have to at this point. Quad has no TP, so it is going to be a 5v4, even if they are slow. Look at Quid on the side, looking for a charm on Masu.
We have number advantage.
Jumps and he finds the charm on Masu, but it's immediately cleansed as the
I don't know what's happening, Chad.
Inspired and Busio. Now Masu trying to get away from Quid, who manages to find the assassination, and Inspire's looking to turn it right back around onto the mid laner, but it ain't going to work. Busio needs a little bit more damage, and Bwipo was killed off Ayla. Now another hit comes through. Inspired takes down River. There's
so we just got shit on.
bodies in 100 Thieves jerseys, and FlyQuest is going to take Otacon to boot.
Even with Quid finding the fight there, gets onto Masu, takes him down, survives the turn from Inspired. It's just
a 5v4 and we get absolutely mollywopped.
FlyQuest in a 4v5, losing their AD carry early, still win this fight. They basically 3v5'd here as Quid is able to go back over the wall, finish him off, but it's just
dude, the announcer with the commentator, he was talking really fast too.
So hard to fight through these champions.
I was like trying to listen to him to gather what was happening.
They're all in that zone where it's doing AoE damage and it's shredding their armor and their MR as they tried to pile in to follow up on this pick from Quid onto Masu. They all run into the Otacon damage, and then they're all running into the Aatrox that just lights them up. And that is a 5v4 that you lose. Even with the great pick, that hurts, and that could be the last nail in the coffin here potentially.
And I mean, it feels like a 5v5 with Otacon in there, and I'm glad you bring up the resistance shred.
These guys, man.
Like, these guys are really big making plays for their teams.
Like this is over
where Quad was actually the one who got the
I don't know what it would take
to fight. It was, and Quid was the one who was able to find Masu.
Everything is in favor of FlyQuest.
Turning it around because of the Otacon resistance shred. Up to 50 flat armor and MR removed if you've been fighting Otacon for long enough. That's insane amounts of extra damage. As 100 Thieves now trying to get something here on Inspired and Bwipo. Inspired with the Arctic Assault over the wall, but that Sejuani is still in a lot of danger. His Aftershock is about to wear off. Ayla ready to join up here. There is no flash available, and FlyQuest have overplayed their hand, looking to try to use those false lives. Yes, it's not as bad as an actual death, but still feels like Inspired gave that one away for free.
He did, but Masu took the tier 2 mid, so that is going to be even more gold in his pockets as we do go into a pause. And yeah, I mean, Quid definitely having a really good fight on that top side. Quad.
So they had that extra life. So that pick doesn't
so good.
That really doesn't
for their teams.
Help us a ton.
Some of the best players in the league, absolutely.
They don't have
Quid
that
obviously
extra
already
life
having won an MVP back
right?
when it was LCS, and I feel like he is again in MVP form here in the LCA. In Split 2, he has been on a tear. But FlyQuest definitely in full control of this one. Have been looking strong.
Just got an update from producers. Busio's game has crashed. So, yeah, kind of hard to play League of Legends when your computer is not running League of Legends. We're having League officials investigate that right now to try to get it back up and running ASAP so then we can get back into the game.
There you go. Well, hopefully he can get on in really quickly, and we can continue things forward. The false life Otacon, I definitely think is way weaker than actually just getting all the plants because the additional XP stuff is exactly. I feel like they actually did nerf it enough that it became pretty balanced.
What was it, like 6 times the charm? the initial Voracious Otacon was pretty strong.
It was insane at first, for sure. I mean, you got a bunch of extra gold when you got kills. You only got 100 gold for killing them, and they respawned in, I can't remember, was it 3 or 5 seconds?
It was like instant. Yeah, it was just a couple of seconds. They were right back on the map. But
now you get 200 gold for killing the false lives, and it takes them 15 seconds to respawn.
Trying to see
it's
where they're at
to
in
force.
their
we don't just see games
here.
end, so I tend to really prioritize when you can just kind of get the Flowers Otacon.
The Flowers Otacon is actually, like, I really like the design of that one because it's the only neutral objective in League of Legends that has 2 phases. Every other objective in League of Legends is just kill the thing. If you smite it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But the Ruinous Otacon, I really think adds a new kind of just like thinking measure to it.
You gotta pick up the loot.
Because you have to pick up the loot as well, right? You can't just
kill the dragon, you can't just leave the gold on the ground.
Yeah, killing the guy is the first half, and then you have to get all the little materials and rewards, right? Yeah, you gotta make sure you're picking up some of that candy.
Did you ever get piñatas as a kid?
No, I didn't.
We used to do them for Easter. I don't know if that's like a common thing or not, but we'd go to my grandma's house and they'd have a piñata with candy, and all the little kids get to take a whack at it. And if you cracked it, if you were the one who busted that thing open, you got the first pick of the candy.
Oh, that's
this
a
series
good deal.
is game 4 right now.
Hold on,
wait, are we back in?
Into the enemy base.
We're just back in and they're already in cheats?
Onto almost everybody, and Quid is down. Masu taking the kill credit on that one. Yes, Whippo is going to trade his life, but it's a false life, so he'll be happy with that one as Quid is dead for the next 35 seconds.
Yep, going to be a really good pick.
Wait, so for false lives, do they just insta-respawn?
Yeah, FlyQuest
is it like they get an insta-respawn, whereas when you
that one's not exactly going to get a whole lot of
die regularly, you have
now
that wait timer
right back onto the fountain.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. You know, sometimes you want to really get something out of it, but at the same time, if it's not a good play, you're still giving them 200 gold for dying, right? So you still are giving them something. But FlyQuest not too worried about it. Still 5,000 in the lead. They're going to be able to grab this dragon. Looks like uncontested. As we can check back on the earlier replay. I think this was how Whippo was able to get in that position, and just finds an angle on the blast cone here, looking for Quid. And is just able to chase after him. Q flash, hits the Q3, gets the passive auto, and barely is able to take him down. Of course, the bailout wouldn't work because false life doesn't count as a kill, so it doesn't count as something that actually reactivates that bailout. And then in the meanwhile, they grab that third dragon, so they're now on 3 dragons, 1 off that Infernal
They got another dragon too.
And Masu has not based in quite a long time. I've got to think he is close to LDR or whatever he's going to be going for next.
The funniest part about that play to me was that Whippo started it off with just about half HP.
I fear we might be cooked,
and it's always one of those things where if I haven't seen a lot of Aatrox recently, I kind of forget just how much spell vamp he has.
They have, like, if you look at their side,
between the passive stab
if
and
you look at their side
people,
he
just like
the scoreboard,
they have
everything,
and it takes them so long to kill.
They literally have
everything.
everything.
Just go into the enemy base 1v5,
especially with Sundered Sky. Like this thing is crazy. Even in a 1v1,
show me something.
20% HP. You're like, oh, I'm full health. I kill him, no problem. Right. He presses R, he pokes you with the passive, gets the Sundered Sky heal, and it's just like all of a sudden he just gained 1,500 health, and you're like, oh.
Oh, well, I guess you really were 20% HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have had a visual bug on my screen. This guy's got a lot more health than I thought he did. But FlyQuest now in a very commanding lead. Like you already said, 5,000 gold. River getting caught out here. This is bad news for 100 Thieves. The jungler's about to die, and he did it for free as Ayla down to about 1/3 of his own health. Now Sniper has to try to get away. There's nothing left for him to do here. FlyQuest having killed River. He's dead for the next 30 seconds. They know that Baron is right there and ready for the taking.
Yeah, they kill off River. They force out Ayla's flash as well with the World Ender there from Whippo. 100 Thieves is going to be pushing up mid lane, trying to get some control there. They have to try.
Oh, Quid with the flash charm going after Masu, but again, he's going after this target that has the cleanse ready. Ayla's going to be next to die, but he gets the hostile takeover out before he falls. Quid barely hanging on the side of the fight. Masu did drop to FBI, but everybody on 100 Thieves is dying. Inspired taking a killing spree as the Callista finally falls. Sniper and Quid both still alive, but barely hanging on with slivers of health. At least for 100 Thieves, they managed to stop the Baron.
Yeah, Quid thankfully barely survives. He was incredibly low, but thanks to that tanky build, does survive. And here is it.
Like
this
we're
look from Quid. He says, you know what? We are in a rough spot. Our charm flash does nail it. Which one's the assassin, though? Because he just got headshot into way more
And the worst part
damage.
is I don't understand what's really happening. I just know that we're getting bodied right now.
Catches Quid and Sniper with a very
that's kind of all I know.
even with all the damage onto Quid, though, still can't take him down. Full Roa stacked, plus the Leandries does make him really tough to crack. But you can see the FlyQuest coaches, they're relaxed, they're chilling, they're laughing. They know that
FlyQuest
this game
doesn't even
is
seem like they're
fully
trying
in their
right
hands.
Now. They don't even
it's
seem
just
like
at
they're
that point where even
trying.
if you kill one of these main targets like Quad and Masu, it just doesn't matter because the top side is also really, really strong. And they have enough damage, it feels like, to kill off these squishy members from 100 Thieves when they're being ignored.
Yeah, FlyQuest is taking a little bit of
like,
free damage here. Quad and Whippo both trying to step up the pressure on 100 Thieves a little bit, but ended up taking some poke in retaliation. Tier 1 turret for FlyQuest, still alive, but very low on HP. As Quad once again going to use that stolen bound, try to step forward a little bit here. Sniper gets caught out by the Tangle Barbs, so loses some of his health as well, trying to force his way back up into this river, trying to make sure that FlyQuest isn't just starting up the Baron. Ace in the hole fired out, doesn't get a whole lot of a payoff from that one as River manages to block the bullet, and FlyQuest are right back to pushing. Less than a minute and a half until that Dragon Soul spawns. Ayla taking a huge chunk of damage as River tries to make the engage, and he's about to die before anything else even happens. Whippo has hysterics to keep him alive. Snipers into the back, but he's already down. Busio goes on a rampage, and Ayla and Quid go on the run. They're the only two left alive on 100 Thieves, and Inspired and Busio are hunting them down. Ayla has been knocked back towards Whippo. He tries to get away, tries to use the Mikhails to give himself enough extra freedom, but it does not matter. Quid is the last one standing, but he will fall like the rest. FlyQuest get a clean ace.
All right, so this game's over, right?
18-5 to end the game as they march on the Nexus turrets. No Baron required. 100 Thieves cannot stand up to FlyQuest, who will move on to a 3-0 start here in Split 2.
Holy shit, we just got spanked.
Nicely done. FlyQuest
that was the
so
most belt ass I think I've ever seen.
Taking down 100 Thieves.
That was actually crazy.
1 and 2 now. Unfortunately, with that loss, this one though,
I'm surprised it took that long.
Inspired. He was everywhere
in
the early game.
Literally nothing went our way.
Cutting down on some of these win conditions for 100 Thieves. I mean, he gets down towards bot side. It was a winning 2v2 in the very early minutes for FBI.
That might have been the fastest watch party of League of Legends I've ever
kill, gets the flash off FBI. Then this really patient gank up on top side where he's waiting that side rush for
We've been live for 30
seconds or maybe even more.
And we popped in as the map started.
Foot too far forward, and he's taken down as well.
And
it was kind of just Masu in this full control position, it felt like, from there.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff from Inspired and FlyQuest. And now we're going to go ahead and break down this week's Pagoda moment featuring Busio's Nico ult.
I guess you can't win them all, you know? You can't win them all.
Quid started off the fight.
Yeah, this is a really well-placed ult here from Busio. Just makes it so difficult.
Well, I know it was very quick, but
you can see Ayla gets thrown out.
Anybody who is in the chat on
hits
Twitch,
members, takes down
if you guys are interested, we are going to be moving over to
and just pushes
YouTube right now, so that way we can be ready for the Call of Duty matches. Or the LA Thieves match. So
really good stuff there from
you're in Twitch, if you're in the Twitch chat and you want to watch that, just go to YouTube.
Thank you very much, Flowers. I'm here with
go to
Victorious
YouTube,
Jungler, Inspired
and then
after
my channel
very
is
convincing win. Let's
Thieves
just say
Talk on there as well.
Last time you guys faced each other
pop
was
in there,
kind of unfortunate
and we'll be live
for you guys
still
down in Brazil. So
watch
what were you
partying
planning
the Call of
and
Duty
prepping
matches.
for them?
So I hope to see you guys there.
I mean, honestly, we felt like the loss in Brazil was just on our side more than 100 Thieves playing well. I think we just didn't really execute our draft pretty good in that playoff series. And today we're just confident going into the game. I think we had a decent
that way
draft.
we
had
have
a really good week of practice.
COD overlay on
they gave
now.
us Juani on, which is like pretty strong on this patch. So I was not sure why they would do that. And yeah, I think we just played our champions to the strengths of them and just won.
When that happens, when you know it's more of like a fault of your own rather than the
We're swapping over to
team,
COD,
is it easier to...
We're swapping over to COD. We just got absolutely
tick.
Oh my
They're so close they can taste it.
Just won.
The first series win for the Vegas Falcons. Vindication for all 4 of those players, for Pred against the team that dropped him. The discarded, unloved champions across the board. They have not only done it.
You're telling me the first
against
Vegas
Optic,
win was
against
against...
for themselves, they've done it for the fans, and that is a 4-box they will never forget.
The first one was against Optic?
Vegas, their first 10 CDL points. What a victory.
Nah.
Wow.
I mean, Optic looked devastated. Paris Legion, the worst roster of all time from the Vanguard season, now need to be feared. They might end up retaining that spot. Falcons are on the board, and as you say, that 4-box of player cams there. I mean, that's camera number 2 gone from Dashy. And that is not a fun-looking team. Even leaving the lobby from Hoog. Apologies to Easy Mac on that front, but this Optic camp, this is, I mean, turmoil to the extreme. I don't even want to make jokes about it.
That's brutal, man.
They just look devastating.
I mean, it's for me, it's the story there really is for the Falcons. It's not only those 4 players who have been,
wow,
yeah, whoa,
out with a whimper.
Yeah, that's they flatlined there. That P4, you could have called it there. I'm no doctor, but you could have called it there. There is a chalk outline of 4 players across the skyline that vaguely resemble that Optic roster. Wow, Falcons put them down, and they put them down hard. Some of the parts that were dropped from Optic have gone on to now find success in their own rights. They're looking a lot happier, but those left behind, they are not enjoying themselves as of this one. Around 11, the only success that Optic really finds in that series. Apart from that, nothing, folks. Falcons win. What a series. Desk.
Ali, we saw it coming. I switched last second.
I didn't see production change it. I think you're safe.
No, they did. I made sure. I even tweeted it. Congratulations to the Vegas Falcons. It took you 21 matches, but you got your dub. They get it over Optic Texas, and you know one man in particular is vibing. It's this one, Xnid, not just Pred. Yeah. He has been here since the beginning. I hope they take him out tonight.
Man, I really feel like
dude, Xnid's got to feel on top of
some of these older guys like Priesta and Arceus, man. He's playing with so much passion.
He's got to feel on top of
and down the stretch of these games, just making awesome plays too.
I'm honestly, I'm happy for
He is a playmaker.
Yes,
he deserves it. They have a great dynamic. So 4 hard points in a row.
I mean, you literally talk about that final P2. It's funny. We're sitting in the green room. We're like, oh no, they're about to get farmed because they're hitting this bottom side. Nobody's trying to go through a pool. Xnid off spawn sprints top hot tub to try and help his team with this push. They get the break. They get the time. It is just unreal.
Can we pause right here? It was 140 to 105.
Yes.
How do you finish with 112 on the clock if you're Optic?
So I'm about to tell you exactly what went wrong, Chris. All right, we are on a P2 rotation, and Shotzi throws his life away. They have the situation, and that is the dynamic shift for Vegas Falcons and this roster, being able to punish teams when they make mistakes. Shotzi throws his life away a couple of times this series. Vegas run away with it, and man, that's got to feel so good if you're Pred or Xnid getting your first series.
Yo, I love it. They're like, don't give me your hand. I want a hug, brother. Khaled, the rest of the crew, all celebrating, well-deserved to the Vegas Falcons. Clayster's been telling us behind the scenes, we've been grinding, we've been working, the work's starting to pay off. Absolutely. Is it too late, Ali? I don't want to be that Debbie Downer, but let's set some expectations. I'm a Falcons fan. I now have hope after this win that I can make it to champs. How do I do it realistically?
I mean, it just depends kind of where your goalpost is, because if your goalpost is to make it to champs, it is a very grim and almost next to impossible road. If your goalpost is to get some wins under your belt, to kind of build Xnid as a player, maybe set up for next year, find the roster you're going to stick with, things are looking so much better.
No, I mean, their champs is going to be EWC,
the Thieves,
right? Like right here, it's about let's try to make a winner's bracket. And right now, it's still attainable, this split, right? If you can start to string together some dubs, make hardpoint that money mode, I mean, they have a chance. The respawn looks incredible in Vegas.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but with plays like this, you have to think anything is possible. It's your scuff play of the game. Coming from the one and only man, dropped by Optic Texas, found by Clayster, and now wearing a Falcons jersey.
I mean, there's just so many storylines throughout the entirety of this matchup, but obviously this was the biggest one. Pred, and this ace is insane. So he gets the first trade on the hook, and then Shotzi, I don't know what Ant was doing, maybe just trying to get a trade, but there's 2 players there. Pred's able to find the second. He peppers a couple shots into that final player. He pushes out Dashy because he knows he's weak, and then he's able to clean up the rest of this round.
He's moving.
He's moving.
He's moving, man. I mean, that gunny is still S tier.
Pred winning the SND, and they are going to take
their
care
first
of business
win is
against
against
Texas
Optic,
tonight.
man.
We're joined right now, though, in our winner circle. Welcome, Xnid,
oh my God,
to the winner
Xnid.
circle on the Call of Duty League. It took you a while, but you're finally here. How does this match win, or I guess, what does it mean to you?
First thing, like, hello. How are you doing? That's I feel like, you know, I feel so better now. This is my first win in the league. We deserve this. Also, I trust my teammates because this I play so good now. That's it. You know, like I feel better now.
He's losing his voice. I love it.
We're all so happy for you, Exit. You know, this has been a very long time coming for you, and you know, it feels like every time we watched you play, we got to see your progression as a player. Did you feel that like the win was coming, like with scrims, with this new team? Did it just feel like a build-up that kept accumulating to this moment?
No, Destiny. He got.
You mean with the new team?
Yeah.
He got so turned.
Yeah, like I feel the winning is coming. Also, like we can win the tournament, not also the series. My teammates like look so good. Also, like I around with 4 ring. Also, my coach had 3 ring. You know, like I feel so better. I can improve so fast because the guys, and also like we will improve. We will do everything good, inshallah.
Actually, man, how much fun? How much fun are you having right now?
That's actually dope. I'm happy for Exit.
How can I say? I'm so happy. I am so, you know, like I feel everything now.
I love that, man. Hey, good luck in your guys' matches, and hopefully you guys can make a run for winners bracket.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll let you go celebrate with Pred and the rest of the team. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you.
Exnid even turned Maven around. He was originally a hater. He's like, this guy won't be around long. Now he's a super fan after watching some big plays. Exnid and the Falcons
is a beast,
get a dub,
man.
but we are on
has
to
been the
match
best player on their
3,
team.
and you can see the Falcons.
Like up until now,
we're
obviously.
asking, what is the road to champs? You're 90 points back. You win a tournament, that's 100 points. You win an online match, that's 10 points.
It is chalked, but listen, they can make a winner's bracket and make some waves. I'm excited for the Falcons team and the process that they have going forward. You know, it was inevitable for them to get a dub, and we kind of set
they just need to outplay
like to be against Optic.
Rocker.
Anything can happen. It's the CDL. Can Boston keep it rolling?
And they have a chance. Everybody that's below Rocker, as long as they outplay them like fairly well, like they're still in it. I just don't know if that's gonna happen. Seems a little too late.
Good job, boys. You guys are slamming.
Yeah, yes, sir. The Arcade Wiz Tracer Pack is available now. Hit the map in retro glory with the Star Player Operator, pixel-inspired emblems, and more.
Without wearing a hoodie, but I'm getting a little chilly.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller
I might
of the Call of Duty.
Go run and grab a hoodie real quick, chat. I'll be right back.
The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Got you.
Can you even believe this place? Sit your slimy ass down.
sizzle sells itself. Someone give me a 10-gallon hat. I'm going full cowboy on these bastards.
You're not sure you have the right floor?
It is so nice to meet you face to face, Plate.
You don't trust me, fine, but you cannot trust her.
The 2025 LAG Team Pack is available right now. Each pack includes home and away operators, as well as this weapon camo to assert your royal will in the lobby. Next time you boot up, suit up at the in-game shop.
Wait, Destiny, what did the Falcons post? I assume something with the Colossal Titan. Oh yeah. That is pretty good. Hey, what's up, Real? Been a minute since I've seen you in the chat. Good to see you back.
Welcome back. There was a gargantuan spotting earlier in our qualifiers. Will Giga Wake turn into gargantuan Wake once again? Today he played against LAG Nameless.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. LAG now the worst team in the league during this split. You know, they've had some close maps. None have fallen through the hoop. I'm expecting Boston to continue to win.
Did that feel good
These
to say?
Siggy smoothies are so good.
Because I called it before. I said this with this Vegas roster can be better than LAG. Nobody believed me. Telling you.
Let's take a look at the Boston roster first here. This is the team representing Beantown.
Destiny, you just want to see Boston lose
strong
at all costs.
At least if you're looking at the numbers in our qualifier so far, Alley.
You just want to see Boston lose at all costs.
From Snoopy's old squad, now with Purge in the lineup.
I respect
me personally, I love the core that is Boston Breach. I just think they've just been a little bit back and forth. I know I don't want to talk too highly of Boston Breach because they're winning their last 5 hard points right now. Like, they haven't been consistent across the board. So for me, they've got to clean it up and they've got to expand their map pool. They're only good at Hossia and Vault. So they're forcing themselves to go to all these lengthy
thanks,
series.
Real. Me too,
I don't
man.
want that Toronto Ultra win to be a one and done.
Cloud9 has been kind of...
It was a 3-0 over Toronto with a little bit of drama at the end of that series. But following it, you went to a Game 5 and you fell in a search and destroy.
But we played against them well at the majors, so I think...
So tight, though.
Yeah, it was
I think we should be pretty,
right? Like, it was a back
pretty good
game
for today's
I mean, that series, like the story was that they just lost both their HPs, right? And this is a team that on the season, Boston, they've been solid in that game mode. Like you said, they have 2 maps they feel like are lockdown, but they're willing to play almost every single hardpoint map, which is good for them, right? So I think the biggest issue with Boston, it has been their control.
If you're from New York, that makes sense.
In almost every series, but as of late, they've started to get better at it. Won their last control, and if you count the Toronto one where they were up 2-0 in control as of late, right? So put in a ton of work there. LAG have their work cut out.
You're done with your team for the season? Yeah.
Fan, you're really going to enjoy this match.
I understand.
You're quite familiar
I understand
with these
why.
squads. Let's take a look at LA Gorillas mates. The French squad giving up on the Lens experiment, at least for now. They keep Kismet, the vet, in alongside fellow Johnny and Lunars.
We played last
He's been competing for over a decade. Johnny and Lunars, though, what should I know about them coming into this match, Alley Cat?
Johnny can be very aggressive. He's one of those SMGs that's going to get in your
Real
face. He's going to try and set pace really
fan.
early, which you think would free up the map a little bit for the rest of them. On the side of Lunars, he's a little bit more
I understand.
but his issue right now is sometimes he speeds up, sometimes he slows down. He's got to find that middle ground and where it fits in with this team because right now there isn't a lot of chemistry across the board.
It's a best of 5. The players are locked in, so let's get to it quick here. Nameless, walk me through the hard points and searches. Control also Hacienda. We're going to get a triple dose here.
I don't love the
I mean, if you're looking at this for Boston, they love Hacienda in terms of the search and destroy and the hard point. Starting to win it finally in the control. I mean, I think if you're Boston, you feel great about this series from start to finish. You have the edge.
Hacienda triple dose. Before the match, I was thinking LAG had a
Haci,
chance.
huh?
I don't even need to know the numbers to know that this will be a Purge and Snoopy playground. It's your Scuff Pick'ems. I'm locking in first. It's going to be Boston Breach taking the dub. They're going to go up 2-1 so far in the qualifier.
It's been a day full of upsets, and I'm not stopping it here. I'm going to go with LA Gorilla Mates.
Wow, she's going 3 for 3 potentially.
Listen, prove me wrong. I could be wrong. I think this LAG team is buns. I got Boston taking this one.
Yeah, real. I get that
Fans,
too.
Boston as well.
I think like
Al has
I think
claimed
one change
the 2 upsets.
probably
Will
would have
it
been
be
fine.
3? Maybe.
But I think
Do you believe in Kismet's crew?
Why the hell
I think
not?
the
I like
amount of
Buns.
changes that they've made has been really unnecessary.
No, me too. Buns are great. Ant was having fun up there. He got to say some things
whatever
he
the
really wanted to.
situation
He's
was
pouring
with
it out.
Fred,
Passion
definitely
from
like
is
ruined
leaking into
everything.
the
Dude,
broadcast.
No, honestly, like it's just like it's contagious. His happiness. He's so fired up. I love to see it. I mean, I hated that
turn
past
that
team
down.
because
It
they were
seems like
so
it's
bad and couldn't win a hard point.
pretty
but now,
loud.
to see his excitement, it's awesome. It's all paid off, Joe.
It has. Well,
maybe it should have happened earlier, but here we are.
You know,
won a series, but
you live and you learn.
Yeah, or you live and you don't. Boston Breach, LA Gorillas, now ready to do battle. And I mean, for Breach, this is
I
mean,
think
it's real important because the fight around top 8 is
I mean,
getting more
honestly,
interesting
like when
by the
Shotzi
second.
started like
now maybe with the way Optics
like
been
chirping
playing,
the
maybe they're in
league,
trouble.
it
Who
seemed
the
like
hell
that's when
knows?
everything kind
Robert
of went
Sanchez
downhill for them.
poised to make runs.
Very
Miami's
ironic.
making runs. I don't know, man. This is like the most interesting bubble conversation we've had in a while. I know we still have. Listen, we still have 2 majors. We got ways to go.
I
till
think
champs
like
and stuff,
the
but
change.
It's fun. I love it.
I think after the whole situation with Fred, I think like change was necessary.
Right? There's progress being
Obviously,
shown.
like I don't know who
through some roster changes, and that's what makes it entertaining.
Like,
on top of that, I mean, Boston,
who they should have gotten rid of. I know a lot of people would say probably Kenny, but I think once they got rid of Fred and they had hoops already, they should have just stuck with hoops. And I know that's maybe like a hindsight take, but I feel like they should. They were playing well with
series,
hoops.
to the middle ground. We talked about the Haciendas, and well, Des talked about how good that could be for Breach. But we'll start things off.
The entire Pred situation, I think, really just messed up
get to work.
the
For
entire
a while,
camp.
I thought he was kind of mimicking Shotzi's gameplay. Now it may be the other way around.
Maybe just he gets 3 to start. He gets 3 to start.
Yeah, I get you, real.
Nah, he's been terrific, but his movement.
Sometimes, like,
this
you
year,
just kind of
seems
get
like he's
stuck
really
in that mode.
Together as a player, granted his Breach team still work to do. He's finally getting shut down. His SMG duo and Purge also going to get locked up. So some time.
Yeah, I felt like there was definitely something between Kenny and Fred when it came to gameplay-wise that it just didn't work.
Really
you know?
maybe set up a quick push in, break, and spawn people out. That's exactly what's going to happen. Well, they have one spawning out, and also going to be Snoopy spawning out. Snoopy's gunfight is continuing. He's finally going to lose that. So Fellows 2, and eventually what, like a third. Ends up being massive for them to get the flip and get set up here for
I would
P2.
love to see Fellow play well.
P2 as well if you're Fellow, so you're a little bit worried there's some presence there over towards
I don't know why.
That's going to be Purge. First gunfight away, just a little bit off. And well, they're calling it if you're a little bit off, you're going to get smoke, but maybe it doesn't matter. Just Snoopy is there. Him and Cammy locked it down, but Snoopy can't take down all 4. Only finds 2, and you're right back in the hill behind Kismet.
Yeah, it was still a bunch of time to earn, and yeah, 4 straight from Kiz. Johnny's POV, the whole thing's on the cross. Him, Fellow, Lunars able to light it up, and now Johnny taking down a second. Beautiful play.
I don't feel like our gun camos look bad, Destiny.
It's upset.
I like our gun camos, actually.
Why not, Joe? Why not?
I mean, I figured we had a game 5 on our hands, honestly. That's kind of what my heart was telling me.
Okay, I mean, your heart.
Hey, real, if you want to come
I
join us for all these LAT watch parties and be a Thieves fan for the rest of the season.
Now, a little setup for
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't be upset with you.
He comes out of the hard point late. He'll be up to 5 straight. He's got a cruise
Still
to
on the
work
hunt
with
to
'cause,
body shield the rocker
but he was
face.
hard the entire time, getting the objective points.
You've
as
actually been like really trying to go for that, Destiny.
You've fought back for the P3 control. You've also found a timing to get it's gonna be the worst fight in the world with that share.
Till next year, yeah. That's.
I mean, the streak is still going.
Like I said, I wouldn't blame you. I started getting to that point
90 seconds now.
with the Cold War Thieves for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he makes the plays alongside his teammates to flip the spawns. Almost gets another one on his Snoopy. A quick trade there, but if you are LAG, you are in a great place. You just have to deal with the player on the hill. Snoopy pushing up on forward. We'll see where 7 and Fellows will. You should spawn out here. Maybe you don't. You a little bit.
Don't want to be called a bandwagon or nothing. Yeah, I get you.
You see number 4 in away.
I respect it.
Starting to look for it, so they know.
Yeah, kind of where LAG were able to get those kills at kind of the big time and transition to P2. It seems like Boston Breach is able to do that same thing towards the P4. They do exactly that. It's like all the kills for LAG came with like 20 to 30 seconds remaining.
You're really going
for
it
LAG,
then, huh?
you have this to use. So
you're really grinding
the
for it.
The Cruise. We'll see if Kismet and Co. can't connect and look for the opener. Going to funnel everybody inside. That's going to be
really
a free
are
cross to the street.
for it.
You know, we saw in our first match how hard it can be just to cross that gap when ARs are in position.
I thought about it, but I was like, I don't
even
play the game enough to like try and do that.
Locks it down, survives it with 2 HP in a dream. But everybody for LAG shut down outside of Fellow, and Fellow's just.
I feel like your best opportunity would be on like this map.
A bit of a long route through our. Okay, he just beams.
How much honor do you have, Destiny?
So you might split 20 of the seconds. That's actually big time.
I think
but
I'm almost up to 3,000.
He's just hoping though when he goes on that route,
I think I'm really close to 3,000.
For his team and they flip, but it ends up he's the only one alive.
But I think I still have some contracts that I could do as well.
What a nutty one, but just 10 points separating the teams. Now to our second set of rotations we go. Early mid-map control.
You're almost at 3K as well.
Boston Breach will be set up inside.
So we're probably around the same.
And we'll see what they can turn this into. Kismet, big streak earlier, trying to find the timing here, and he's able to find just that despite the opening shots.
100T liked your tweet. That's
nice
cool.
Reposition inside the point from Purge to get the angle onto Kiz, but doesn't have the support that LAG has. So they'll run it up inside the hard point for now. Spree time for Johnny as he's on 5 in a row.
It's just like so tight.
You're just happy you're still within 20 if you're Boston. All right, I mean you had such a great P2.
Good slam.
Fellow's shooting right now.
From Kismet.
14 and 8.
14-9
now.
You're just happy to be in this game.
Yo,
right
what's
just
up, Romano?
So one-sided.
Kismet though looking
Good
for
to see you
another
today.
opening.
Good to see you in the chat today.
Thought maybe going to chain together a few there. Not going to be the case. Now the kill is going to start to be real important as a team kill comes in, but with 10 seconds remaining on the hard point. This is where LAG were able to
that
make
was,
the play
I mean,
last
that was
time through,
crazy.
but they had a much
that
bigger
was crazy,
foothold
Romano.
in
I can't lie. I was
you
shocked.
They had the time to make things messy early. This time it seems
I had
Boston were able to get
the
into
league
better
match
position
on,
around the point. One's
and
going to
right
spawn
as
out,
we were
though.
switching
That's
over
going to
to
be
COD.
Awakening. It's going to try and track back. Same can be said
the
the other side
finishing
for
of that
Kismet.
series.
The fight's going to go down towards the front of the hard point out, but it looks like they're trying to pick up Awakening on the other
Discord's been
side. He was the one of the spawn outs. They turned it.
Oh yeah,
because
because a lot of your friends are Optic fans, huh?
One player dipped cat, but
So
that
yeah,
actually went to the hill.
Makes
so he
sense.
just kind of gets lost in the mess, but maybe it doesn't matter. Trying to look over Johnny. Johnny somehow stays up. A great play, great help from Fellow. And now with 30 seconds left, if you control majority this time, it's looking good.
LAG
you have them
is
trapped in the back.
they're
You
looking
have
decent
rotation
right
for
now.
free towards P3, and they're doing well so far as LAG.
I did not think
They're
that was
looking
going to
decent
play
right
out
now.
after
No,
Awakening
not at all.
got 2 on his spawn out because he shifted focus of 3 players literally to him. But the spawn comes in close and you're able to break in, and it seems like you're going to get a majority this time. And
Dude,
what a
I don't know
map from
how Fellow
He's
plays that
20
way.
and
His
10.
neck has
Lead
got
the
to
lobby
be
by a significant margin.
in
Lunars
pain
is
all
guardian
the
angel
time.
during that sequence. A fight going down now on rotation. Quick and Art will be number 4 at Awakening, and 2 people in Fellow. Sorry, and Johnny and Kismet trying to hunt him down.
Yeah, I mean, Fellow's been great with the sub as well. I mean, we've seen him historically run the sub, switch to the AR, so he can do it with both. But nice gunfight and win by Awakening. You're going to put the pressure on Kismet to have to play his life. And Kiz, he's left alone on an island, so you're going to eat up all of this time. Breach just going to try to deal with Kiz slowly but surely. That's going to be Cammy on the pinch. They find him, so good stuff for Boston Breach on this rotation, because it looked like they were going to lose a majority of P2 time and lose this rotation.
Yeah, Cammy was like, I'm not letting Kiz get away and just be a thorn in our side throughout the rest of
LAG
this.
has not looked bad
hunts him
so
down
far.
there. The hot hand and Fellow will
It'll be
fall
interesting to
behind
see how
Purges
this
too,
team
so now they've got
continues to
rotation
play out.
and time. And yeah, it looks like he had spotted. It's based on the arrows.
Yeah, they're flying at him.
Everyone flying towards him. Great
Ooh,
shots.
good shots.
Yeah, great shots onto the first, but well,
Good shots from Lunars
multiple there
there.
to deal with him. But you do send a lot to deal with him, so this leads
Boston
to
still
hopefully
has
a little bit of
spawns, though.
hard point time for LAG, but not a lot remaining here. Boston, it's their time to hold and maybe look for the lead change. P4 popping, they're set up in control. Let's go to listen in right now with Boston Breach.
I'm just watching right, boys. We have your cross, we have your low, we have your cross. I give you right cross, guys. Lower, one shot. Just 2, one more. Lower me. Johnny, lower, boys. Johnny, lower. He went to the back, I don't see him front. Front door, one shot. Absolute front door. Statue, absolutely. Leave one bully. He's gonna go sit back and lay down. I'm getting up top. I'm trying to scout. Fellow big door ready. He's out. Lower, yeah. Yo, two big door, guys. Just ironing. Two big door, dead. One more. Big door, weak winners. Dead. Nice shit, boy. Yeah. P2 truck, one shot. P3 fellow, one shot. Big door. P2 truck, he's on you, Cam. You good, you good. Truck, turned on.
Turned on really bad, Kimmy said.
Yeah, front goals. Weakest fucking Come big door, Joe.
Yeah, this was a perfect time for a Boston listening. They're starting to find their momentum here.
Big door. Look at my open. Yeah, I'm blocking boys. Go road. Alright, I'm open. Doors and listen, there's too close. He's not pushed out the right, guys. You ran me money. Yeah, already. Yeah, Johnny on me, one shot.
This is a good flip for LAG though.
We don't have to spend a ton of time on, but I like to listen a lot, whether it was small talk or just I like when people respond, like call something.
That did seem like a pretty good listening for Boston there. Really good timing of it as well.
The one thing that has kept LAG in this game has been P2, and they're right back into it. They find all those kills on rotation again.
From Lunars.
You saw a breach just so far spun all the way out towards Art, having to work through it. Finally you get here with 20 seconds off the hill.
Well, Purge kind of sends it before anyone's going to be able to help him there, but he was kind of left out the dry front of the point. Another good hold, though, for LAG so far. They'll clips that 200-point mark, 50 to go for the dub, but with the double, Cammy gets them in. Can they hold? It's really just going to be him inside trying to fight. Able to take down
Looks
one.
Like Lunar's got a little bit of a dead slide there.
Still healthy, a little bit of time you give it these final 15 seconds. Kismet finds an opening, though, and Kismet might just make you pay, because you lost the AR fight, outer palms. But you're okay. All right, you stabilize, you get the time, you go back out in front. But
I mean, if LAG can hold this from the front, this could be really big.
Through here, that's going to be the question. You just try to find the majority of this P3 time, put pressure on, force them to push up forward. Purge now, maybe the route man. He's going to find the first. That's going to be the signal to go. That player should spawn out. He does. That's going to be Kiz. Dealing with
that.
Got in the back. Time you've been on the
hill. This might be
you
G.
find 15 seconds or so, and all of a sudden you're up to 230, and you're finding all the kills on the map right now. I mean, you didn't get one.
That's crazy.
That was literally
they had the spawns, and they don't even get a single kill.
You feel okay if you're breach, because it's not like you've got 230 up if you're LAG, right? Like, 50 points is a lot. That'd be a perfect P4 hole. So, yeah, take whatever you can P3. I expect him to get P3 time and flip. Like, that was insane.
Up now, hold
yeah.
As good as it looked.
Before I finish talking, looks like we maybe flipped back the other way.
You didn't win here, though. At this P3, like, there is a chance. So, LAG had to put pressure on this. Purge is here. 5 HP, wins the gunfight. Right back to it. Johnny does get taken down, but because of that, you should see the map is all over the place, but
big win for Lunars.
Should have numbers towards P4.
It has to be perfect now from LAG.
That was a massive
win. They need 41,
Lunars.
but are they going to have a chance to hold? Because in early is going to be breach. They'll have the numbers here. And
nobody else got any kills though.
Ticks. Boston breach.
Lunars made a big play there, got that kill, just tried to stay alive, but nobody else was really able to assist.
Okay. They were in the perfect position. Like they had to kind of contest 3 a bit, because obviously winnable for Boston breach and also hold, which is tough to do, but they didn't really put up much of a fight.
You lost fights everywhere.
Yes. You lost every possible fight.
Yeah, they lost way too many gunfights. They lost way too many gunfights.
Regardless of the roster for LAG this year, just late game collapses. Maybe the story for like Falcons too for a long time. Just like late game collapses, little misplays or big misplays that cost you.
I mean, it was 7 to 8 kills I think in a row when in the top left there for Boston breach. And yeah, they just had someone on the hill the entire time that player was hanging out. But
the funny thing is, I was worried with the League of Legends game that it was going to go too long to where I might miss, or like I might have to miss the end of the series.
Were solid
for the match, I should say. Before the Thieves series
that was all breach. And
for COD,
2 minutes and 21
and that game was done in 30 minutes. That game was done so fast.
And like Awakening was putting in a ton of damage. Like obviously in a perfect world, you want like your main AR
now we have to watch an entire series before we get to the Thieves one.
Well, Purge getting done objectively. Awakening the damage dealer, and you go down early in this one. Things looking okay for LAG. Fellow gets out to a really hot start.
At this point, I just want a quick DoorDash so we can get to the
P2s.
Thieves match.
Huge for them, but I mean, nothing really matters for me outside of that late game
strategy.
The Thieves everything got decided in those final couple of hard points.
Yeah, what 200 pretty much. And you have the setup, you have the rotation. You're
Romano.
But they lose a couple of kills.
I think too because of the series that it is. Because it's Boston and LAG. I'm kind of
listen, we see. Sometimes when P3 is up, I mean, oftentimes it'll flip back and forth like P4 spawns. Like they'll fight for them the whole time, but it's just not often that you get.
Like honestly, if it would have been either of the matches that we missed, I would have rather watched those.
Yeah, and without much of a fight, it just was way
but Boston
too easy.
and LAG is
things absolutely fell apart.
Kind of like
LAG.
a mid-off.
Just one, like a moment like that, like it's probably hard to rebound from. It's just like what just happened. Like you just feel like you got flashbanged, hit with a stun.
It's not a good time.
Struggling.
Which I feel like I can't even really say now because everybody's
well,
like.
you probably have from the sun reflecting off my bald head. But there's the game.
Gonna say something about how Boston beat us at the tournament and yada yada yada.
Hacienda, and you feel good with that win if you're
Boston winning puts pressure on Optic.
They can be
for champs. You mean?
Trying to obviously improve the control, but
like for champs
times, but
implications.
For Search and Hardpoint, they've had some big upsets here. They've had some wins. It's a team that. Listen, they've been all over the place this year, but
they've been close.
Yeah,
right. I mean, they stuck with this roster early on.
I mean,
just through like the hard point, they were competing with the
at
best.
this point, I feel like all these teams kind of really put pressure on. I mean, Optic just has a lot of pressure on them in general. I feel like
something that you just can't hang on to. But then you get these upsets like we saw at Major.
They had a rough start to the season.
Finally, but then they just get double bopped.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a look at some of the S&D numbers for this Boston Breach team, and it's just interesting because you kind of have like
130 Optic and 120 Boston. They're both 7th and 8th.
Teams that have made a change, make it a run, like you're Miami, you're Rocker, and then the teams that didn't. One's trying to hold on, one's trying to fight in.
For Optic,
honestly. Trying to hold on.
I mean,
I don't know. It's interesting to see
the upside if you're Optic is all it takes is getting to champs and anything can happen.
But kind of KD, now it's gone. I feel like for Cammy,
the downside is just
since after
you got to get the champs, and right now
was a different person
things are looking
remember he had that
a little scary.
At the LAN.
I do think the upside for them is the teams that are below them
and then he
are really struggling as well.
The occasional dud, but he has had some monster maps as well, and a big stage 2 for him led to a big stage 3 now in Search and Destroy.
At this point, it's Thieves Optic at champs.
More matches to play, but we'll see if
like
he can
Thieves through Optic. Wait, what do you mean? Thieves
Johnny,
Optic?
His S&D, a newcomer to LAG.
Yeah, I mean, he's put up numbers. The problem is, though, they're on too. In Search and Destroy. Since he's
like they would first round?
Oh. Looks, and as good as he's been individually, it doesn't really matter.
Well, that was remember, that was their thing when when Lunars came in.
Possibly.
He had some great Challenger Search and Destroy.
Possibly because I think as of right now we're second behind FaZe, so
I know they won that
probably.
But they've been struggling. They've never really found form there.
Which,
and trying to do it
realistically,
we'll see if Johnny can be the difference maker, or if this is going to be the Cammy Clinic. Offense for LAG, and early, it looks like Hall's pressure. We know, like Boston, we've casted them several times here. They will be very aggressive Halls. They will take so much mid control.
Well, look at them. I mean, they're already through. They just run through A, the SMG duo. So you get the info. Now,
they already have
such a fast play. You need to be ready for this. Looks like Lunars looks at it, so he's going to buy some time, but he does get blooded. But there's a skirmish on the other side of the map. Bomb rotating to B.
Yeah, no, they're going to hit stuff. They're going to hit it quick on both sides of it. Bomb now getting planted, but you got to be a little bit worried. Now you're by yourself. Nobody's here, and Awaking's going to pick that up. Suddenly it's Kiz by himself. LAG just no plan once that push comes through, and they'll get picked apart. Nice opening round from Boston Breach, and I expect to see more of that. They will, I don't want to say reckless, but they'll hit stuff without fear, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you take chances, really what it is on a
good
map like
take chances.
You 4-stack your bomb side. If they're there, you take the 4-on-4. If they're not, okay, what is going to be sort of our step 2? They could be middle. They could be at the other bomb site. They just sort of flame top halls. The ARs get the info from Plat side. That just
feel bad for Kismet. I mean, this guy,
to Snoopy and Purge,
he's a beast, and he's actually been playing really well this year. But
round 1,
he's just gotten nothing from LAG as a whole.
The adjustments maybe LAG make the next time they are on offense. I sure he'll be trying to pick up that faster if a flank does come through. But it's a big round for Purge. He ends up getting 3 and the blood, right?
I feel like Call of Duty is so interesting in the sense that like teams really don't stick together for a long time.
I thought maybe we were gonna do what we saw Heretics trying to do so much.
They're just constantly
but they also get the blood.
evolving.
So Purge, I believe, back-to-back first bloods. He's also 4-0.
I guess when you only have 4 players on a roster, like they're naturally gonna change faster.
Thought nearly was gonna get 2 out of that somehow. To a 2v2 we go. Cammy can't trade.
Yeah, at this point, Romano, it's like looking back, it's kind of crazy.
You're Johnny. That is tough.
That is real tough. Wakey's like, I got to kill.
But I mean, they smoked Toronto.
Wakey maybe in trouble, gets zapped a bit. The help comes in. Well, Wakey doesn't need it. He's able to get 2, but Purge dictating things in the early round. Him and Snoopy dictating the pace and tempo of this one.
You hope he gets bought out in the offseason, Destiny?
Yeah, we've seen them just.
Yeah, I don't know where he would go.
Whether it's hardpoint, control, search.
I wonder where he would go, like if he were to get bought out.
Like played a different search, like I don't know, like a proto or something, and just got like 6-0 bodied, and I'm like, they look lost, and then like we'll get him here. I'm like, oh, they're good.
Justice for kids,
well,
for real.
That's how it is when you're like middle of the packer, bottom. Like, I don't know, you got some good maps, you got some bad maps. kind of how it plays out, but.
I like this hoodie, but I feel like the hood itself just sits really weird, like on
well, how do they play it this time?
On like my neck.
On the defensive side.
That makes sense.
They're gonna hit it again. Or are they? Hold on. I thought they were. But now, yeah, you're set up on this side, so they can't really hit it because Fellow's holding. It looked like they were just itching to go. Purge, I thought had another first blood, but he's gonna lose that one. Fellow will shut him down. So.
Oh, Stimmy just, he ends up wrapping back. I thought he was gonna push up for the trade. Maybe he doesn't want to throw his life away. Had a chance to clean up Fellow.
Quick B hit
Still
here.
do though. So they just again
get active
through lobby. Fellow trying to play his life. Has done a great job. He's just gonna waste their time.
He's a magician, dude.
But somehow there's a play. Cammy gets through and is able to find one. There is just skirmishes all over the map. Cammy gets 2.
Cammy gets 2,
all
bro.
Right, Fellow, I thought did enough. Just staying alive that long. I hit the 20 HP. I hit the 2 HP. Kismet, nice recentering there, but the trade is in this time from Snoopy. Johnny
all the way back here.
Last up. Nice gunfight win. That is disgusting there versus Snoopy. Awakening. Johnny, 20 seconds to go, and Johnny nearly gets laced as he goes to toss the nade. Now, get out of there.
I don't know if he's going to have time.
Awakening plays a 50-50. He thinks he's going to wrap back to bomb. This is going to be so close timing-wise. Doesn't matter. Johnny wins it, and we saw the stats coming into a great play from Johnny. Almost gets caught while throwing the nade. Able to play his life.
Good play from Johnny there.
Like, that's not the guy to do it versus. Like, when Awakening is last alive,
well, I think
you don't know if you'll be able to watch the Thieves match today, but you'll try and stop by.
Yeah, so the nade is to sort of, if I don't see anything wrong,
I appreciate that,
Romano. And there is the info, but here's Awakening.
We'll miss you during the Thieves match.
I mean, he's got like 2 seconds, but still impressive stuff. And I mean, that gunfight went on a Snoopy. Snoopy, like, threw a nice little strafe in there. That was not easy.
We'll miss you during the Thieves match.
That was a big win from Johnny. That was a tough fight for both players. And Johnny wins it, and well, he's the reason they get the round victory. Fellow, though, the first blood on the Purge, kind of, give them numbers early, obviously. Well, I mean, honestly, Fellow's the reason they got there. The fact he stayed alive as long as he did, plus the first blood.
Good round for LAG there. If they would have lost that one, that one would have been tough.
Purge with 2, Fellow with 2. Purge on the hunt, though, and he's in behind enemy lines. It ends up being awkward. He thought he had, I thought he had 2 freebies, but
1v1 for the bread.
He's like chest bumping backs and slide between 2, and it gets a little bit chaotic. But now, a 1 versus 1. Awakening couldn't come away with the last one. Much different position this time around. I thought he got caught, but then we swap, and he's just sliding down the stairs, bumming the dirt, gunning.
I mean, he's just got...
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Lubed up, bro. He slides all the way down that staircase.
That looked insane.
That's a tough one.
It got the WD-40 on it.
All right, well, tough position. The last 1v1 couldn't do it.
He's slick. He's just slipping and sliding down the
crazy
stairs.
Gunfight.
So tough for Lunars. Like he just keeps going. This slide continues. You just don't think it's gonna happen.
That looked like a sick joke. You're like, I need rotational aim assist to max. I need to 2x speed that. 3-1 now and Awakening.
So bothers you, Gentlemates paid $1 million for this spot. Just to still have to keep the LAG brand. I know.
She gets 3 in the round.
The LAG branding,
reading it, holding it.
I think is
how does Purge almost win that?
I hate that they had to combine it.
Misses some shots.
Like at that point, I almost would have rather have him just be LAG still.
I was literally about to say good read
not
with this
the combined,
well, it was, yeah.
like Gorilla Mates.
You can read, but sometimes you have to shoot.
Yeah. Good read, just not processing it. And put down.
Damn, I don't think Fellow realized
just got the worst time he ever.
They got through already.
2 players just full flame through. They're already on the bomb. You're gonna have to peek this.
Oh my god, did they just get?
That is tough. With
wow.
Like that is.
All right,
that was a round. Yeah, LG round, or
that was a round of all
Guardian
time
Angel in the
sure.
one round. This was the payback from above. I don't know. That's an LAG round. Yeah, that's one way to put it. We can't say it's a Vegas round anymore. They're winning. They won one.
Not winning Surge.
Yeah, they won. They won one.
They were before.
They had one win.
I'm just saying all the roast that we had for Vegas Falcons. I'm now just going to shift right to LAG.
Nah, I can't do that.
Can't do that. Okay.
But Taga's our guy.
That's true. I do love Gotaga.
Yeah, we can't do that.
That's a good point. I love all the French fans in France, and I like Paris and the Tower and stuff.
Dude, the LAG fans are like actually really chill. I feel like they're not like they don't seem super toxic or anything. And maybe I don't know because I'm not on the right side of like.
When does he get there?
LAG social media or whatever, but like.
It's a gargantuan.
They seem very understanding of things.
I think watching Nameless levitate here
in that regard.
Studio.
They're just like they get amped up for their team.
Well, here he comes. Eventually he was going to get involved in the process, and he's going to take down
this
another.
is looking
LAG
like it could be a skunkish.
Fellow Lunars last up, one down. Last up is Lunars. Gets a little revenge on the Persia. Best of luck. I say that was a winnable fight for him, but able to connect on the head.
They're very patient. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You're just seeing sort of the
they
team
are
cohesive.
they are very patient, like with how the team's been playing. I feel like,
for an entire year.
Like I said, maybe I'm not in the right spaces to see like
game modes like Search and Destroy.
LAG fans crashing out, but they seem very understanding.
A breacher coming out on top,
which is great to have for a fan base.
And that's exactly been the case.
I mean, even for us sometimes, like Thieves lose one series, and people are like, "What the fuck are we doing? Like, this team is terrible. I can't believe this." And it's like
5-1, 7-1
one series.
Purge
we're allowed to lose.
Early around.
You're not going to win every series.
First bloods to his name, if not more.
Unfortunately, that's just not how it works.
Will be A for now. Johnny is lurking.
Oh, I thought he was going to line up 2.
Don't allow him to get 2. Purge will get
dropped.
He
was going to line up there.
Wait on Kiz. That's the goal here. Kiz is on a full flank. His Awakening going to pick this up. It's a tough read, but he's able to find it. On the other side of the map, Cammy is able to find Fellow. Now they're just trying to isolate. They're trying to isolate, but Kismet's like, nah, I got this 1v2
That's why you
day.
stunned.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a nice little bait and switch, but
I felt like Kiz should have just gone.
Snoopy
I mean,
goes
I guess
to
maybe he thought
gets the hammer of Kiz. Oh, nice little snap.
Yeah, that flower head is so tough.
No, it is. It is. Round by round now. 5-2 hole. They're going to need a lot more Kiz hammers. And shut down Purge early.
I mean, yeah, just watch Purge and Snoopy sort of run as a duo on the map. That time you were there for the trades.
5-2
We'll see what that duo tends to do this time. Looks like they're split.
Fellow is struggling on the S&D. He played much better in that map one.
It's very just like their last round. Just like their last round.
Things just aren't really going his way here.
Out towards P2. Oh, well.
What?
We may not be on dealership, but the cars are still hidden.
Got a lot of those the last couple stages.
Out of it. Cammy's out.
Why are we using RC
what
cars
his
still
timing's
at
going to be
this
like
point?
on the other side of it. He's just trying to track back and help out his boy.
Yeah, they know middle of the map's open, so you see
I feel like
just
I would
this.
love to see a stat that shows if there's been more team kills with the RC car than there has been
honestly, I barely
enemy
saw him
kills.
because like the white outline.
You know, like I feel like I see more team kills from the RC car when it gets called in than I do killing the other team.
Would you have a?
It just doesn't even seem worth it.
A wild night.
There's got to be some stat to track the value of an RC car, and I just feel like it's not that high. I don't feel like the value is very high.
We'll keep the specifics clear. There's the unfortunate opening sequence.
I've been rolling around.
Car hits man blows to pieces.
That's what we should do, Chad. We should take like video
LAG.
clips of people getting team killed by the RC cars and do that trend of. I don't even know the name of the song, but.
I thought he was getting a cock. His purchase Snoopy, the title.
If you've seen, they did like a bunch of Nickelodeon shows
we're into a 3v3
where somebody would just get like thrown back.
Yeah, no,
and they play that song.
Boston just hit the brakes.
Yep.
E-brake was
What
on.
is it? use somebody.
Fellow, honestly.
Yeah, by Kings of Leon. That trend,
but now,
those are
this
so
is basically
funny
like
to
Purge
me.
and Snoopy invited Cammy to a sleepover. They're running around the map together. Now Cammy's gonna split off now, of course. Like let Purge and Snoopy work. No bomb plant yet. They're hoping to catch probably exactly this, like these two just roguing around. Yeah, can we catch one?
They're just checking the bomb from the middle of the map, so now they're just going to go back to B, and this may work out for Boston, actually. It's like the idea is there, but there's more options than just where they were looking. I mean, the bomb is right there. They could have planted
All right,
a long
Boston,
time.
let's just close
about
this
60
one out,
seconds
huh?
ago, Joe, and I know you're a person who always says just plant the damn bomb.
Yeah.
Now they're going to track back, and, well, we'll see how this timing goes.
Well, it's not going to be. They're already there.
Purge and Cammy, they're here.
Maybe it will
Purge is
work
gonna
out.
get
It works
caught.
out. I
You
have
get
no
both kills.
idea.
Oh my gosh.
3 rounds in a row.
Bro, please don't have this be a series
Yeah,
where
that's what I'm
LAG
saying.
ends
He's
up
like, are they gonna plant
winning
the bomb? Like, I'm doing laps.
and
Cardio is done
they
for the
still
day.
end up losing the
10,000
entire
steps in
series
on Hacienda.
and they just drag it on. Please.
Yeah, no,
Please.
literally.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Guy ran 5 kilometers. Just hoping they're going to plant the bomb. But now this Breach 5-1 advantage they once enjoyed, that's long gone. Maybe starting to sweat a little bit. Offense back to Breach.
This could be a big momentum
hitting it.
boost
Right
for
Halls
LAG
wanted to square
here.
up, but the square up's not going to be there. Uh-oh.
Fellows already up to 6 and 7 after
Casey's in
that
his spot
round.
again. He likes that spot.
It sure does.
Johnny's on the water route. I don't think they're...
All right.
So they use the car, but Johnny gets here.
Johnny could get really good timing depending on...
Check this.
He's
He's a
got
fisherman, you know.
right?
True, true. Johnny, what's the timing going to be? What's the opening going to be? Well, the opening is wide open. Snoopy
But
is
he
gone.
thinks he's going to find more, and he doesn't. This is going to allow Cammy to
Good
get
pick
one.
from
Percy's
Cammy.
on the flank, though, and now you're going to turn
3v1
around
though.
because the entire team is dead.
All right.
Dude,
Wow.
are
4
we
straight.
serious?
5-5 to around 11.
Chat, are we
Johnny
serious
gets tucked
right
away seaside, and Cammy the fisherman can't find him.
We're going round 11?
Was
Come
out of net.
on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Come on.
And this is just one of those. I mean, even if you
Who
lose
we-
this,
who
I
we
still
thinking
think that
takes
they were
round
reaching
11?
Series, but I don't know.
Who takes round 11 here?
Maybe it's a good thing you are.
Maybe just some confidence.
One for
this side
Boston,
of
2 for
LAG.
LAG.
True. Maybe you're glad
Put
you
it in
stuck
chat.
together.
Let me
This team
see.
has
I want
grinded
to
out and
see.
seen everything after if you do lose this, because that is
One
going to
for
be a
Boston,
tough
2
pill
for
to
LAG.
swallow, but we'll see. The Snoopy and Purge hit the brakes. Are they still hitting it here in round 11? Gong is in.
Here we go.
Round is started.
Johnny's 9 and 5.
LAG, offense for them, and Johnny 9 and 5, 4 straight. You saw his S&D stack up before getting this, like a little over a 1-2. He's been prolific for them, and he's looking to be prolific here. Kismet, Pops gets the kill. It gets out. It is
Big
beautiful
first
there
blood
as
for
he
Kiz.
grapples up.
Well, now he's at a flank. He's at a flank on the SMGs. Persian and Snoopy are together. Now they're going to try to hunt him, and Kismet's gone.
Let's see.
And now look at this fellow
Did
just
Cammy
setting
make a
up for.
play?
Okay, well, I thought Cammy was going to get one through, but he's
I
just
think
going to
Fellow
play his
has an
life. Now the
idea
other
that
two
he's
are
there.
trying to hunt Kiz, but Kiz is all the way in the spawn. Now, did he see that? No, I don't think
I
Snoopy
think
did.
3 saw Kiz.
Not yet. All right, Kiz
Ooh,
gets
saw his
info
elbow.
1-1. Calls out to his
Just saw
teammates. And they can
Purge.
just ISO. They should just ISO him.
No,
unless
Snoopy got a kill.
Unless Snoopy
Snoopy
catches
got
him.
the
I'm
pick,
about to say,
though.
Purge is going to drop, so that's, I mean, best case at least. LAG looking for 5 straight. Cammy's
Ooh,
got
they
one
saw
right
Fellow.
above him. Bomb planted. He's going to catch him. Fellow's going to drop.
Okay,
2 versus 2
2v2,
now.
bomb down.
And Snoopy just runs away because they're trying to hunt him. They're trying to hunt him. And Lunar's, he's away from his teammate, but he wins the one-on-one.
Cammy just centered horribly, just off to the right, can't hit the shots, all on Snoopy now to make the play. Just under 30 seconds to go.
This is a 5-1 comeback.
It's looking that way. There's just so little time, and they're both split. Like, how's he gonna hunt
Snoopy
down both
for the
players?
bread.
That's one way.
Okay, wins 1. 16 seconds now to go.
I mean,
Thinking the chow's gonna come, but it doesn't. Lunars is just holding, and Snoopy's just guessing. No time to do this. Just no time. Doesn't think Lunars is on that side, and he is. 5 straight
Oh my
rounds,
god, they just
5-1
blew a
comeback.
5-1
Woo,
lead.
didn't see that one coming from
Oh.
LAG. And well, listen, we were gassing Boston Breach and talking about search and destroy and how you have the advantage sticking together.
on,
all these skirmishes,
man.
blah, blah, blah. Well, screw
5-1?
5 straight for LAG. Some of those rounds
Come
were
on.
insane.
We can't be letting that
Okay,
happen.
just this bench. I think this bench just...
The bench,
Oh,
like,
maps,
this opening centering, I think
maps are locked in, chat. Maps are locked in.
Like, they have a 2-on-1, right? Like, Lunar's is thinking his teammate's with him, but he's really not.
Yeah.
Maps are
It's an
locked in.
isolated
Let's
jump fight,
check it out.
just goes his way. So he's the hero in the play.
He is
Let
the
us
hero,
check it
and
out.
now LAG, well, Dream's still alive within the series. You go down 0-2 with a couple more Haciendas to come, you're probably in for a world of hurt, but now squared up 1-1. We'll take a look at the stats and how it broke down. Purge, he started really hot, had 3 first bloods. That kind of slows down. Fellow, only 6 kills in it, but half of those are openers for him as well. But Johnny, I mean, puts up a
Protocol
damage, 9 and 6. He's been like a solid 1.2
Protocol
for them this
hardpoint,
stage throughout their couple of search and destroys.
In
I mean,
scrims, it looked like they looked
You brought it back.
decent on.
They limited.
They looked pretty good on
SMG,
that,
though.
actually,
Like,
I
you
think,
just
because it
kinda
was a protocol
stopped if you were
control that
pushing
they lost
Snoopy.
optic.
And there were a couple of rounds where I think if they don't
Rewind
commit,
S&D. I'm
like,
really
they
excited
may
for this.
Find an extra kill, but
Because
they
we haven't
kinda
seen
stopped,
Rewind
like, you
S&D
tell.
out of the
Once
Thieves
the comeback started,
since
they got a
the
little
start of the
nervous.
season.
No,
So
that's why I
I'm
said
definitely
like around
excited to
11
see
time, 'cause, like, I
this.
just feel like that.
Then we got
Listen,
Hacienda
they got
control
build ones, you know,
for the
in
game
around
3,
I
or the
don't
map
know.
3.
In around 11
I think
in
Thieves
around
still
11,
are
that might not
probably
be the
best
case.
control
I'm not
team
sure
in the
how that
game,
is
so
at
I
all.
think this should
Sorry to
go
hear
our
that, Jeff.
favor.
Happens.
And then we have Skyline hardpoint if we get to the
I don't know
game
what he's
4,
talking about either.
which
No idea.
we've looked pretty good on
Let's jump
Skyline.
into what we just witnessed. It was a ridiculous
I think that one should be
fold if
another
you're a
one
Boston fan.
that would go our way. Protocol search and destroy.
Right? We just need one more round,
When
right?
did we see Protocol search last? I don't recall seeing that
was
one
in
recently.
Omega Wake form.
Yeah.
He disappeared, bro.
Yeah, I mean, LAG,
But I mean, I'm
you know,
I'm
I was
confident in
questioning
our
the way that the adjustments that they
boys.
were even making in
I'm
this game,
confident
some
in
of
our
the rounds are
boys.
so
I'm
weird,
thinking
but afterwards,
I'm
thinking
thinking
about
this is
it,
going to be a
it's actually
3-0.
awesome.
I don't even
Like, you
think
just
we get to
completely
that
slowed the
game
down, you
game
know
4 or 5.
that Purge and Snoopy have just been together, roaming the entire time. And you
But
saw
I'm
them,
very
like, even on
excited for the
offensive round, like,
rewind to
let's
see
just
if
play
the
slow,
Thieves
let them
still
run
kind of
into us.
have
When we
it
get a
on
kill, we'll end up winning. Because in a lot of those
on
situations,
rewind.
like either you force a bomb plant if you're LAG, you lose the trade battle and get retaken, right? So for them just starting to slow it down and get lost, play these off angles if you're Johnny or Kismet, ended up working out. A very bizarre search and destroy, but honestly playing to your opposition.
Ali, somebody said drop Kismet already. I feel like he showed his worth in that search and destroy.
And near the later half, absolutely. You know, you're going back to the 5th man in the RCXD, and you're kind of kicking your feet if you're Boston Breach, because
That
could've been
RCXD,
one that
man.
could've been the game map number 2.
That
but
RCXD was
shout out
crazy.
to LAG, man. Shout out to Johnny. A couple of routes that really panned out for them, and Kismet in that last round. I was looking at Ant, and I was like, what is that, cramp on the map? Because he went all the way to the backside. Now, it doesn't end up panning out for him, but it pans out for Lunars to close out 3 in that round because they are so busy trying to figure out where Kismet was.
They started to focus Wake top mid. There were like 2 or 3 rounds then there where it's like, even if Wake got a kill, like we're instantly trading him out, and then we know the SMGs are going to be roaming together, and they just don't have any information on mid at that point. So honestly, well done by LAG. Weird one, but they got it done.
Going back to the original vault, let's take a look at some of the best moments here. Fellow was fried. The man was double positive at 20 and 10 throughout the first 2 rotations. After that, we see Boston start to take over the game. How'd they get it done?
The big picture is Boston just did way better in the P3s and the P4s over LAG, and that's just kind of how Vault plays out, is they're going to end near that P3, P4, and they got that early setup, but the breaks just weren't coming through from the side of LAG.
Well, you're seeing it like right here. This was a really weird situation. Like LAG were in time, and what happened is they just give up open. Like they all play from hallway side, and you see like Boston are able to just get through open, find the kills, and then eventually break into this hill as well. So just down the stretch, LAG making some mistakes where we've seen a couple of hard points now. Thinking back to like the Carolina Protocol, where it's at the very end, they just throw it away.
It is just so important to be set up early for these final P3, P4s. Like, you can get away with kind of focusing the P1 and P2 time and keeping P3 mixy for majority of the game. We saw it in our last series, though. Like, if you don't start prioritizing those spawns and that late game pushes and you have a match that's within 50,
Joe,
whoever's got that early P4 setup
home in
in,
time
usually
for the
they're going to
Thieves,
close it out.
we
The
do love
slaying
that.
is
We
even
do
so
love
far.
that.
We got a map 3 control loading up here in just a moment, but first it's game
We
time.
do love
on
that.
the CDL
Glad to see you.
headquarters. Let's get into it.
Glad to see you in the chat.
Are you ready? Sally's favorite, it's Hidden Heroes! All right! We have 3 facts from 4 silhouettes. Now, I will give you a hint. 2 of these players are wild cards. 2 of them are currently involved in this matchup. All of them are tactical pickups in the 2025 season.
Oh, we're
Allie,
doing good,
one
Joe.
time.
We're doing good today.
Top right is felony.
We
Fellow. My
didn't
bad.
get much out of the We didn't get much out of the League of Legends series. It was a quick 30-minute match where they kind of just got spanked. So that was a little disappointing. But we're excited for COD. We're always excited for some Thieves COD. So I'm getting amped up for that. Unfortunately, we have to watch at least 2 more maps from this current series. But we've been good. How are you doing today, Joe?
Now, one of these 2 players.
How are you doing today?
The other of these 2 players is on LAG. I just made it way easier. Go.
One of the other 2 players is on LAG stage 2, H21. Wait, is that Lunar's bottom left?
No, because he came in split 2. Bottom right.
I don't know if I'd say we're ass at League.
Bottom right has to
I mean, we smoked Cloud9.
No, he said one's
I don't know if I'd say
you guys are horrible.
Hey, listen, I was not given accurate facts. I do not take any of the blame.
He just
you are
lied.
awful at this game. Name what's your
He just
worst.
straight up
Maven
lied.
is fantastic, and that's the one who will be bringing you the play-by-play for Game 3.
I don't know if I'd say that the League team is ass.
I mean, they did.
I mean, I don't know too much about League, so I can't really say for sure. But
that's right, Chris did lie.
They played really well against Cloud9 in their first series. They got that win. But then we played Team Liquid.
That's insane.
Lost that one, and then today we got spanked by FlyQuest, who's supposed to be the best team in NA, I
People these
believe.
days have no respect for their elders.
Yeah, just calling us unk and whatnot.
Unbelievable. She asked me if I know how to use an iPad earlier.
I mean, jeez Louise.
She called you a boomer?
Nationally, we're good. Globally, we're doo-doo. Same as any region besides China, Korea, unfortunately. Yeah. That's the weird thing about League, I feel like.
Would that be their bonding moment? Would that be the team that makes them
I guess it's not
cohesive
weird.
unit?
Every
One five
esport
comeback.
that has
We'll
like
remember the day. Mark it
regions
in your
tends
calendars
to have
for all
one
of
region
France.
that plays
The day
way
that
better.
LAG became a squad.
But it's just interesting that like they don't play. The regions don't play each other like a lot, which I guess I kind of understand too.
Like that? What would Bryce Tacular say from the depths of hell, rising like a phoenix? LAG.
But it's always interesting that NA is never like quite as good.
I love him. I love him. Fight's starting to go down towards the opening here at B. Fellow gonna be hunted down and dropped.
NA had a good run at Worlds last year. Did they?
Well, looking real good on the defensive side.
Who was like the NA team that
get 1 kill so far?
kind of
all the
led
map
that?
control in the world for Breach, but who's gonna open things up? Maybe it is Johnny. As he gets out there.
Yeah, him and Lunar's able to find one, but yeah, Johnny's just like on the objective trying to
FlyQuest, okay, that makes sense because that's who the Thieves played today, and they got
just love that
spanked.
kill. And maybe Purr's a little pissed off from that map number 2,
We got
which is he's up
spanked
to
by
5-0.
FlyQuest
Just
today.
fighting everybody.
If he gets this kill, I swear,
he almost did.
To God, that would have been absurd.
Kismet starting off 0-4, not great
He's
for the
agile.
Bulldog.
Oh, Johnny. He's there in the corner. Awakening will
Verge
finish
with
it
a
off.
6-1 start.
Yeah, you've down 6 lives, 30 seconds to go.
Pretty solid start for
You
him.
got half a tick today. Nothing's going to count on a scoreboard yet. Lunar's we're toast. Can't find the opening there. Crossfire is up in halls. And Awakening gets 2 after the damage gets put in by Kiz. Oh, sorry, by Purge.
I mean, you just see from Fellas VOV, he's up the stairs looking left, looking right, looking left. Yeah, I just gunned.
So they just go.
Just nothing. No opening.
Last opening, last chance. Johnny, can you deliver? I don't know how he stayed alive that long, but finally he will drop. Maybe bought time for Lunars to get in, and the rest of the gang. Last person that will fall, number 5. And number 6, no chance to get.
Yeah, what did I say? This is going to be one of those series where LAG wins a map and it means absolutely nothing. And of course, they won it in the worst possible way.
And, I mean, sometimes on Hacienda, you
They
just
were
get put
down
into the mixer.
5-1 and
especially
came
when
back
Awakening starts
to
off
win
7-1. I mean, Purse
just for them to
5-0.
lose the series.
You just have the SMGs in your top halls, right at your lobby door. And that's where this map is at its hardest. There's just no opening.
Yeah, no.
I think it's mainly EU and Korean imports on Fly.
Doing it in two very different ways on the map.
I don't know.
It's a good hold for Breach.
Honestly,
Now
I don't
see if
know.
LAG can replicate that because
A Worlds watch party would go hard if the Thieves boys qualify. I mean, I would do it, to be honest.
Your chance to actually get around.
I would. I'm trying to watch
kinda
party
goes out
more
the
of
window,
the
unless you can match that, which is hard to
Thieves,
do. Let's see if they can do it.
Like esports.
Kids and
Hey, what's good, Hoodie?
Just sitting on a breadstick right now.
How you doing
hoping
today?
For more. Well, fellow delivers.
Good to see you in the chat before we get this Thieves match kicked off.
As well. So breadsticks are gone.
Still got a little bit of time, it seems like. But
traded out pretty, I'll say pretty equally until fellow was able to get to the window. Weki still got this streak. I mean, he's pretty close to the cruise. Just another kill or two. There's one more. Oh,
yeah, needs one more.
Oh, reload and maybe a cruise.
Fellow looked good in the map one.
Yep.
He had a little bit of a slow start in the map too, but then he picked it up towards the end.
So this is what you want for LNG, right? I mean, you have not been able to touch the objective.
So I don't think he's looked bad.
B, but dealt with
I don't think Fellow's looked bad so far.
Winning some big gunfights.
At least from what I've seen.
Snoopy's gonna get out. Cammy's gonna stop.
Because I've only seen.
Over towards this
I've only seen this series from him.
I mean, you've done much better
so
like in the
far.
lives column of your breach. You've traded more effectively and all, but it's not led to actually any
I'm putting
openings
my
towards
hoodie
the
up
objective. You've not been able to get
it's
bodies on the
starting to
point. This is
drive,
your best chance to do
drive
so.
me
As you
crazy.
took a lot
I
of
can't
fights
really, like, lean
towards
back
office
in my
to
chair.
out towards Rock and kind of open things up on this side of it. Snoopy trying to get here. There's a bit of progress, so already a tick advantage. See if they can get the extension though. The contest will be deleted.
Good chance here. Trophies are down.
I think Fellows looked all right though. Right now he's not
the
doing so hot,
plat
but I
player.
mean, I still think LAG just isn't great in general.
And there is your extension.
Wait, Tiz is gonna go for this. Yeah, I was gonna say one player
I think
started to
LAG
cheat on
is
up.
just
That
not
was
great in
Awakening
general.
before the point was done. There was a chance where Awakening somehow stops that, but
or Kiz,
or sorry, yeah, Kiz stops that.
Like I was
But
saying,
he's
this is
done
kind of
again.
like the battle of the
Nice little
mid.
setup there for Boston.
This is a mid off right now.
Now you have the tick advantage. This round not done yet.
Purge wins a long-range one against
Boston
Kiz,
has
but not gonna
definitely
find anything
looked-
else off of that. The two players on
looked
Rock
better,
side.
though.
They'll wrap in, see what they can do.
Like,
from
they
this
look
side of
better
Halls.
overall,
Nice
but I still don't-
Snoopy Child's around the
still
corner.
don't think
Kiz,
they're,
though,
like,
up to the
good
task
enough
for
to
the trade.
crack,
Cammy
like,
can't
the top
quite keep
top
up with the sub
teams.
player and can't get there for the trade, but you've at least got eyes on the cross or top hole. So
Oh,
Kiz
dude,
tries to slide out.
the
Nowhere
roster
he can
mania
go.
this season, like
You
in
watch the
general,
everything.
Yeah, you're
even if
watching
not much
everything.
happens
So
after
we've been
this,
seeing a
it's
lot of
just
this,
going
right?
to
Just
be
sort of baiting this
crazy
defense
to
out.
look back on. I mean, Optic made so
Towards the
many
objective.
roster
Maybe
changes.
not ready for that. Johnny from
You
bottom secret
had
is able to find one, but you still have a life
LAG
advantage.
obviously
Man
changed
advantage on the
basically
map.
their entire team.
That's a nice win from Cammy, but yeah, you can watch a lot. You can't really watch every
You
single
have
video.
Rocker,
You can
who
tell on
picked up
Hacienda, there are a
Kenny.
lot of routes and
You
angles you
have
can take with enough
the
time
Falcons,
to do so.
who
Great
picked up
life from
an
Johnny.
NA
He's been
squad,
out multiple
only
times
keeping
and he's
Xnid.
out now to a 5-3.
Like
13 and
all
7.
kinds of changes happened this season.
5 straight, as you said.
All kinds of changes.
In and out.
Honestly, I thought Cloud9 was going to try and
Just
take
under 30 to
Fred, but
go. Down 3
I
lives.
feel like their
Boston,
subs have been their best
I think the
players,
last
so like
couple
you
of
can't
chances,
really
the one player coming off spawn
can't
would
really
be
get
Purge,
rid of
but he
either
could
of them,
somehow
you know.
Snip this out for
You
Johnny,
could,
get a kill,
but
and get back to his team.
at that point, it's like, who are you
Time
going to
to do it.
drop?
He's
Like
not
you
gonna
can
be
get
able to
rid
do
of
it on the other side
Kremp
towards
if you
lobby.
want to keep more of that Seattle roster, but
Snoopy is hoping to get a
Kremp
kill
has
before he
been
tries to get on the
probably
point,
their
but
second best
eventually he's
player,
gonna
so
have to
like
hop onto this. Now, how long
you
can
don't
he
want to get rid of
finesse?
Kremp.
The troops
You
are
know?
trying to rally back in from lobby now.
Dude's been a beast this
Finesses,
year.
but you can't finesse long. You got to get onto the point. Teammate tries to do it. It's purged. Can't stay up long. So, all right. LAG
wins around, but
what, you got
Boston
4
gets
ticks?
a lot of
Yeah,
ticks.
4. Okay. Very close to the 5th. I think
They
that's
get a
what
lot
they were
of
kind of
ticks.
going for. You saw Jamie just like last second
Kind of glad I
jump
didn't have
on
to
it.
watch
Maybe
the
they just
Falcons
kind
for
of
the rest of
forget
the
about
year,
him, fight around it.
respectfully.
Maybe it's number 5, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean
Well, the fact
that
is, like,
roster was just not it.
4 is better than
I
0.
mean,
Yeah, more likely than not, you're
they
gonna have to
stuck it
have
out way longer
a
than
good
they
offense
needed
and
to.
a shutout.
To be honest,
A shutout defense. You're going to have any chance.
They stuck it out
round 5.
way
We'll see how it
longer
plays
than
out.
they needed to.
I didn't see the search going the way it did.
Who was it that was
So
like
who the hell
really
knows how
good
this one will
to
go,
start
but
this season though?
Great
Wasn't
little
it
stretch there
Kicks?
from
Wasn't
Johnny,
Kicks
as you
really
said.
good?
Making plays, bobbing and weaving,
I feel like
making sure he doesn't get caught and continue to be
because
elusive
obviously Xnid
throughout
is a
it.
beast right
He
now.
was terrific in the search and destroy as well. And
Yeah, I feel bad because like, even like
But if it
last
was
year when he joined the
Kicks-
Vegas lineup, just feels like he's
So I know
shown
he
individually
stopped
how
because of
just kinda
you know
talented he
personal
is. It's
reasons
just
or
like
whatever.
they're
But
kinda out
I
of
almost
it.
feel
Yeah,
like
it's
if
just
he would have been able to
it's
keep
tough being
playing,
like
they
that
probably
AM
could have
from
kept him as
challengers.
well.
You feel
bad. Some people come into a great
They probably
spot,
could
some
have kept
people
Kicks
not
and
great spot.
Xnid.
Yeah.
Well, it's also just time of the year. You don't have a lot of time to
True.
Because Kicks was,
build up.
I mean, he was
Down
frying.
so many CDL points.
If I remember
you're
correctly.
absolutely right. I mean, there was same thing as like Falcon. It's not worth having a conversation
They just
about any chance for,
the
like,
team
camps or
play
anything
they didn't have
unless
figured
something crazy
out.
happened in Major 3 and suddenly one of these teams makes like a top 3 run or something. I don't know, but until that point, I'm saying you're out of it. Because it is seemingly impossible.
they were
able to get a
gross.
tick in their first offense behind Johnny now on the objective. They're trying to get.
I think at the very least their S&D would have
Purge
been
though.
decent
Well,
if they
he's
kept
going
both
to
of
get in
them.
behind. He finds the opening. He's able to take out 2 and silence
Their
that
respawn's
potential
definitely
first
still
tick.
would have
I
needed
feel
some
like Jace
work,
just has
but
to have the trade there. Just then you would
I
have
mean,
I mean, look,
they
you
won
have
some
number 7 in
respawns
Fellow
today,
on Plague.
so
He would be on the point. It's kind of everything you would want, but this allows Boston off spawn now. And while that nade not didn't help, it's a bit of a trick shot, but Boston off spawn to just reinforce over towards
Coming
Beeline.
from EU challengers to being slammed into the pits of the best NA players is a tall task.
No, I
It
like the
really
yellow then, 'cause
is.
it's,
I mean,
listen, there are a lot
that's
of
why
multi-kills
I
and a
felt
lot of
so
kills
happy
in COD
for
that
him
don't matter a lot.
today.
Sometimes
Like,
though,
Exnid getting
they
that
do matter
win,
a lot, especially when you're trying to get into your like setup.
it didn't
whether it's
matter
for
who
a
it was
hard point.
against.
And it was there.
Him just
Control
getting
your
a win
setups
has
there,
got to
it's
be
just
great for the mental.
one missed trade,
because
that one
you
hurts you.
lost so many. Like,
Sometimes tough
at
to
some
see
point,
the ones that matter the
it's
most
got to
in the
get
chaos of it all when
demoralizing.
you're watching
You
one
know,
POV,
it
but
has to.
good
You're a
shout on that
competitor.
one.
Like,
Under 30 now to go.
even if you understand that your team
Still
just
in a
isn't
pretty
like good
significant
enough,
life hole and still no opening
it
towards the
sucks to
objective. Where
fucking
LAG
lose.
looked all right on defense. The offense has been woeful.
Yeah,
there.
Joe,
It's
they
just
beat
been
Optic today.
no
You
opportunity.
had one chance.
Yeah, one chance.
The Falcons beat Optic today.
And Purge just punched him in the face.
It's so ironic
As
that
LA's
the
continue
first
to lock
team
down
that they
B.
beat
Kids
is
gonna be the
Optic.
only one here, but guess who? I mean, he just can't kill him right now.
Yeah, he's on 5
Oh,
straight,
Joe, he
only
was so
15,
happy.
14, nothing that
They
crazy. He's made
did the
some-
interview with him
some key
afterwards.
kills around the objective.
He was so
Yeah,
stoked.
he's had 2 like defensive 5
So
sprees
stoked.
that have shut down the B point.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's been massive.
Very deserved.
All right, now can LAG hold to get this to a 5th round? But
Who
you'll
has the
absolutely,
script?
I mean, obviously be looking at a round 5 defense for Boston.
They beat Optic and your friend
Because
said
you
he was
don't have a
embarrassed to
single
be an
offensive
Optic
pick.
fan. I think a lot of Optic fans are very
LAG, nothing they can
upset
do in
about
that
this
regard.
season.
Just hope they can pull off
I
some
think a
miracle.
lot
I
of
mean,
Optic
this would be
fans
one
are
of the
very
more
upset about
impressive
the
like,
season.
round
And
5 miracles. if you
some
get
might
there.
be embarrassed
we
about
just
the
saw
season
5-1.
as well.
If you go from I mean 0
In some regard, I
to
feel
offense
bad.
to a win. That
I
would
do
be,
feel
I
a
don't know how
little
many of those
bad,
we've casted.
but I also know what it's like because
like there's been some,
our Cold War team
stagnant
was
offense is
not
usually
great.
a tick or 2 or an extension here and there. They've had nothing.
Oh yeah, Joe. Pred was.
That would be a pretty unreal
Fred was
one. I mean,
making
I
sure
know
he
Invasion
beat
last year, we had
Optic.
some crazy ones. I don't know about that.
I mean,
You're
imagine
usually-
how
yeah,
bad
you're
it would have
usually
been
getting
if
extension at least.
Rocker beat Optic as
Oh, I
well.
hold that one.
I mean,
Johnny
that
gets
would have been.
dropped, Purge back to it, but
There would have
People on
been there would have
Snoopy
been
now,
blood
maybe
in the
to find an opening.
streets and shit. It would have been real
teammates all
bad.
going to be spawning out the rock side. And they'll try to
Shame
fight
they
back
won't
to
make
help
champs.
them.
Would have loved to
Awakening,
have seen
looking to
Pred
find
and
maybe
X
a timing
entry on
underneath the
stage.
kids there.
Yeah.
Good position and play to
Seriously,
make sure
I mean, hey,
nothing
maybe next
sweeps
year.
through.
I think.
And where it was Snoopy,
If I had to
an
guess,
isolation game, now it's
like,
Purge's turn. Quality shots
Falcons
there
will
at
probably
range, but
stick
once again,
with,
can his
um,
teammates like get to him?
They'll probably
And he knows
stick
there's
with
gonna be
Pred and
instant pressure.
Exnid.
He's actually just going to play the one-on-one versus Linders. The
If
problem
things
is that Linders
continue to
has
go
the AR.
fairly well.
Well, he might have help from kids
And
here
then I
soon.
could see them
Linders
possibly
actually
making a
just
change
towels out
from like their
without
ARs.
shouldering for the info. So, okay, this B lane kind of opens up behind Purge's plays.
Yeah, Pred definitely
now
wanted to beat
working
him.
the
He
pinch.
wanted
He's
to
able
beat
to
him
find
bad.
another one off spawn.
Yeah, it didn't go exactly how I thought it was going to go, but Kiz is double.
But do you think they'll drop Priesta?
Okay, Kiz
I
is
think so too. I
triple,
think they'll
yeah.
drop Priesta and
Maybe he
RCs
came up short
probably.
in a trade in the
I mean,
last
unless
round, but his
RC's
triple
like
there
pops
shuts
off.
down any
but,
offensive effort from Boston Breach, and now they're sub 30.
I think if there's any way that they
I mean,
could
they
either
can
have,
replicate this in
yeah,
their first
they could
defense,
either
how
have
we might have
kicks
had
come
0 ticks
back
for both
or
teams, and-
find
Well, I think
another
they did, right?
AR
Then it was
that's
right
that's
around
better.
here, 20 seconds when they gave up the B point.
I could see them doing that.
See if Boston could do
The
it
hard
again,
part
and they
is
might.
like
They go 3
I don't
for
know
2.
who would be
Sure.
available
Why
for
not?
ARs.
How do they opt to play this? They're going to send one to the point for the pause and one maybe to fight around office and balcony. That'll be the play. Awakening. Johnny trying to not overchow. Wants to wait for the help is back in. Soupy
Maybe
trying to
kicks
hop out
him
the map,
back,
but doesn't quite
pick
have
up
the vertical
Dashy.
for it. Awakening then next
There's
up to
no
swing
way
their
they get
lineup.
Dashy,
Everybody's
bro.
here.
Dashy has got to be
You've
optic
got everybody
through and
forward.
through.
You're looking towards
Like
the
unless
extension, second tick
shit
up. 10
really
seconds on the clock,
really
but
hits the fan,
looking like
I don't
you're
see
gonna have extra
Dashy
minute.
leaving optic.
It is deja vu.
If anything, I would see Shotzi leaving
Oh,
optic.
they're going to
before
go for it
Dashy
again.
does.
Yeah, very similar. Last time it was just like kids. I think they went for it, but
That would be
you send a
wild,
couple
though.
more bodies at it, hoping
That would
to seal
actually
the
be
deal. Not
wild.
able to do it though. Still winnable for Boston. Well, just got a little bit harder.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit harder. It's 3 go down. Kids with the multi again.
Yeah, plus you have 2 in your base.
Yeah.
That would actually be insane.
And the fact that it took like you got with 5 10 seconds, you had a minute to work with. Like,
Johnny has been playing pretty well for LAG here, it seems like. He seems like he's been a reasonable pickup
one
here.
Front man and Cammy just lost a gunfight to Fellow, so maybe if like there was someone who could just
even
cause
though
a
they're
distraction,
still not
help you get out of this,
really winning,
this trap.
Like Johnny seems to be playing fairly well.
Offense has not been great for LAG.
I don't know if that's how I'd word it.
Okay, LAG's offense has been
Shotzi's, yeah, Shotzi's got. He's definitely
so.
pissed
It's
about
0
this
ticks,
season.
I think that's safe to say.
But it's around 5.
I feel like Shotzi. I could see Shotzi leaving because I feel like he's been in a couple seasons where like at least they've said like behind the scenes things have been super chaotic,
make it no respawns,
and just super shitty.
This would be insane.
So I feel like I could see Shotzi being like, yeah,
maybe seen stranger
I'm out.
things, but
especially if Envy ends up
no
coming
respawns
back.
left, Purge and Snoopy. maybe a dynamic duo, but not quite that dynamic. Round 5 upcoming.
I think if MB ends up getting a team again, I can see
Shotzi
Shotzi
round
leaving
5,
and
but
going
now
to
they need
MB.
to pray to all the gods.
Fellow is speaking. He is preaching right now.
All the gods of France. Please, almighty go.
I mean, I don't know for sure if
Mbappe.
MB will
That's a
be
good
back
one.
in the
Who's
league,
another
but
famous, like, French person?
I mean, Hastro is back, so I know that.
Yeah,
If they
I'd say that.
decide
Is it
to
on?
bring COD
Probably not.
back,
Yeah, dude, I want to headbutt somebody. Bam!
I think
That was insane.
I think that could be
I don't think he was remembered well
a place for
Oh, that's true.
for Shotzi to go.
It was awesome.
To be honest,
I remember it well. Okay, so we're gonna pray to Mbappe. Dear Mbappe. On this
yeah,
day,
I mean,
what's the date today?
Hastro
Saturday,
started in
April
COD,
12th.
so I would think he would
Can
want
you
to come
send your
back.
holy soccer
And
powers
I
down
mean,
onto
if we
the Call of
have
Duty team, the Los Angeles
just straight up, like
mate,
realistically, if we have
and allow them to pull
Optic,
off what seems
Phase,
impossible. They already
Thieves,
have the 1-5 comeback
and
now.
Envy.
Yeah, so we need a second one.
I mean, that's
our
a
second
pretty
one.
good
That's
look
right,
to
that's
the
right. We've
league.
already burned Gotaga's
Obviously,
miracle. Now we're
Cloud9 is in there as
Optics.
well. You know, if there was a way to get United back, that would be kind of crazy.
Insane if they could somehow pull it off, but not looking
Complexity,
good
if
early on.
Complexity would come back to
Last
COD,
guy
that would
up.
be kind of fire
Number
too.
4 in Awakening, trying to put them in trouble towards Rock. They do deal with Awakening quickly, so well, you're able to get out. At least.
I've kind of wanted to talk
and not
about
get
like
staggered anymore early on.
some
or
of my
really,
thoughts
probably
on
the other side of it, like the lobby side push. You got through Rock.
what
side,
I think
but
like competitive
it's similar to
COD
what we saw for
should
Boston's
do,
offense,
like
where
or like
one guy out,
if
one guy alive.
if Call of Duty is
Yeah,
going to stick to the
Persius he might be the
CDL and
best
stick to
Hacienda defense
franchising,
player.
is what I think they could do.
Dude, every time I look up, this guy's on a spree.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Somehow
kind
he's only
of
+1,
barring
which is also
financials, because I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't know how much a lot of it would
Hold on, this is their
cost.
best opportunity, Joe, to get a tick.
But I think I
It's the
might do
small
a
wins
video
that
on
win, Joe.
that.
It's the small wins.
I kind of want to do a video on it.
Come on now. Come on now.
I mean, Lunar
Or like
actually had
a,
that kill, right?
I kind of want to do like podcasts for it.
Okay, well.
Because I feel like I could yap
yet.
about that for a
Mbappe might be
while, to
busy.
be
He might not
honest.
be listening.
That's true. He might not have answered the call.
I feel like I could
That's
yap
tough.
about that.
Under 30 to go. Still not a single tick. Can they just get one tick? I'll take one tick at this
Yeah,
point.
Joe, I miss pool play.
We did-
Pool
okay,
play
here we
just
go, here
makes
we
the
go. So
game
close. Here we go. This is it. This
like
is
the
it.
tournament's
Yeah!
better.
He's got it.
Dude, that's a big win
Wait,
for
we get
Johnny.
help. Hold up. Hold up a second. Oh, if you got the kill
Big
with
win
Snoopy,
for
things get
Johnny.
real nasty. But you lose plaque
It's
control.
Purge. It's the best defensive player in the world.
They trade him out this time, where they have failed to do so.
Hold on.
Tucked away in
Oh
the
my
corner, and
gosh.
the miracle is still alive.
You just have to speak it.
Come on, dear Lord
Into
Mbappe.
existence.
Oh, how does Awakening get another one? Oh, they're still on, though. Clock is paused. We're on all over the place. We got ticked on a day, too. Oh, my, we got ticks on both
Wait,
places,
fellow
Joe.
just kind of needs to
14
time
v
this
19.
right. Never mind,
All
I
of
already
France.
touched.
Fella's got to find something here.
Hanging in the balance.
Hello!
Oh,
God, he
no.
doesn't find anything
Good
but
trade from
Kismet
Kiz,
gets
though.
there in time.
Can we get the extension?
I don't know.
I don't know. Kismet, a lot to do and not able to do it. Johnny, oh God, damage into both, but not able
Damn.
to finish either of them. Lunars, though, able to hop out and get onto the point over at A.
You have to believe.
Come on.
Yeah, ain't no way.
I believe this.
Ain't no way.
Oh, get onto the point. Somebody got to win all these gunfights. They don't win any of
Yeah,
them, though.
no, GG's.
5 seconds remaining. Nobody is
GG's.
close, and the Mbappe dream seems to be dead.
Someone tweeted
at
IW
least they
champs a
got a
while
tick.
back. There was like
Yeah,
4
multiple-
streams
yeah,
and
multiple
30
things.
matches
It's
first day
you
or
know,
something.
it's a
Yeah,
little things.
that's
It's about improvements.
that was the
It is, Joe.
CWL. CWL era
It is.
was
And
like
maybe it's, it
crazy,
wasn't Mbappe. Maybe it's
dude.
Fellow's speech before
They had
that.
so
Maybe
many
we'll
matches.
give credit to Fellow.
Like
he probably gave a rip.
the
I wanna
other
see-
thing that I
wanna
thought
see
was really
how
cool
many
with like the
defensive kills Persian had.
Yeah,
CWL
it had to be
era
a lot.
was
I mean,
I went to
21
I only went to
26.
one
What
event
are
during
your
that
thoughts?
era.
21 of his
I
26?
went to
Yes, that's what I'm gonna go.
Miami
Oh, that
in
seems
Black Ops
insane.
4.
Okay,
I'm gonna go
And
21.
I'm gonna trust you. You're
They
a
had
wizard,
the
man.
main stage, and then they had
Accurate
like
defenses.
3 different side
That's true.
stations.
No,
Or like
it
2 or
felt
3
that
side
way.
stations
How many was it?
for the pros.
19.
And then they
Real
had the
close.
entire pit
19 though. He had a
for
ton. Led the
the-
lobby in that category.
the
I mean, he
amateur
was definitely
teams.
their defensive playmaker, and it came
And
down to that.
it
nothing
was
else. There's
a
not really much popping off the
huge
page.
setup. Obviously, that was back when they
Well,
were
he is
playing on
playing
console
exceptionally
and
well.
not on PC.
Yeah,
so
they're just
like,
not finding success.
I think
I'm just curious, he's
financially
one
it
of
was
those
a lot
players that I
cheaper
hope eventually
to
gets
have
a-
all
gets
the
a good
PCs
chance on,
set
like, a
up and
solid
then have
team.
like
Oh,
a
just from the start
you know
of the
a
year?
decent monitor
Yeah, not
jumping into this
for
like,
every
last hope.
player.
Situation. situation
But like,
where you've got 30 CDL
dude,
points.
it was crazy because you know you would have one
ideal,
match
but we'll
going
take a look at
on
some of the highlights. There weren't actually
the main stage. And then you would have like I remember me and my buddy, we went over and we watched Thieves play Optic on a side station. We're getting to sit like 5 to 10 feet, well, I guess
level, you just
maybe
see
10, 15 feet. away from this little side station
out a lot more.
where they had a bigger screen above you
very good at playing their
to watch like the podcast and stuff. There were no announcers. Like you just got to watch it as a raw gameplay. And you got to hear the players a little bit more when they would, stand up and erupt. Like, it felt more like the Passion Pit, despite the fact that it was the pro team. Like, that shit is so cool.
Purge so good on the defensive side.
Dynasty in a side station playing Panda in that elimination round.
Yeah,
like you would get stuff like that because they had so many matches going on. Like they had to mix things in here and there. Some teams playing on the side stations. And we had 3 different streams. It was like you had the main stream, the Alpha stream, the Bravo stream, Charlie Delta. They had so many streams to watch, man. It was
crazy. I don't know if I ever believed in LAG or if I was just lying and trying to trick myself into believing.
That's all it is, really.
Yeah, it's just lying to
yourself. That's what faith is.
Yeah. I loved it because your favorite team would be playing basically every day.
Upsets and
so it was like at some point you would probably get to watch your favorite team play.
There's still a chance. They're very much alive. We have a brand new map.
That's true. Well, if we get to the map 5, they are. Yeah, we'll see. They still got to get there. We're going to take a look at some stats, though. My producer told me the names of who we're going to check the stats for, but I didn't hear them. Oh, yeah, no, I was looking at you.
I don't know if they're going to get rid of franchising or not.
Good eyes, Joe. Yeah. Good eyes. I'm just staring at you.
Well, you pointed at Awakening, and he pointed back at you.
They might not. It would be interesting
to
see. I think there is a way to make it good still while having franchising.
The series. Johnny has had
at least like viewership wise, because like I said, I don't know. I don't know about like behind the scenes for owners and the actual orgs themselves, but
in the search, he was solid. Well, big part of why they had that comeback.
I think the first step is like
despite their struggles,
every team needs to host a major, and they need to host it in their like city that they're based out of, because otherwise, what's the point of having franchises? What's the point of being in a specific city, even though most of the teams don't play in a specific city? What's the point of that if you're not going to get an event there?
Especially the stake.
I think that's step number 1, at least.
That's a well done stake. Lost 9.
Even with the ESWC having the top teams from every challenger scene coming in is so cool. Yeah, like so.
I was literally racking my brain like, what is Joe?
I guess we could kind of talk about it a little bit.
We just had a miss.
Basically, like what I was thinking
keep our team on their
for challengers. Me and my buddy talked about it, or for CDL.
I haven't had one in a while.
Is if you're going to keep the franchising, that's fine.
Stakes aside.
But what needs to happen is every team needs to have an academy team.
Snoopy.
Every team needs to have a challengers team. Because
now he's suddenly the lone man as the rest of his team got closed.
Because every team
like what kind of finesse
needs to have a place to pull players from. Because you have
it's going to lead to
obviously teams like Optic, like FaZe, like Thieves, who just have more of the financial backing to buy players.
You've also got the P2 spawns taking a route. It's going to be what,
especially with like Optic, right? That's never going to change. That's never going to change. Optic is always going to be number 1. They're always going to have the best players. So to me, if every team has an academy team, you can have players pull up, or you can have teams pull up players from their academy teams if they start struggling. So like LAG this season, for example, they struggled, they pulled up a lot of people from challengers, but if they had an academy team, they could pull up players from their academy team. Similar to like baseball, if anybody watches like competitive, or like baseball, professional baseball. Baseball has multiple systems.
I mean, we've seen
teams lower,
we've
right?
seen some great holds from the front.
So like if you
have trophies down, but
if you're getting to the point where it's like, hey, this player is too expensive for us, we need to get rid of them, but now we need somebody to fill their spot, you pull them up from your minor league team. I think that's going to be the best way to start to balance out the possible competitiveness, because it's possible. Like,
first player on the hill, then it's the second.
I think like you look at
somewhat split this time.
NYSL, they brought up Hydra, right? Look what Hydra became. You had Ultra.
You have 2 people on
They
rotation.
brought
so
up
did it with a little 2-man game there for a while. So
Kleenex and Insight when they first transitioned to CDL.
Just 20
and then later they got scrapped.
To have hard point
so it's like,
here, but the first pick is going to come as
I think having a set of academy teams
one to open things up and maybe
lower,
set up his teammates to get in
like
again.
in challengers, basically.
Purge montage.
You would have it be almost like a G League, rather than have it be like what challengers is now.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you should have like CDL. You should have like Challengers League, which would be all the academy teams, and then you have like open challengers.
You're going to see
like
the
open bracket challengers, because that's how they get scouted for this,
Awakening, but he's
this funnel system.
A lot of LAG players
and I think,
to deal with, just trying to slide, stay alive.
I think if you're taking players and putting them in a situation where like they're getting better coaching, getting better, just better everything, being in an academy team, the talent level in general is going to improve, which will allow you to then expand the league and bring in more teams.
Another opportunity to set up and hold.
That's kind of what I think.
Can they actually hold this time? Where's the spawn going to come in for number 7?
A scouting series like they did in Cold War, if you remember that.
So it was Cammy one time, it's Awakening this time. They get the opening kills, and once again, within the first 10 seconds of the hard point.
But I look at it a little bit as like League of Legends as well. Like the Thieves had an academy team, and they ended up being brought up, right? Like they got brought up, and then they ended up being a really good team. You know?
But they just don't wait for him. They don't wait for him. Tiz and John
that's kind of what I
think. Too early, and it's another multi-kill for
but
this man.
I'm yapping.
Yeah, punishing the mistakes. The timing is just
Boston
a bit
is
off. And I know that frustrates you, whether it's like an individual or just kind of hitting
Purge is 15-8, Snoopy 11-5. Their ARs need to step up a little bit, but I mean they're up by 50, so it doesn't really matter too much, I guess.
He is taking over right now.
Yeah, does not care. Anytime it feels like he is on the screen, it's going to
every team picked from a pool of top challenges players.
Purge had like
NAU,
8POC, I said, you know,
etc. And they made a squad of 4 for every team in the league.
Oh, he's almost at 2 minutes.
I do not remember that.
I just noticed. I was like, well, halfway through the game. Yeah, that's what you want. This is like what this is literally the stat line.
Yeah, I think
Awakening.
I just think like
2 minutes in the hard point, your subs high engagement flying
like,
around. That's what you want to look
especially
like.
after the whole conversation
why you're almost up 100.
that like Envoy had brought up of
it's
there's not really talent in
like
challengers.
Had the rotation win.
I think what he was meaning is
so much for being 6 and 8.
There's not when we were talking about expansion, or like when Todd was talking about expansion. There's not enough talent for
look at a
clothesline
like and drop
several
this LAG team.
And I think that's more of what
that
he meant.
miracle in the map too.
Like,
they're only allowed one.
I think like Zuma, Octane, and like the flank guys. They brought up like, well, you guys came up with that.
On 5 straight.
Scrap was a challenger's player.
Use it here. That's
Hydra was a challenger, but like you had other people get brought up. Or Ghosty was a challenger player. Sorry.
If he'll use it,
might be too late now.
You had these challenger players get brought up and they become really good. So like saying that there's no talent is just wrong. And I agree with that because there is talent in challengers.
Go on to highlight it.
The problem is I think it's individual talent.
That was a big deal, Joe. There we go.
You're not going to make a team out of 4 random challengers players and pull them up to the league because they're not going to be talented enough.
Was busy earlier.
One guy might be.
He's answering the
but
call now.
I guarantee you if you're adding in, what, we have 12 teams right now, we want to bring it probably to 16.
Well, the problem is like, they're going to go for
you're bringing in 16 players from challengers.
You have the missile.
There's not 16 players of challengers that are going to compete with the top level teams. It's just not happening.
The Persianator.
Like straight up.
Great job in this map so far. I mean, he's slowed down a bit.
If you set
he
up
was what, like 15 and 8, somewhere in that ballpark. That's what happens
academy
when you stop breaking and there's finally a hold.
Then I think you can get to where these guys will
here, though. He threw a stun and nobody looked this way.
And then,
I thought a couple of players would just
like, guys individually can get their shot at the big leagues, right? And then when we get to the point where, hey, we want to do an expansion, you can maybe add 2 teams, and those 2 new teams get to pull from like the academy teams.
Streak still in the back pocket, right?
Yeah.
Of Awakening, so you might.
That's kind of what I what I think. That's what me and my buddy talked about
try to
recently.
break, but you
That
just
we
thought
think
maybe
would
you
be a
could do
good
without
idea.
it, or at least make it a mess here, save it for a rainy day.
I think Envoy meant more so the bottom teams in the league
to
can't
this play
compete.
right now. Just trying to
So I
find
bring
this
in more
20
teams
and then
that,
they can use
that
the
can't and just
rock.
widen it. Yeah,
If
exactly.
they need to, but they're going to get the 20.
Exactly.
Going to be on this
Which I
rotation.
think
One
he's
player
right
already
in
there,
that
Johnny.
regard. But I think the way everybody took it was that he was
I
saying that
thought
there's not individual
nearly
talent
super close,
in
but
challengers.
Doesn't walk away with it. Yeah, this should be the
Which,
setup around the Hellstorm. Final second.
if
ticks
that
off the
is what
point.
he meant,
Players want to
I
get safe and in a
disagree with
position they
that
can start
because
to collapse.
there
Imagine he's a
are
call. You got one
players
spawning
that are
as well.
individually
Cammy dies
talented.
there in that
But I
melee.
also
That's
agree
the
that
worst
there's
time to
not
drop,
a
and now this is
system
setting
to
up
get them
the
to the
pinch coming in
league.
from
So
the
that's
guy
why
that
the
spawns out
talent
Lunars.
is like
So
dropping off.
This might amount to absolutely nothing.
I mean, at least
I think
they're off the
adding
hill
like
and
an
it's a little
academy
bit
team
crazy. You kind of see LAG.
It's not that
for
crazy.
every
No.
team
It's not that crazy
would
at all.
add
Well, I just meant,
incentive
like,
because
everybody's
like, hey,
running
I could get on the
Kinda
academy team,
squirming
and
to get
if
back
I'm
to
on the
point, but
academy
he
team,
really only had two bodies
now I
kinda
have a
close,
chance
so
to
he got
be
shut down.
brought up
Oh,
to
boy.
the big leagues.
Hold up now.
You know, I have a chance to be
One's down
brought
100,
up to
now
the
down
pros
60, dear Lord Mbappe.
because, you know,
Still some
if
time they can earn here.
say
Johnny
you're
on
on
5 in a row.
say you're on the Thieves. Damn, Johnny gets 5.
Cuts down 4, gets out to 7 straight, and where it was Purge early.
Sorry,
maybe
that was
it's
crazy.
Johnny late. Still though. Down 50
Say
more
you're
to do.
Hello gets 3. What the hell is going on here?
Is this the new rocker? Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Is this rocker, dude? Someone pops a crazy play, and then suddenly everybody levels up.
Okay.
One streak comes to an end.
That was kind of
Johnny's
crazy.
still going to be on his.
Well, he wants one more for a
So
streak.
say
That's
you're
what
like,
he's
say
playing
you're
for.
on
He
the
is so
LA
close to the
Thieves.
Hellstorm there it
Like
will
say
be.
right
Okay.
now,
Now they're trying to back
that system
up.
was
He
set
wants
up
to be
right.
on
That there's this
time.
academy system,
And while they do spawn
and you're on the
one out,
LAT
so they get a
academy
little too
system.
aggressive.
Obviously,
And
you're
that's why
not
you're
going to
gonna
get
see
brought
Fella
up
back
right
on
now,
up.
right? Like you're not going to get brought up onto the Thieves team. They have what
Still going.
people are deeming as a
Spree.
super team.
Still going. That's a nutty win. But
You're not
finally,
going to get brought
he will
up
get
to that
pushed out,
team.
but he's still got the bodies
But
in the point
if the
lead.
LAT academy team is like the best
For
team
Boston Breach, the dream
in that
still
academy
alive
system,
for LAG.
you
I'm
might
becoming
have
a believer.
teams like LAG or
100
Falcons
point advantage
earlier
at one point
that
is
would
gone,
look
and
to
now
that
Johnny is
to the
going
Thieves
nuclear.
team and
He
say,
is
hey,
just
we're going to bring them
shooting.
up.
Fellow right
Similar
there
to
with
like
him, I swear,
what
every time.
what
It's
FaZe
those
Black
two
was
lighting
doing,
it up. Lead
but
change
have it
is
be
looming
like an
now,
official
and they've got
thing
the
that
setup
all
for
the
the P2.
teams
They got
have.
cracked wide open early.
I think that
on a
would
P2,
this
this time looking to get a much better
improve
hold.
talent.
Fella might spawn out
It'll
here, so they gotta
it'll be
careful.
more
Great
incentivizing
win
to
by
bring more
Lunars. I mean, he
talent
was
to the
weak
game.
drop shots.
All that kind of stuff.
Fellow is out of the play. Boston need to be quick on this
Team
through
was
lobby.
thugging it out on LAG Academy before.
Somebody wants side stairs.
Nobody's
Probably
watching it.
DiamondCon was for
Watching it,
sure.
and they
Joe
just run
Deceives was
upside
on the
stairs,
academy
and now
team.
Boston Breach
Like,
are in.
there's
I
talent.
thought LAG
There's
was
talent
in a
there.
decent position to maybe hold. But side stairs is open again. Snoopy goes on through, and now it is nothing
Exactly,
but
Joe.
kills for Boston Breach. And I once had a dream.
Dude, LAG
and now
brought
that
this
dream
shit
is
back.
feeling very, very, very dead.
Well, they might have to use a Hellstorm right away. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have this now for like P3. So you have
LAG
to break
started to bring this
is
shit
still
back
not
while I
an
was
easy
yapping.
break,
I thought
even
this
with
was
the
kind of
Hellstorm.
done.
You're forcing them in, but now numbers are still equal. You can still lose. Breach can win it here. Kismet did a slide on through numbers, not gonna be on his side. Oh no.
Oh, no, no,
Oh,
no.
no.
Still just a tick or two advantage here to close out the map on P2. Last effort for LAG. They made a
they're not
run,
getting
but the
the
run
kills.
may be coming up a little
What I
bit
say,
short.
chat, LAG
Last
was
player
gonna
up
win
is
the one
Kismet.
map
Kismet in a
just for the
dream.
series to still
dream
be a
is
3-1.
dead. Boston Breach win 3-1. It was a valiant effort from LAG. But
I mean, that map was much closer than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Yeah, I was trying. I was really trying.
putting it out
I was
there.
trying to have a dream so much for them. I really was. Yeah.
It was a lot closer than I thought.
but there's a side door.
No, there is. There is a side door. They'll probably pick that up next
It was
time.
better than I
But,
thought it was going to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it was just a day of upsets. I wanted to believe.
Yeah.
Because all the other upsets, I'm like, they can do it too.
No, my pick'ems, I picked Boston. I didn't believe.
No, I hear you.
I definitely didn't expect that.
I think it was just the 1-5 comeback too. That was insane.
Yeah, we were into it. We were into it.
I was trying to get fired up, man. I was trying to harness my
Yo,
inner, like, old school
Clifton.
Vincent and Miles LaRosse and Bryce Tacular. Just get fired
What's
up.
up, man?
I was trying, man.
I was waiting for your Twitch to go live.
LAG let me
Nody, everybody, but forgot CDL is YouTube only.
Shout out Kotaku.
Yeah, I wish I could
Breach.
watch God on
the
Twitch.
series win. Purge. I mean,
do.
Purge started to get slammed too. He was what, like 16.
I feel like YouTube. I don't like that I have to make like the thumbnails on YouTube every time I go
you were
live.
up 110 at one point.
How we doing? We're doing good right now.
Closest.
I mean, League of Legends team kind of got spanked, so that was a little disappointing. But I mean, we're about to get this Thieves COD match going on, so I'm excited for that. I'm amped up. How are you doing today, Clifton?
I don't even know if you'd use that.
It's good to see you in the YouTube chat.
Not good.
No. I mean, the fact is, you're doing everything. You have to break there. The map is over, so you're trying whatever you can.
Whatever you can. Yeah, I know.
You just unfortunately can't quite like. pause it midair, curl it, go under, and like.
Well, if there was like a hole on vault and you put a missile through the hole, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, we shoot
missile
missiles
through
and
the
holes.
hole. Heard.
Boston win.
Missiles, holes, and what's your favorite door?
P2 door. It's a good one.
Side door is a pretty good one.
Always watch it.
Break it through. Boston takes the lead and the dub.
And the dub.
How proud are you?
I'm proud of Boston.
Poor
I
Allie.
am
Of your LAG squad.
so mad at LAG right now. You did everything. You did all of the work to
Allie
set
was
yourself up
losing it,
for an
fam.
opportunity. And nobody's watching side
Missile
door.
hole.
It's not even that. It's the fact that
Yeah,
you
they
got the
were
call that all
giving
of
some
Boston was pushing
crazy
through
comms.
mid to hallway, and you still dedicated not only 2 people to fences, but Johnny instead backtracks time instead of re-hitting that open door to maybe go for a pinch. It's just like there's so many vets on this team, guys.
Damn.
Somebody make
I will
the
say
call.
the one
Let's focus
downside
on
of
the
like doing these
positive
watch
here.
parties at the
Probably
time
on
that
the
I do
green
the
team,
watch
man.
parties
What did
is
you
I
see?
always miss out on
Whoa,
lunch.
in the control, some heroic effort.
I always miss out on lunch because I don't like to eat on
Obviously,
stream.
build yourself a fantastic lead. And you get inside
But
here
by
with
the
a
time
good
this is
hold
going
on
to be
P2
done,
at
it's
the
already
end.
going to be like
You know, LAG decided to
5.
invest the streak, and
Probably like 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish. So then at that point, it's like there's no reason for me to eat lunch. All I really had for breakfast was oatmeal.
So it's gonna
So
be definitely like people are gonna argue about it, but I think in that situation you save the streak.
Second most important meal of the day.
You try to bang it out as a
Yeah,
unit. Like,
lunch
you've been
is
shooting. Johnny was having
lunch is
kind
not
of
typically
takeover
in my
moments.
arsenal.
But yeah, I mean, this is like the woes you have. when
Lunch
you
is not
just build
typically in my
roster, right?
arsenal.
Things are going to be given up. You think back to the control, same thing, getting flanked and getting 2-piece. Wake had a huge impact 2-piece. Purge with the same thing to stop them on fences. So it's a young LAG team, and they just make 2 mistakes as it stands.
On the positive side, though, for the side of Boston Breach, Purge Masterclass, Snoopy Masterclass, those 2 work the map incredibly
Well, that's the
well
thing,
together,
Joe. It's
and
kind of
honestly,
like a toss-up
Giveaway,
for
when
me.
that much
It's like if
pressure
I
is relieved,
eat,
he's also able to
if
pop
I
off
eat
as
late
well,
enough,
so
I
a
consider
solid
it
series out of
lunch.
Boston Breach.
But
We are
typically
now
I
joined
eat
by the
like
man who had
before
pop-off
noon.
potential, and he showed it in that game.
Typically I
for you.
eat
Goes by
around
the name
10.
of
So like
Purge.
for me, I still kind of
Purge,
consider
welcome
that
to the stream. How
breakfast.
you feeling?
Feeling good. Glad we got the dub. It wasn't. It was pretty sloppy.
Like
but,
noon to
you know,
1
just
would be
glad we
like
got
a
the
good
dub.
Yeah,
lunchtime
there's a little
for me, I
mixy
feel
there
like.
throughout this series. What is it like playing when you have a whole group of Challengers players come up?
Yeah, I mean it's different because we're not used to their playstyles. Like they definitely play the game a little different. We haven't played them this year, obviously, so it's a little different than playing the other teams. But we didn't really know what to expect because we haven't scrimmed them, obviously, since we played them. But yeah, they're good players.
Exactly,
Purge,
Joe.
it feels
Lunch
like it's been a
territory
little bit
is
of
noon to 1.
inconsistency from the
That
Boston
range.
Breach right now. What is
I would
y'all's
say.
main focus as we look towards
Latest
Major 3
2.
and near kind of the end of the regular season? Because you've got some insane wins versus teams like Toronto and LA Thieves, but sometimes you guys struggle when it comes to the teams around you.
Yeah, I think we definitely been focused on control, obviously after Major 1 and Major 2. Glad we're getting some dubs now. Just got to find consistency across all game modes, which is what we're trying to do. Putting our head down, practicing hard, and yeah, I'm confident that we could do something at this next Major.
Purge, I want to ask you about Search and Destroy because I feel like you guys are a great search team. Obviously, like your guys' numbers on the season don't exactly reflect that. They made some huge adjustments there. What were they doing that was throwing you guys off, and how can you improve in that game mode?
Yeah, no, we went on 5-1. I mean, you go 5-1, you played, you know what I'm saying? You kind of take it a little bit lightly a couple rounds, and then you look at the scoreboard, it's 5-3, 5-4, and then it's getting a little mixy. So, I mean, they adjusted correctly, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're doing that one round. They didn't plan the 2v2. That was probably the craziest round I ever lost.
Oh,
and,
dude, that was insane.
Yeah, I'm just glad we got the dub because that was a crazy map. I was mind-blown we lost that map.
Craziest round
Yeah,
I've
that
ever
was a
lost.
crazy-
Yeah, that map kind of broke all of us.
That was a
You guys
crazy
go on
map,
to win
too.
the series, though, and I was looking at the big picture. You are sitting at 120 points. That's now 10 points with this win. That ties Optic Texas. I'm looking here at 4 teams rather, and there's only 3 spots. Optic, Boston, Miami, Minnesota. Who doesn't get into champs?
Man, I'm not going to jinx myself. I'm not going to pick nobody. I'm cool with everybody, so, I hope everybody makes it, you know what I'm saying? But we're definitely going to do our thing. We're going to be there. I can promise you that.
3 teams
Well,
at
if you win
130
tonight, Purge,
points.
Not only do you move over Optic,
And then
you
Rocker's
are
only
also
30
over
behind.
the Heretics all the way up into the number 6 spot.
That
Welcome
is
back
kinda
to
crazy.
the left side of our standing screen.
Appreciate it, man.
That is Purge. That's
any
Boston
prize
Breeze.
picks for
Their work
LAT
is done
today.
but
So
our work is not. When we
if I was a
come
little
back, we
more
still got a
financially
whole
stable,
nother
there
match
would
to
be.
go, Nameless.
Yeah, it could be a
but I don't really have the money to be thrown into prize picks right now.
Contending top 4 version or the middle
I lose
pack
way
6
too
save
much.
version.
All right, we got to Scuff play the game as
I
well.
lose
Let's
way
take a
too
look
much.
at this one before we get to that next match. We have to tie the bow on Boston's dub.
You told me Optic would be
This
tied with
one,
Breach in April. I'd have
the
left
closing
you
moments
face,
walk
literally,
me
dude.
through it, Alley Cat. This is gonna
I
be a
mean,
round 5
there's a
control.
lot of things
This
that
control was
I
everything,
think
'cause
if
LAG win this, we're
for
looking at
Optic
map
at
5,
least,
that could
if
have
you
gone
would have
either
told
way.
me
It's just
to start the
Boston Breach
season, I
in a
would have
tough
been
spot.
like,
There's
yeah,
only 12
right.
seconds left. It looks
Yeah,
like LA
okay,
Eliminates
sure
might pull
thing.
the miracle, but again, it's off of the back of players like Snoopy who are capable to get
Optic
these
has just had
insane
such a
kills.
crazy
Yeah, I mean,
year.
and prior to this, LG had a ton
Just
of
had
pushes
such a
over.
crazy year, man.
They could have captured that point, but there's just so many times a player gets behind them, makes a big impact.
All right, chat. I think I'm
going
going to go to the bathroom real quick before we get into this Thieves match. I will be right back,
Dude,
though.
Snoopy is so good. Like, for the longest time, it was like, oh, they're building around Snoopy. Like, what is he gonna bring? Is there any consistency? That guy is disgusting.
Well, we learned why Snoopy belongs on Boston. Cloud9 going to try and prove why they deserve to wear the sky blue jerseys. It's going to be a showdown against one of the best in the league and a day full of upsets. Can Cloud9 pull one off over the LA Thieves? It's a final match on the Super Saturday.
The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The Arcade Wiz Tracer Pack is available now. Hit the map in retro glory with the Star Player Operator, pixel-inspired emblems, and more.
Over to Hook, sends it.
Let's go. The curse has been, well, potentially. Hold on. Don't choke it just yet. 10 more seconds to go, but they got it, Miles. They're gonna get it, Miles. Priest is popping 4 pieces. They're winning champs. They've done it. What?
Kids gets an AR to work with as well. Gwyn, no, gets 2. And it might be a Gwyn ace. Help now coming in from Gwyn to the back. Give the man the ace. Monster series so far out of him.
Lost man Nero.
Me too. Could do it.
1v1.
1v1.
Nero the Emperor again.
That was ferocious.
Oh, that is disgusting. But now exited 1v2 and he's got these boys in position. Can he get the 1v1? Can he? Oh, what a win!
Parallel levels of hype as well. That is a filthy 1 versus 2. Tip it to Exnid having a monster map.
Rocker through the threshold. Both corners covered. Damage in from Gio, the first man. The pinch is down. The kills are on. 2v2. Over to Hook. Sends it forward.
Oh my god!
Texas survived the round 11.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, chat, we're back. We had to throw on that Thieves jersey. Had to throw on that Thieves jersey, baby. Get ourselves locked in.
A The
get ourselves
2025
locked in
Cloud9
for this
New York team
series.
pack is available right now.
How are we
Each pack
feeling about the
includes home
Thieves,
and
chat?
away operators,
Are we think?
as
I'm
well
thinking
as
this is a
kitty weapon
3-0.
charm to keep you company while the competition
I'm thinking
gets
this is a
smoked.
3-0 because
Next time you boot up,
we look
sue
well.
up at the
We look
in-game
good
shop.
against Cloud9 at the last tournament. I just see it going our way again. Buddy, you're thinking a 3-0? We love that. We love it. Nah, for real. Jesus Christ. That's insane. Am I going to DreamHack? No, I wish. I wish. I would have loved to go to that, but I unfortunately cannot afford. I cannot afford. All right, chat. We're trying to get a picture here for the stream.
We take everything.
It's the final fight of the night. We have LA Thieves taking on Cloud9, and if you've been looking at the leaderboard, you know Cloud9 was in trouble at the end of Major 1. They made some moves during the Major 2 qualifiers, and at Major 2 they earned some more points. But now they have been riding the struggle bus, most recently coming off a 3-0 loss, while LA Thieves is coming off a 3-0 win. Let's start with the Thieves. What is working right now for this squad? Because when it comes to online qualifier matches, this is now 11 in a row.
Basically everything is working for LA Thieves. They've gotten better in all the categories they were struggling in. Specifically on Search and Destroy, that was probably their main focus when we would talk about the Thieves. And they were number 9 in opening duel win rate and top 3 in conversion, and now they're number 2 and number 1 in both categories. And they struggled when it comes to the defense. They're middle of the pack, but since attack has taken a back seat, they're now number 1 defense team in the league, number 1 in retake. I mean, across the board, you could.
I'm very interested to see about this rewind, chat. This rewind S&D.
They've been ridiculous, right? Championship contender for sure, and I believe they're going to get one by season's end. I'm going to keep going back to what Scrap talked about. It's like when they faced adversity, they weren't.
I'm a little concerned though because
it's all about that now. As Ali
Thieves
mentioned,
have
Search and
won.
Destroy still need to expand your map pool. We got 2 new maps.
They've won.
That has to be the focus for them throughout this
All of
entire
their
split.
matches so far. But FaZe has lost 2 already.
Maps and maybe
FaZe has lost 2 already.
Yes, absolutely.
And then
I will
Optic
take it to
has
these
lost.
teams. We've seen it in history.
They
over
lost
and over
2 as well.
Atlanta does it all the time.
After
LA
today?
Thieves is not
So,
in a position to worry about
if
champs,
we go
but Cloud9
undefeated
could be.
again,
Let's take a look at the team
we're gonna have to
representing New
lock
York.
in for the
Attachment
major.
Crew having some success
We're
this
gonna need to
season,
lock in
but
for the
not
major.
nearly enough to keep Cloud9 happy, Ant.
Yeah, I mean, people have been calling for like Attach, like saying like he needs to be the guy that gets booted.
I think
from this roster.
the series
And I don't
against
know if
Ultra
I
is probably going to be the
necessarily
most
agree. I
stressful
won't say that he's been
from the
performing,
split.
because he's definitely been underperforming.
But
I will say, when you look at this team,
if
they
I've seen
are
correctly
bad at
on
hard
who it is that
2
they
and 8 in
play.
their last 10. And the sub duo has been nothing. Like,
Let's
Krem's
hit this
been
2
great
times because we
in
haven't hit
Search
it
and
2
Destroy,
times
but
today.
Why has the community set the bar so low for the sub duo? I mean, both have 0.9s in the game mode. Both of them are averaging less engagements.
We haven't
than
hit it
Sib.
2
They're
times
on the team.
today.
Like, that, like, sub should be, one of them should be fast, right? And you know, I'm looking through the teams. Is there a sub duo that you would take these guys over? There's only one sub duo in the league that I would take Mac and Krem over, and that's Kiz and Johnny right now. And I don't even know because Johnny looked ridiculous in that last game.
I will say play devil's advocate just a little bit here because I do have some choice words for Cloud9. But I mean, let me just read off their past couple matches. They went against Texas, which now
To me, you got to keep Kremp. I don't know if that's just the Thieves bias, but Kremp has looked pretty good against everybody.
Incredibly
Like,
low as well.
you got to keep
Specifically
Kremp.
Sibs, because right now he's averaging a 0.6 again. And we realize now he's the X factor for this team. He has to be performing or they are not going to win.
I would love for people to legitimately answer that question. What sub duo are you taking Mac and Kremp over in the league right now? Because I really feel like for them, in order for them to be very good, it's like Sib has to fry, which he has done for the better part of the last month and a half or so, and you need the SMGs to be to set pace in the
I feel like Cloud9
right?
is just not, they're not
that's
consistent
gonna come in
enough.
2-3-5 everybody. You have to be good at hardpoint.
They're not consistent enough, man.
I don't know, maybe it starts here.
Could come down to Slaying, and you're going up against one of the best Slaying squads in the game. Let's take a look at your best of 5 for Cloud9 in LA Thieves. Protocol Rewind, Hacienda.
We banned
Finally,
Vault, HP, Hacienda, S&D.
Rewind, Search and Destroy is going to be a good matchup potentially here. If Cloud9 steals that Search, how do you feel about the rest of the series, Ali?
Yeah, I'm really interested for this Rewind S&D.
They feel good about Skyline not being an S&D anymore. I'm really happy to see Rewind put in here, and because they are 1-0 in that game mode.
Hey, Dill's got that facial hair
side,
back.
LA Thieves,
I think when Envoy has the facial hair, he's a different beast. Facial hair Envoy needs to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I like
That's
the
my
Game 5
opinion.
protocol if you're Cloud9, if you can get there. I mean, I feel like it's a map that they've enjoyed over time. The way that the ARs play it typically works out well for them.
I wonder if Scrap can
you know,
grow facial hair.
0-1 on it, right? You haven't had too many reps, and the one you did,
Because he never has facial hair. But I don't know if that's a choice or if that's he can't.
Cloud9 has not been able to beat
we've
them
never
in
seen
any
it,
of their
so I don't
3
know.
attempts. I think they go 0 for 4. LA Thieves gets the win tonight.
I would be interested
I'm
to
definitely
find
going
out.
with LA Thieves. This is a championship squad.
Yeah, I'm going to go with LA Thieves as well. I think they get it done.
Fans will also agree. Casters.
Yep.
Let's get it on.
LA Thieves.
Ding, 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 ding.
LA
Ladies
Thieves.
and gentlemen, time to get the final match of the superb, stupendous, and sensationally succulent Saturday. Nearly got that bit wrong. Underway. Final match of the day. C9.
That was a lot of S's.
Surprising 3-0. Last time we saw them in action.
That was a lot of
Chance,
S's.
how are we feeling about this one? LA Thieves, obviously a hot contender. Super
Thumbs
hot.
are in.
Top 4 team in the game. Definitely not number 1, but top 4 indeed.
For sure, and online they have been impeccable. So obviously LAT, as the Des talked about, with maps coming through, thinking long term.
Wait, we're
They're thinking
sponsored by
about
Corduroys
championships,
now
they're thinking
too?
about champs as well.
What the?
And champs in my mind
That
has
was
been the
not there
theme
before.
of the day. So we talked about how there's a handful of
That was not
teams
there
in
before,
Miles League
chat.
Optic series. Optic was in the best possible spot in
Did
terms
they just
of being
leak
on
a
the bubble for
sponsorship?
8th place,
Did they just leak
and
a
then they
Thieves
suffered,
sponsorship?
Like, the worst possible loss. Well, here's C9 in the worst
All right,
spot
chat.
amongst
If
the
you haven't
bubble teams,
already,
only 95
like the
CDL
stream.
points, but maybe with the
We
best
want to see these
opportunity.
boys
Win
get this
against the top
dub.
team,
Liking the
start
stream
righting
might give them
of
some
these
extra
wrongs,
energy.
you
I
know,
know
stopping
I
a
know it'll give me
4-loss
some extra
streak in
energy.
the hard point.
I appreciate
Really
y'all being
big
here for the watch
opportunity.
party.
Of course, though, LAT
I'm excited to get
is a
into this
very
series
tough
with
task,
y'all.
but in a sense, for C9, they have nothing to lose.
Let's get this dub.
Absolutely. Nothing to lose. Except for the series. Let's find out how we go. Right in a protocol. Opening rip. Looks a lot more red.
The opening
than I thought
blood,
it
but
would.
Crimp is already
Opening
bottom
up
blue.
tight.
Are we serious? Are we serious? I haven't had a buffer all day, and you're telling me to start this series, we get a buffer?
It's a done. That's going to be Ghosty in time, and that is going to be a little bit of love there in the kill feed going the way of the LA Thieves.
That's insane.
C9, not a tremendously strong start.
No, in Hydra, that is a tremendously strong dance move, just to pirouette around a player. And
I don't know how
somehow
Hydra
delivers
just
him
got
a
away
kill.
there.
So he just cakewalks through P2.
Those are big kills, though.
P2 kills, and yeah, the river runs red in the kill feed. That's bloody, and this might just be a P1 beatdown, and this is Hydra in a moment where apparently they're not going to shoot back.
Well,
it's a great start.
Shoot back when he keeps maneuvering like this. The Phenom on quite the run. Kremp finally puts it down. Finally ends that little spree, but you've not done a whole lot to maintain
gets
P1.
2.
So that has gone very, very much the way of the LA Thieves. An opening 39 to them. P2's going to open up for business any second now, and Kremp will be the man doing the dishes.
Good start so far, but
right now.
it seemed like we had the opportunity to have positioning for P2, and then we went 2 dead.
You read it. You didn't win the gunfight, though. A bit of a scattered moment. At least you trade out Scrap, and okay, you clean house. You haven't, like, flipped the spawns yet.
Could be a good amount of time
Long-term,
for
that's what you want to
Cloud9
have,
here,
but
unless
you're
Thieves
getting
are
a
able to
decent
break
chunk
from the
of
back.
P2 time until it gets taken all away, and you get wiped off the board. So LAT will continue to run the score up.
Got a bit of an awkward situation here, though, with Sib on a pinch. He might be able to get the timing on this right and get a couple down. Mac finds his kills up front, so there should be a break. Is anyone there from the Thieves going to be able to keep this one going? Ghost.
Thing here is going to be spawns. We're going to have to try and get those spawns.
That's disgraceful. Nobody on time just yet for C9 as they have been unable to capitalize on this one. The two-piece from Ghosty there saves them.
Hydra's taking a route, though.
Now getting the scrap. Well played there out of the Thieves. And a Krem.
It's a good play out of Hydra.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a little bit scattered. So you had a phenomenal P1 from LAT, and then you had a 50-50 mixing one. That for C9, you're happy because you sort of win the rotation, but Hydra's been hanging out behind enemy lines, which means these
Hydra just has to stay up right now.
Number 2 actually spawns up right next to time, and Mac instantly reads that there's somebody behind them. So C9 heads up gameplay. Gotta convert.
Yeah, great play from Hydra there.
The attack through the front 3 dead. Oh, Krem to the old in and out, trying to stay alive. He does the best he can.
That was a massive play from him.
Thieves now on the full setup.
He caused so much problems for them.
Is theirs for the holding. C9 now trying to make the break through the backline. Mac, what have you got here, son? There we go. Number 1. Second not going to be there. Comes his boys through the front line.
There we go, Dan.
Attach gets brought down. Ghosty.
I like that out of you, kid. 10 and 7.
Time keeps flowing red.
10 and 7 with a minute on hill. We love that.
Dealing out some damage, but he is behind on the rotation. Didn't actually help really too much with the P3 fight, so really wants to deliver here. A P4, and you're right back in the game, but he gets put on skates.
Oh, and we get 2 kills going in a row.
Envoy delivers, and Attach might be there for the trades, but Attach doesn't have a ton of help, and he ended up in a pinch. So a moment where
This is a huge hill.
lose out on the final hill and don't win the
Huge hill
rotation.
to get that row on.
It's a staggered attack here from C9. They're unable to get anything going together. Watch that cramp arrow. He's going to wait for the pinch. The setup here is absolutely on, but you're going to lose a good 10 more seconds before this play is really able to get things going. Here we go, down spiral, lads. We've seen this work out before. We've seen it not work out.
Nice.
It's not working out right now. Another big one. Krem gets involved. A little bit too late. Front door red and dealt with. Scrap on the immediate turn.
All right, the teamwork is looking really good out of the Thieves right now. I love to see that. Because we've had some moments where their team play just isn't. It's not really there.
Knows what his job
but right now they're looking
on LA Thieves
pretty
for their
cohesive.
job. Deliver. You have a massive lead in C9 against this squad. Really can't give them too many opportunities. If you're losing out on P3, you gotta win the P4.
One more, Dan.
Inactive, and now they're getting beat down. Ghosty, 6 spree,
Let's go,
14
Dan.
and 7, a minute and 30 in the hill, and he's calling in the Hellstorm.
I love this for my fantasy team.
Wide open hill. C9,
I've needed this from Dan. I've needed it.
One of 2. Hydra also has one. Halfway onto time.
Oh.
Snaps are there as well.
Ooh.
Sib taken care of at 1:30-ish and climbing. The Thieves are in full control. Let's go for a listening.
I have my own outer. One pinch to
Listen
sit,
in.
100% don't. Top zip and top doubles. And outer. 2 by time. Top zip, top doubles. Outer, top zip and outer. Last 2. Outer, by the way. Kill outer. Nice. Last guy zip, zip. Yo, I'm staying out heli. Okay, spawning dog.
Yeah,
He probably pinched again. He probably pinched again. Nothing pinching.
Pull up, one bullet. On time. No, outer.
Outer is. Outer one. Mid gun. I have a kill. Mid gun back. Top trips weak. Top trips. No, Ivy. Zip.
Oh, he's it.
Zip and Ivy. Zip and Ivy. Last guy zip. After that, he's out mid gun. Hey, one heli, one Ivy. One heli, one Ivy. Ivy steps, one top Ivy.
Mid.
2 or 3. I got one.
One more mid attached. Mid gun. On top of the guard.
3 old, I think.
Okay. At least 2.
Yeah, old got me. Sneaking fucking
I'm going low.
shit.
Yeah.
Nade old.
Whoa.
Let's kill the scrap old, yeah?
I'm pitching.
No, we should play mid.
Just called somebody a snaking shit.
You got mid. Nice, just hit the hill now. Hit the hill. Probably steps in time. Hit the hill, boys.
Let's go time.
In tower max. Now we pitching top broken. One more broken. Front tower. There's spawning. Deep right. Spawning triple. I got that.
This one tower.
They could have put behind you.
Yeah. No. We got
Top broken. Done. Nice. Deep right. I need deep right. I have my own steps. I have all of mid. I need help. Already ladder and steps, guys. Ladder and steps, I think. No, just one for sure. But ladder.
Got one mid late. 2 mid. Mid gun right now. Mid gun. Yo, Bill.
I'll get you stairs. Top broken. I have your stairs. I think it's ladder. Ladder, top broken. Back, then. One more. Top stairs. One more. Top broken. Default.
No, see us.
Cramp, absolute steps.
Oh, good.
One mid gun. Last guy hold the mid gun.
Just go low, Eddie. Go low.
I am. You play for yourself, though. I don't know where you went. Hold.
Tower weak. Nice.
I'm jumping up Ivy.
Are we blocking or what?
Dark stairs.
This one in.
You do. Give me a second. Single. One's in the back.
Nice.
Probably top.
This one out.
Good route from Dill.
Boys, both stops. I'm going up top. Someone get hill. I'm in the back of dark stairs. I got it. Top. Mag. Done. Missing cramp. Back. Ivy.
2P1.
Ivy with deep Ivy.
P1.
Deep Ivy.
Don't low
Ivy in the back. Keep blocking. Bill. Last guy P1. P1 dead. Spawning parallel.
Yeah, all up. P1 spawns.
I have the left, by the way, Ernie. Focus your right.
Here.
I'm out stone, by the way. In the back. Mid alley one time. Play time.
Front door of time.
Mid gun to front door as well. Front door in the corner. One low dead. Just hold them. Lockers, dead. One more fucker needed. Nothing for dead. Nice. No, it's attached. It's attached. He's new. Spiral. Oh my god, absolute spiral. Almost got turned on. Absolute spiral. I'm not kidding.
I don't think he's
in the back. That's already. Paco, one shot. Still in that. Watching his pinch. I'm here with you, Paco. You can just
nice.
Just one. Bang. Gonna be spiral already. I'm banging big jar. I need help. Grab it. Backside and one spiral. It's spiral right now.
What the? Whoa, how did that nade just die, chat? What the hell was that?
Are we seeing the C9 resurgence?
You guys saw that, right?
Well, possibly. I just know Scraps out here delivering sound bites for us, so I can always appreciate that. Just like I can appreciate a good break, but I don't think it's going to happen. We're going to get a good hold instead.
Did you see that?
Kremp and Attach working together to lock down Spiral, and well, on the outer wings, Max there to cover the door.
Kremp is right now, 25 and 18.
I mean, P4 is the hill. It will make or break you on protocol, and right now, as you said, Miles,
this is a big hold for them.
It's making the comeback indeed. C9, here we go.
Dude, they like threw the nade to maps,
Ghosty now,
and it got to the opening, and it hit the opening and just stopped right there instead of going through.
Unfortunately,
like
final
to
few
the
members
end
are going to be going to the Thieves, but a worthy break there from the C9 boys. Decent
How the Thieves doing today? League did not do well. They got
exceptionally challenging, and now the
right now this is map one, so
didn't finish the kill.
Thieves are looking pretty good, but they started to let Cloud9 get back into this one a little bit.
To kill the Phenom, but otherwise you pay.
Yeah, there's a lot of close for no cigar sort of moments.
Still up by about 100, but
even
I mean, this could be big time for Cloud9.
And then just played so distant. Everybody's sort of looking for the bigger play, and you lose some scraps. You're still trying to dig yourself out of a 80-point hole. You do get sent.
Gotta lock in and try and close this one out.
2 kills in his favor, back a 2 spree as well. Here's some momentum, and here it goes.
Well, not necessarily just yet. Okay, at least 1 kill with it, no problem. Envoy's going to take care of Sib upstairs. That's great. There you go. So it does pay off. It works out indeed. The Hellstorm sucks the air and sucks the life out of the play there for C9. And now over 200 points. The LA Thieves, exactly where they want to be.
Envoy's struggling a little bit.
Eyes towards P2 and a Mo. They're going to try to soak what they can at the first point.
They scrap, but I mean,
they're just hanging out. I mean, I feel like the
Can is 27 and 21, which we don't typically see from him. So.
And Hydra, I mean, this is just prime territory. 30 and 16, double positive, and it feels like Hydra has just played this map with complete freedom. Right from the jump, making highlight plays without getting shot back. And, I mean, now it's just a comfortable finish. 25 points to go. LAT.
There we go, Dan. Dan is shooting right now.
He's doing it this way as well. I mean, there's no one home whatsoever, so he's totally looking the wrong way. We're about to try to give him the gas, and what happens? Well, he gets killed on the flank. Good job there, mate. But either way, you've got the hard point right now. The pinch is here, and Ghosty on his 4th kill in a row, looking for number 5, and it's not going to be there. His teammates trying to push up and help out. And C9 are doing what they can to hold this one together, and Mac is fighting for his life here on P2. Slow, concerted effort right now from the Thieves. 1 break's all you need, lads. Will you get the break, though? That is the question. Open hard point for now, but more C9 bodies on it.
You know, if I remember correctly, EasyMac gave us the hill-to-hill stats, and I think LAT are actually the worst P2 protocol team in the game. I think they're like 1 in 10 on it, if I remember right, which is like distinctly bad. And even watching him there, like, it just looked weird. It's a weird sort of style, but ultimately, you can be bad on one hill.
Yeah, Kremp is shooting. However, I was gassing him up before the match started.
Points is collapsing a little bit, and you got C9 set up towards the new time. So LAT, be a little bit careful.
He is proving it right
now. Make a play.
He's trying. This is it. He's been red. Got to get the kill here. This boy's trying to make something happen as well. Okay, Sib, Kremp, they get theirs. It's still happening, folks. Mac finds his. Last piece of the puzzle Ghosty dealt with as well. Back on a time we go.
All right, we got to lock in. We're letting them get back into this.
I mean, a massive comeback. You get a good P3. They got all
We're letting them get back into this.
Chilling in the middle of the map, calming everything out. If he doesn't see anything, it means they're down low. So Envoy's taking a route, but number 3 Sib is ironed up for this exact push. They're still winning the gunfights. Timing does not go his way. And now the trades start to roll through.
Nice. There we go.
Come out on top and scrap there to make the break, and you force the spawn out. So the danger has been quelled.
That's it. Crisis averted, folks. Last chance here to stay alive for C9 and keep this run going here on hard point. And the answer is no. It is a big old punch to the mouth from the LA Thieves. They certainly lost their breath throughout that hard point.
All right, got a little nerve-wracking
but
there.
not enough to keep it
Definitely got a little nerve-wracking towards the end. Kind of let him crawl back into it, but we're able to close it out in the end.
Should have been a lot closer for them, and it should have been a lot hotter off the rip. But
we like to see that.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, and this cookie was delicious for those boys.
maybe scrapping the comms with a little bit of disrespect.
Yeah, that got a little nerve-wracking, but
fun reference,
you know, we
fun
closed it
person,
out. That's all that matters.
Maybe the protocol P2s a bit
seemed
of an
like
issue
during the
LAT,
listen-in, they
but
got a
ultimately
little
the map
too
in the game
overzealous
mode
at
is
moments. It
not
seemed like
absolutely deliver in spite of Krem's best efforts. I think he gave you 38
I don't know,
kills
like
there
sometimes their
and
energy is
pretty
really good in the
sizable
comms, and then
advantage there
sometimes
in
I
the
feel like it's a
lobby,
little
but across the
chaotic.
board,
I felt like during the
rest of his
listen-in towards the
teammates,
end, it started to get a little chaotic.
Frankly, for
But
C9, they were just
I
on the
mean,
back
Hydra
foot
and Ghosty
right
just went
from the
insane.
opening break. They were
Hydra
just in a
32 and 22,
40-point
Ghosty
deficit, so
31 and
LAT
27 with a
on
minute
point,
50 in the hill.
homework done, and, I mean, everybody sort of
We'd
doing
love to
their
see that.
jobs. Ghosty,
We'd love
2
to see
minutes
that.
nearly inside the hill. Him and Hydra both getting Hellstorms as well for a 50-point game. That's about as comfortable as you're going to want it for an LAT.
Yeah, 17 objective kills.
Yeah,
from
it
Ghosty and
did.
17
It got a
kills
little
from
nerve-wracking
inside
for
the
sure.
hard point. That is absolutely brilliant. Lovely kills there across the board there, and this setup
Got a little nerve-wracking there at the end. We were kind of spanking them and then let them just kind of slowly make their way back in. But
that was so weird, man. You're never going to be able to deal with that. You're never going to.
It is, Joe, and that's the hard part. You got to be like perfect on protocol.
Ghosty's a very interesting player as well, because obviously, you know, people talk about his comms, and when his comms are on point, one of the best in the game. Admittedly, can be a bit 50-50 at times, but for a player that has like that reputation and is the super soaker inside the time, very snappy player, like still super high skill cap, as is this entire team. So yeah, LAT having a lot of fun, and obviously everyone not named Kremp really gonna have to try to step things up and turn it around, because you're having those moments off the rip where Hydra is just, you know, if you're not shooting back, they're gonna run you over.
He's going to have a great time, yeah. I mean, this was the thing. A lot of the times we see Hydra get those big kills, it's because he's shooting players in the back. He's given the free reign. He's got all the intel in the world to operate. He knows where the players are, and he finds that open space, and he abuses it brilliantly, man. I mean, that's not even what makes Hydra such an insane player. So you're really having a good time here if you're the LA Thieves and Respawn. S&D, we'll see how things go. Again, that's been a pain point and a strong point for them in different ways, but you kept the gap really large there in the first map. A strong start indeed. If not for the comeback, that would have been way, way worse.
For sure, but even still for LAT, obviously a team that is going to be very confident. C9 did not really plant a seed of doubt into the back of their minds. Handled it from start to finish, and it's always nice in COD when you just feel like you are in complete control of the game. It is very tough to sort of wedge that out. Confidence is everything. Maybe Rewind will be an interesting test between these two teams. Very happy that this map is back, and I love the way it plays for Search as well. Maybe an opportunity for C9 to see if they can make it a favorite one for them. Certainly my memories on LAT on Rewind are some of the best. I think the hard point that they had, I think against Atlanta FaZe, still might be one of the best maps in the year. So Rewind, I'm happy you're back for S&D. I still miss
This is our map? Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so.
That one up, but
I'm
yeah,
hoping so, Joe. It's been a minute since we've seen him play it, so.
246 maybe.
Ooh, early on as well. Search and
Has
Destroy,
been
as
a
far
minute
as we're
since
going to be
we've seen
diving into
play
this
it.
one, it's been pretty good for the LA Thieves. It had been a pain point, you know.
But our
It's
S&D has
working,
looked
fellas.
good,
14
obviously.
and 4. Team KD is great. The attack win percentage is great. The blind win percentage is great. So let's face it, folks, everything is good. The good news for C9 is Rewind hasn't been around for too long, so they're going to have to delve deep back into the playbook and remember how to play it.
An interesting note of like relearning
I think
how
these
to play
guys
certain
will,
things.
these guys will be good.
I mean, it's the
I think
same
they'll be fine.
storyline every time for Hydra, where at the start of the year he can start out slow and search and destroy. But once he figures it out, he just ascends. And
Let's
stage
hit
1,
that 2 times.
bottom 5 S&D player
Let's
in the
hit that
game.
2
Stage 2
times.
Hydra top 5. So maybe the new map will set him back just a little bit. But
Flip
everybody
a
on LAT
rewind, bang
absolutely,
out.
sort of in their form for the game mode.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Trevor
yeah.
talked about how he is reputationally one of the best AR players in the game, but primarily focused on his respawn prowess. He's a lead S&D as well, so he wants to let that be known as Envoy's posting.
Damn.
2.25.
Envoy's number 1 in
This is
KD rank
this
for
level of play.
S&D. We'd love to see that. We'd
Here
love
in
to
the
see
COD
that.
League, a 2-point anything is pretty unbelievable, let alone in S&D. Admittedly, a relatively small sample size, but nonetheless, impressive to say the least. Let's see what magic is in the trunk.
We
of
love
LA
the Dark
Thieves this
Prince
time
over
round.
here.
You get a chance because elephants got trunks.
I've heard that rumor.
It's also like if they were a traveling magician and they had tricks, they would probably keep it in some sort of large, like, secure trunk so that people can steal their secrets.
Well, I don't know. Scrap might have seen
It's a
him
double
there.
whammy.
You're thinking Trunks. I'm thinking Vegeta.
Okay.
I've never actually bought Dragon Ball.
There we go. Good first blood.
That was really good. That was great. Even better. Envoy on the instant fly forward does get a trade.
Still does get traded out. Why am I getting buffers right now?
And it has been spotted out. So here come the reinforcements from C9.
There we go, Hydra.
Bad news. Hydra's already on it. No, you got to get the bomb, bro. He went for the ghost plant. He was like, I'm holding the button. What? There's no bomb.
He was ready. He was ready to plant that.
One man left alive for C9.
Get that kill, Dan, please.
As the fun and games of this round come to an end.
Attach might be
round one goes our way.
Player in the game at just being last alive in a 1v whatever situation. I think he's in them more than any other player, and I think it's by a decent margin. But obviously a 1v3, you know, you're clutching him 2% of the time, so not ideal. Just pointing that out.
Yeah. Strong opener there from the Thieves. Going on the opening nades as well. We love to.
Boys are feeling good. They're laughing, having a good time. We love that.
On Rewind. An interesting map again here in the Black Ops 6 world, where the minimap doesn't necessarily show you what's going on the inside. There's a lot more detail on the inside of the Rewind video store that we do not get to see. So it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But we can assure you, folks, the action is furious. As Attach gets away with a kill and his life. Double back straight towards the site. Nice stuff out of Krem. The turn and burn on the drive-by there leaves it all down to Scrap.
See what Scrap can do here. Oh, this would be a huge nade.
The best in the game. Opportunity to prove it right here. Bomb those swinging. They're taking sort of a nice route all across the map. So Scrap not working with too much information. Just taking his time, clearing out both bomb sites.
The bomb site's not necessarily concerned
See
just
what
yet.
Scrap can do
the time
here.
on this is going to be really good. We're seeing shadows and shoulders.
Oh, insane shots.
Kremp gone. Attach. Spots it out. The fadeaway there. The stun connect. The reposition. And the hunt is still on. The clutch is still doable. An Attach planting by A. What will Scrap do? Directly towards the site, I would imagine, but there are so many corners on the inside of the A-bomb to check. The Rewind video store, a labyrinth.
I remember in Advanced Warfare, Attach was dubbed one of the most clutch players in the game. A long career.
Oh, what a clutch from Scrap.
Anticlimactic, and
what
that is
a play
1v2
from Scrappy.
from Scrap. And that is just a tone setter.
Yeah, it's the new releases you really got to be keeping your eyes out
We
for.
love
folks.
that.
Scrap. Look at this. The hop onto
Dude,
trash.
these
Firstly,
shots on
the
Kremp were
kill.
insane.
1, 2, 3. It was all headshots.
Oh.
Absolutely ridiculous. That is lethal.
That's filthy, dude.
Then top trash. Perfect view of the inside. The best way to look at a maze, folks. From high above. A fantastic play there from Scrap.
And just
That
to
was
check
filthy.
it, beautiful thing about casting from home is I
Filthy
can just look at the
shots.
stats on the fly. This now makes 40 total opportunities for a clutch for Attach and S&D. And he's obviously 0 for 2 on this map. But he came in with a 7.9% clutch rate. Obviously, that's probably down to like 7.4 now.
Getting things done in gens at the moment. A lot of shots ringed out there. So again, the red dots all over the place. You know they're going to be close. And Envoy, hungry for it, wins the opening engagement damage-wise. Oh, and Civ walks right into trouble. Scrap on the pinch. The one and done. Envoy back at it again. Can he get a second on the round? Whoa, the hops and the shots are all good. Spots the intel on the third man. What a life.
Dude, Attach again.
Right now.
Last man
Chance
alive.
was right. Chance was right, man. Attach is last alive every time.
It doesn't finish here. And
There you
behind
go.
door number 3, the third member of the Thieves. They drown him out once again.
Having a grand old time.
Great start to this S&D.
Most fun team maybe we have in the league. Always enjoying each other, always smiling in the player cams, and making sure you have great execution the whole way around. Virtually everybody getting involved in that one for LAT.
It's looking like they are still feeling pretty
comps,
comfortable on
he's making a
Rewind so
play
far.
call, or maybe they're talking trash. Honestly, with this team, could go either way.
Could be both at the same time. Envoy, you brought up his comms earlier. Obviously in the intro Thieves for the LA Thieves video. It's so weird that he just interrupts Dan while they're trying to do like a pre-match chat. I wonder if he's ever done that IRL. Very strange. But a cool video nonetheless.
This is about to be crazy timing between Civ versus Scrap.
Oh, what a rat corner from Scrap.
We'll let him know. In the
Mac
meantime,
does get
Mac
2
gives you
though.
2P, so you have a 2 versus 2, and Scrap was ready for Civ. You'd never be
turn for the
prepared for
1v2.
Attach in that moment, but where Scrap was able to clutch a 1v2.
I need it from you, kid.
Now it's Ghosty's turn.
Ghosty has such a lovely angle here to see the players coming by RV, but he's exposed quite a lot from behind. playing it low. Spotting underneath anything that could possibly be coming his way, and Attach might be going for it. If the B-bomb site is the target, which thank goodness it is not. Ghosty now gets a shot at 1v2 of his own.
Let's see what Dan can do here.
This time Attach has got friends who are alive for the time being. Let's see how this one goes.
And, you know, for a fact, Ghosty has an AR in your hands. Play a tight setup. Just make sure you can guarantee a trade.
Perfect checks. Noise. Pulls Mac forward. Two-man chow. Lovely damage to the reposition. And he's close.
Oh my god.
1v1!
Dude, that would have been insane. That would have been insane if Dan was able to get that, dude. Oh, that would have been crazy.
C9 said no thank you.
I think all the LAT believed too. Ghosty had his hands up. He thought he had that one dialed in, which in fairness, I mean, great play in terms of a 1v2.
That would have been wild.
That one out as best as
that
you
one would have
possibly
been
could.
Crazy.
I don't know exactly
Romano's
how efficient
back.
those
Let's
wall
go.
bangs are on the spot for Attach.
We did win the hard
just
point.
tried to let it rip there. Either way, in a 1v2.
We did win the hard point.
You know, gets the second guy half HP.
We started off really
kill,
hot,
a
and
good
then
try, but ultimately, as stated,
Cloud9 kind of started to
players, you just
bring it back
sure
a little bit.
Trades,
ended up winning it by 50 in the end. Had a big break on the P4.
Envoy. Wow, they wanted it bad, and you got it, mate. C9 puts two of you to bed instantly. Stun checks are there. Scrap might be in a great spot indeed. Catch Mac out unaware, but now he's just a red dot.
Oh, he's chasing
that red dot has been dealt with. Kremp finds another one here on the round. 3 in a row still for Mac. Ghosty in a 1v4. Take 1 or 2 players with you by all means, but good luck with this one, mate.
Damn.
Yeah! Oh my fantastic play, Kremp said. C9 back-to-back rounds in rapid fashion.
Okay, chirping a little bit, trying to get some enthusiasm there in the mix and let him know ultimately. You just had a Jacqueline.
Oh, he's trash talking Dan. That's why.
You know,
he's chirping Dan.
Seal the deal on that one. Either way, first 2 kills ultimately seal the fate of LAT in that round. Great first blood, great follow up, and 2 rounds now in a row for C9. So it would have been nice for them to have gotten that 2v1 back. But ultimately, if you make the comeback, you're happy.
I think 1 round away right now. Attach the Island Man. This is this shows you why statistically he's alone in these 1vx moments. He and Scrap will be the lads on the outside as the
2 big rounds
Bravo
for Cloud9 there back to back
towards the A-bomb site. And Kremp still sitting on that 3. He's trying to get the RC car. And oh my god, Envoy!
They're playing opposite rat corners, bro. That's
back
crazy.
There they are.
Oh, he's not gonna check it. That's so tough.
Oh, so close to the RC
That's
as well.
so
Mac
tough.
gets this as well. So Mac's on a 4 spree. This is an unbelievable round. Damage in. Send in Kremp for the kill. Super the covering fire. And Kremp gets ever closer, but not a thief to be found.
I just love that. It's just the patience.
2v3.
Once noise is made, who's going to sort of tweak first? Well, Kremp ends up delivering. But for a 2 versus 4, next man falls. Sib now chasing. Because Attach is out of the picture, and now you're a little bit nervous.
This is not over yet. The Thieves.
That was a big pick there from Ghosty.
Kremp goes wide. As the Thieves do. We are running around each other, and the Thieves, they're on the tail end of this snake. They're the guys who are going to be stinging the most. Kremp spotted out in the open. No kill. Huge damage, and here comes a cookie.
Good nade here.
Ghosty gets it done.
Great
Damage on the last
nade.
man. Surely you push it here. Kremp 1v2.
Nice.
And he
That's
was
a big round.
trying some ish there, boys and girls. The Thieves hold it together.
3v2.
Yeah, and a 2v4 as well. That is the round that
We love
certifies the stamp of devastating. Not ideal, and that was a 4 spree from Kremp and a strat call, honestly, from C9. That was perfect. I mean, you made the noise in sight. Mac gets the first blood. It sort of baits out Envoy into death, so those
Great
2
nade
kills
from
go
Paco.
down at the exact same time, and then you just give it away. And C9, again, a bubble team right now, not going to make it to champs if the standings remains where they are now towards the end of the year. So you definitely need some extra wins and some wind in your sails.
Well, this is the way to do it, folks.
See,
2-2 off the rip here.
Oh,
And it
yeah, I
kills the
think he
part from
saw him.
Hydra and Ghosty.
Yep.
No one's going to be anywhere near any sort of viable streaks, but RCXDs on a map like this, there's so many tight corners, you can catch players out. Whether or not we'll get to see one of the remainder of this match.
Getting a lot of
Still to be
audio
seen, but
cues
lots
here.
of presence here on the A-bomb site for the Thieves. Envoy still the first man in. And there's no way he gets through that door without being spotted.
LAT, though, really taking things slow, hoping to sort of bait C9 into death and let them make a mistake. But C9 posted up, not overcommitting, and
here in RC,
that zip is coming through.
Looks like
Players
that one's
start
from
to get
us.
active. Envoy move towards the bomb, get it down. But Kremp is behind enemy lines in theory, so C9 have a good mini map.
He did get the rock down though.
Good
That's
job.
huge.
They use the RC to buy space. And it
Over
works
for a
out
retake
real
for
well.
C9.
Bad news now. The retake is on. All doors are
Trapped in
covered.
such
We're
a weird
inside on the
spot.
inside.
He needs to
And the
pick, though.
start for Kremp gets 1 3v3. The in and out fast movement. He's going on a wrap here. He's trying to pull some aggro. All corners checked, and it's going to be a battle in generators. Sib tagged up, covers from Kremp. Fantastic work to stay alive.
Damn.
Next man in. As the Thieves have been completely blindsided here. Last man Hydra. Can he get the player off the bomb?
Oh, nice.
Sure can. One more check, and that is
What a
map
play,
point. Thieves.
man.
From
What
the
a
jaws
play
of
from
defeat,
Hydra.
Hydra gives you the round.
A 1v2, a 2v4.
Look at that. Look at that
and now a
grin, bro. Look at that
1v3.
grin.
I'll be damned, just as C9 New York are.
We have seen Hydra pull off some pretty magical moments in Search and Destroy. That one, not even close.
That
But
one
still
was a great
great.
play.
But he does make
Great
it look
play.
very, very easy. There is a mastery. And C9. They
Yeah,
did
that
an
was a huge
amazing
clutch
job
from
to
Mono.
Clean out every possible space there, every possible avenue of attack. The
Hydra
Thieves
7
were
and
cut
4.
down, entirely blindsided,
Crap,
but
6
it
and
didn't seem to
5.
matter. The Phenom saves you out there. Here we go.
Kremp is 8 and 5. I mean, Kremp is doing everything he can to try
and the trades are there, and my
try and get
goodness,
these
it all
boys a
comes
win,
down to
man.
attach, to stay
He's
alive.
doing everything
Here
he
in the
can.
Search. The Lord of Clutch himself.
Not this year.
Uh-oh. You don't know that. It's on. He's challenged.
Ooh, good shots, Dan.
But Dan Ghosty, off the back of a sensational play from Hydra, gives you an explosive
Dude, I feel
final
bad for
round
Kremp,
that
man.
opens with a bang and ends with a
working right
1v1.
now.
But that
I
is
mean,
all you will see on
he's
Rewind.
making it so hard
2-0
for
in
the
the lead
Thieves.
right now, the LA Thieves.
But no one else is
They're
really
cutting
doing it.
C9 to pieces.
It's just him.
Yeah, they just truly have their number. 3 times they faced off this year, and LAT have beaten them 3 times. I mean, a 1v2, a 2v4, and a 1v3 in all of these moments where C9 have the advantage. It's, I mean, they do the hard part, and then they get to the easy part, and it's like they don't know what to do. Mac 0 for 4 on the First Blood's first death category, which is ultimately not a good look, though he was pretty involved. He did have one pretty big round, but yeah, really nothing positive to say about C9, I assume. Maybe more like clutch opportunities there for attach. We'll keep giving them tries, but yeah, 252 1 6-2 LAT. These guys are on cruise control.
Absolutely. Search and Destroy continues to be the best
Let's
mode
see
they
what
have
we get
in
out of
their
this
toolkit,
control
and
here.
damn
I'm
good
excited
reason they
for
stay
the
at first,
Hossie.
especially after a one like that, folks. Right, it's over to the desk. 2-0 at the half.
At least we're not going to another round 11. Well done, LA Thieves, and Mac just got picked apart. 4 first deaths is a rough way to go on Rewind. Let's take a look back at our search highlights here. Alley Cat,
Yeah.
why are the Thieves so dangerous?
Because they're really solid across all game modes, Search and Destroy included in that conversation. They're one of the best defense teams in the game, which is interesting because they used to be really bad at attack, but at least statistically it says that they've been solid for the past couple of splits. And the biggest problem for Cloud9 is they continue to let this bomb get planted by the side of LA Thieves. I mean, we saw it there in the final round. Hydra, and like the easiest 1v3 you possibly could have handed him. Just Cloud9, not a whole lot of life out of them.
Yeah, Allie, you know, 1v3, we got to hop on it. Why don't we chow Hydra? Huh?
Why don't we just fly out at him? I don't know.
That's what we're doing.
Why don't we just
If
chow
we do it all
Hydra?
together, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
We just go out one and challenge.
One by
It's just not going to work.
Delusional.
But yes,
Why
I mean, I
don't
think
we
Thieves
just
played this
chow
search
Hydra?
phenomenal. I mean, we're going to break it down in the clip in a bit, but you know, just setting up plays for the late game. It's like their offensive pushes were absolutely beautiful. And then you got a 1v2 from Scrap, which was awesome, and then obviously the 1v3 from Hydra. 2v4, some big clutches when you needed them, but
Yeah.
I just think the early round setup for Thieves was incredible throughout that whole search.
I just saying, come on, man, get me off this map. We are ready for map number 3. LA Thieves previously.
I'm ready for
3-0 in
map
Cloud9.
number 3.
That was just
Who else is
March
ready for map
22nd,
number 3?
Not that long ago.
Not that long.
3 weeks
No, I'm not
ago.
the only
Hacienda
one.
Control will be map number 3. Before we get to that, let's take a look deeper
I know I'm not the only
into
one.
the Search and Destroy. Nameless, can you, like, show me something cool?
Yeah, I'll show you something cool. Yeah, we've been doing some more search lately, and for LA Thieves, this is the game mode that they've been working on, and this is how you want to play it, right? So one of their offensive pushes, they're just trying to displace their opposition and keep them guessing. So this is off the rip of the round. We're going to talk about how they set up this A push. So
we're doing an S&D breakdown.
Envoy down here. He's going to push into generators, and he's going to make noise. He's going to pull players out from bomb site to try to chow him. But instantly, what he does after he makes noise is he's going to wrap back with his SMG and Hydra and push through and take space on the bomb, right? When they start to wrap over here, you now have lanes to push and take bomb. Meanwhile, while doing that, simultaneously Scrap then fills the gap that Envoy was just in and picks up those players, because as they chow them, the SMGs, like I said, on bomb, as they chow them, they start to rotate back over towards the SMGs, right? So they're like, okay, what's going on? All right, they're hitting gens? No, they're going back towards bomb. What do I do? Meanwhile, you're getting picked by Scrap, you're getting picked by Hydra, you're getting picked by Envoy. This is how you want to play Search. Get information, get out, go help your teammate, and then reclaim that space when you have an advantage. So you see they all go over towards gens. Envoy takes the bomb space. Now they have control of the bomb site. Scrap's inside, you're displaced, we have numbers, and now you lost the round. So the quick decision by Envoy, why he's one of the all-time greats, and then the gap filling by his teammates around him. Just unbelievable offensive push.
Cloud9 playing with confidence. I don't hate that. How do you play together better, though, in the remainder of these games? Because LA Thieves definitely have their comms on point.
You need commitment, in that situation.
Yeah,
right?
the boys seem to be locked right now.
Hey, there's a guy generators. I think they're trying to push through towards the site.
You could tell by their listening, they sound much better than they did at the tournament
entirely. We can't get into this
on Sunday.
Rat and mouse chase, going back for cat and mouse chase. There we go.
There we go. Hey, I like rats and mice better.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of rodents. All right, let's take a look at some more marsupials. Actually, there's some mammals. We got
Damn.
on the left, Scrap on
Dill
the
is
right.
number 1 in damage, in control.
147. You don't know about
That's
marsupials?
crazy.
No,
he's number 1 in KD and S&D, and then number 1 in damage.
When it comes to the damage, number 1
control.
versus number 5. Who's putting who in the pouch next game, Allie? Is it Dylan carrying Scrap, or is it Scrap carrying Dylan?
I think it might be Scrap carrying Dylan because of the map that we're going into. It's a little more AR.
We know a man who knows lots about marsupials, including kangaroos. Miles from down under.
I mean,
Miles has a pouch.
In Hacienda, you got FaZe running 4 subs.
Yeah, especially if you have Australian citizenship or if you're Australian by birthright, you have a pouch. That is true. Can confirm. I got nowhere to go from here, Chance. You better save me. Nope. You son of a... Let's get on the next match, folks. When you ask for him, when you need him the most, Ashworth's never there. Absolutely disgraceful.
It's tough to be abandoned, isn't it, Miles? It's not fun. On a Miami S&D, a Ramaza hard point? Are we serious?
Yeah, well, I mean,
not saying the third, because I'll talk about the third next year,
You got a Skyline hard point. Forget it. Thieves, road to major. Let's just keep rolling, folks. Let's keep rolling. It's getting very personal here on the stream. Thieves have started things off great. Surge, not a problem. C9.
Yeah, Toronto's probably going to be our toughest challenge.
For that to change. Ultra, the Mates, and the Ravens.
Toronto's probably going to be our toughest challenge out of all these matches. I mean, I would have thought Surge.
They're getting a little stronger in fight.
We got a quick 3-0 out of them. So
they're too well polished.
Ultra has looked really good.
Any of the modes right now for them.
I could see Ultra being the biggest challenge,
because this is going to be a nice sort of tone setter for the upcoming matches. Not just the way C9 are looking, but the question I have for you, Chance, is C9. They've bend. Are they breaking? Is it happening?
Bumps.
Bumps
are
I have
in.
no idea. I feel like this team can definitely bounce back.
Hitting that 2 times. In chat, if you haven't hit 2 times on my stream, I would suggest doing that so that way you're a little more caught up as well.
LAT, they're basically bouncing in their chairs. Meanwhile, C9, it's feeling like stage 1 where they're just having to recollect and figure things out. It is atypical in my experience to see Sid be in the motor mouth in the comms trying to hype his teammates up. Typically, he is just stonewall. Very solid. Marcus Aurelius would be so proud, but if he's getting active, that means this team
Here we
is
go. Map number 3.
A bit desperate.
In we go to Hacienda for our 3rd map here in the
yeah,
series.
Romano, let's wrap it up. Let's get this 3-0 here.
They have looked so good. And they're a little quiet right now. Attach has been deleted from the plat side of the map. Hydra springs into play. 3 dead.
I mean, this is a great opening break.
There's going to be a 3-man stack here on fences by B.
It's a great opening break for the Thieves.
I don't know what the opening break was for C9 or what the read was going to be, but even Kremp was worried about the rock hall, so he's made it back into the mix for the 2nd hit. And the
Give me
point's
another,
gone.
yeah.
So, yeah, not the best idea rolling through.
That's
for the
that boy,
opening break,
Dan.
and LAT completely capitalized. And it's not as if C9 really accomplished and got too much space on the map after the fact. You make sure to attach. Not going to be behind you. No spawn kills rolling through. Keep your guns moving forward. And keep the pieces maybe flowing. You want to get that trade and...
That was an early cap
but
on
LAT,
B,
it's actually a
so we
triple
got a lot of
stack
time to
through
work with
dark
here.
hole. They're working the left side of the map.
And they've managed to make their way into as many of the powerful, soft positions they can get themselves into. And it's left C9 wanting. They've got no idea what to hit. This is going to happen. Excuse me. As Hydra finds himself another one. Onto A. One-man capture for now, and it's not going to be a problem. Max trying to save that Krem from top window. Contest is now gone, finished, cleaned up, and the segment is not done just yet. The Thieves can get in there, at least C9 can save that point, then that would be ideal.
It's crazy kind of timing. Kremp managed to jump out of the window before Hydra spots him, but you know, as fast as the B zone fell,
I think they have an idea though that Kremp's there.
Just a little bit. They're spending a lot of time looking for Kremp. And Kremp maybe leaving his mark. Ends up getting traded out, but there's attached reinforcements there. C9 in the mix. Attached versus Scrap. For a little bit of positioning, and Scrap does catch him. So once again, you've cleared out your base.
Get these guys in a spawn trap here.
The man looking for some spawn kills.
I was going to say, speaking of positioning, oh, dude, the timing on this. He's waiting for the regen as well.
What the?
Open for the next challenge. Can't cross it. My good God, was he trying? Did he buy enough time for his teammates to make their way forward?
He did get another tick on
next
A.
man up. He's top office. And even after the opening B hit, which was so good, you haven't had that much map presence. You haven't had that much success on the A zone.
Farm them, Dan.
That's gonna sting. Now we're capturing A.
Oh, and Sib got caught. Sib got a two-piece earlier on, which is great if his teammates got out of the base, but because they got spawn killed, this is looking like this might be the round. Great
I think we should have this
slide in Gunny, and now you just get to shoot everybody in the back. Dominance.
I mean, that was a
from start to
comfortable
finish in this
round
series.
one.
They're not the best on P2 protocol.
That was a comfortable round
Otherwise,
one for the
phenomenal.
Thieves.
Phenomenal. That was perfect, man. You waited for the right time, Envoy on the slow capture alone, and then Hydra gets the perfect time with the next two players.
Yeah, Romano, that was a masterclass.
You know, really nice. The fadeaway slide.
Poetry from the Thieves.
Waiting for that extra few seconds after hearing the door pop and then jumping in there.
That opening break basically gave them
guarantees the intel to his teammates. You best believe the Thieves
straight
get
up
those kills. Great opening round.
I mean, all about their business. I mean, that had to have been one of the fastest, it's not the fastest, like, zone capture we've had in Control. Just instantaneous in the B zone.
That boy Dan is 8-4.
To get there. It's not exactly close to the offensive team spawn, but C9 trying to one-up them. 3 players headed this direction. Matt gives you the entry, and you got a little bit of pressure on the B zone.
This is great. He doesn't even need to throw that window, though, so he is going to be doing this basically alone, and now you know full well that that is going to be a power position to be worried about. Krem's got a tiny angle to work with there, but that's not that effective, especially with the Jackal at this range, and good God. Hydra right out through the fire, into the furnace, and goodness, he's hot right now.
They did get one tick. They're close to 2 ticks
looking from that perspective
as well.
Still, though, the pressure on the B zone is here. You expect Ghosty to get traded out. He does. Sidmo, maybe just a fractionally too late to the party. Going to be going for the solo capture. He does not yet have reinforcements. He also only has one gunfight to win. Unfortunately, wrong gun for the job. Envoy drops him in LAT. Remain under control.
Yeah, still. But at least one segment. It snaps there at a Krem. And that's it. The go button hit. You should be able to finish this segment at the very least, if not get the capture outright. Bad news, no one's got top control. And that is exactly where Scrap comes from. You get the segment, you keep the capture going. For now, there's going to be a quick contest any moment now. But there's pressure here from C9 through the corridor. So you do what you can to keep this damage off of Max.
Damn, they just dealt a ton of damage to the Thieves players there.
Man as well, and the B zone is gone.
Long time
it's
to
a big B cap for Cloud9.
Delivering there, and Sid just gets to be the cleanup crew, but a nice moment from on the zone. Max certainly one of the better objective players in the league, but now is where the slang is going to be a pretty big impact.
See, Hydra can be a pest here.
Lambo, and Hydra behind you in control is a nightmare.
Yeah, this is not a good thing, and you C9 are fully aware of this. They are committing resources to make sure the back is covered. Rear security has been pulled. Now to Sib. Oh, and he's got good timing on this. Great job staying alive. Not enough, though.
We traded out.
Ghosty's hands. Attached still, behind enemy lines right now, able to cause some discourse. Will the Thieves bring him down on the way forward?
I mean, A 3-screen from Hydra. Ghost is here for the setup.
We take
the
down
only
the
thing open
catch.
is the well side of the map, but Ghosty assuredly.
Now we just have to find Crim.
Hydra finally gets overwhelmed and taken care of, so that is step number 1 to getting out of your base. Now you got to clear out Secret. So many corners to check. At least you get the trades. You see Sid making sure that he has a Jackal off spawn. Sometimes you'll see 4 Jackals being run for this A zone capture because it gets squirrely. The number of creddy spots in and around this time, so difficult to root these players out.
Oh my good God, you can't even get through lobby. It's a very tight defensive setup right now from the Thieves. And Scrap trying to get out of spawn. Not as much of a problem. And here we go, Hydra. Clearing that little segment of
very little
progress
on
there in the A zone. 30
It is still fairly close
Thieves
in lives,
still
though.
very much in control. Only 2 lives apart.
It's just looking at the minimap, though. Thieves always have players behind enemy lines, and I mean, the number of places you can get shot from them on time, 4 different windows, 1 different jump over, you got connector, you got bottom secret. It's a nightmare to keep track of these things. You need a clean wipe.
Yeah, not bad either way. Oh, Tatchex tags in. Contest. It's over for a second.
You get the trade.
The life count
Big
is
kills
getting
there.
dangerously low.
Nice.
Kremp baited into
That
another
should be
classic
GG. I don't know
bait
if they
and
can
switch.
touch.
Final 10 seconds. Hydra pushes out the lane, finds himself at least 1 Mac
Nice.
from behind, and the Thieves run amok. It is
Boys got
2-0
kills when it mattered right there.
Here in control.
It was very close towards the
Completely endless,
towards the
that
end,
sort of
but
funnel system of LAT players just being annoying.
as the time ran
behind
down,
enemy
Thieves were able
lines.
to get those
Hydra
picks.
had his moment over towards Lambo. Envoy was taking his turn. Ghosty, like all of them, just making sure you maintain that pressure on the map.
And the man,
sort of playing up
17
the
and
zone
9.
You don't have to make a move until they step foot on it. And then you play for the cleanups and all the trades, all the bait and switches. Very
That boy
efficient.
Dan
Ghosty having
doing
himself
that
a
dirty
fun
work.
time here on Hasi Control, 17 and 9.
One more round, you're right,
Ghosty is
Romano.
the-
One more.
You know, one of the
That's
players
all
on
we
the team you
need.
don't expect to have to pop off, but this game alone,
I mean,
BO6
our
has
offensive
treated
round
them
looks
so
really good.
well. Looking back at his red card dominance in the S&Ds, I mean, nearly every series, Ghosty can give you some unbelievable pop-off moment. On a squad full of players that can do that, it is a brilliant lineup from top to bottom.
It's always
Hydra, the
great
other
to see
man here
Dan
on the
shooting.
approach towards the other zones. And a big old
Obviously,
stack here
Scrap
towards
is
B for the
typically the
defender
guy who
C9.
gets, you know,
Ghosty
gets
certainly
most of the
like
kills,
a
and that's
top
what you
10 player. I
expect.
enjoy
But
watching the game for like 1v whatever situation S&D. Watching him get to work, always good. But watching
Good
C9
kills
get to
from
work
Cloud9
there on
there.
that opening break,
Yeah, baby.
much more efficient. Completely shut down that B zone approach, and they are already in a radically different spot than round number 1.
Absolutely. Great coverage once again. You are never fighting one member of the Thieves at any given time. Except for that time, where Sid and Kreb get the kills. Now on a Scrap, who is on the absolute prowl here. You got Kremp out of your spawn, good
I think
stuff.
that's a good play, though.
But there's
Make sure
another
you
set
don't-
of players now flooding
don't
the
let
way
anybody
forwards
just
towards you. 40
sit
seconds to
in
go
your
to
spawn.
C9.
There's so many corners to check,
The
too.
trade.
At least you get the trades. You see Strap actually picking the side that Hydra was
Envoy
on.
stopping time on B as well.
Awareness on point. Mac
And we get 2
drops him,
kills.
but again, as you state, the trades very efficient from LAT. Someone always nearby. Now you got trophies out. 2 players on the B zone.
Yeah,
Damn,
this
we're
is
on
a
both.
thing
I
we
didn't
really
even
want
realize.
Right now on a B zone capture, the first time we saw him do this, it was immaculate. This time around a little bit
Oh,
ugly.
inspirational
well,
form.
wasn't there, but Sib is. Forward he goes, currently more at the life, but the trades again.
He did get
That is
3
what you
though.
want from C9. A life lead right now, and an opportunity to get on the board and keep this game of control going. Opportunity though still for the LA Thieves. Oh no! To get themselves on towards A, as Scrap is doing the thing with no HP.
That was
and no
disgusting.
He's going right towards the B zone as well, so they're just trying to get the double capture through. Both
That
their
was
teammates
disgusting
over towards
from
Rock
Scrap.
Also, right now, Scrap and Hydra desperate for help. So many directions to look.
Here we go. There's the big old dive there from Crimp. The slow one gets taken care of, and the zone contested. 2 players on it. Hydra can't get them both. You've saved it again, C9. Over towards A we go. Next chance. How many more lives have these cats got?
Well, they're down to 11. That's going to be an issue, and you're keeping the life count at least
Ooh,
even
that
between
would've been
the
a huge
squads.
win.
But Kremp strikes. Now you might have to go for a 2-zone attack. Ghosty's on A, Scrap's on B, and they're trying to flood in. They want to finish this B zone. They're desperate for
Dude, we're
it.
so close.
Team
We're so
kills on
close.
either side, and Ghosty still doesn't have help.
That would've been
and he
huge.
needed it. The trade's going through. 2 seconds left.
Wait, they stopped time on
Let
A
it
though.
end.
It will not end, and it most likely will not end here unless we
Damn,
get
big
2-piece
2-piece
out of
from
Sid.
Sid.
Put the
That was
arrow
a
away.
massive
This is
2-piece from
Submachine
Sid.
Gun's world, and that was the adaptation you needed.
I thought we had that one.
What a great round, and some ridiculous saves from C9.
take a deep breath too.
Just got a lot of timely kills.
I thought Scrap had the bailout.
New York got a lot of timely kills.
Get another look in the best play.
This was insane though.
Instant snap on attack.
Dude, his shots.
Round off finish, getting the wall bangs on the third.
I mean,
guy,
he's getting so many headshots.
The heroics, yes, you deliver a handful.
That's why
of
this guy
extra
gets paid the
segments,
big
so
bucks.
that's nice, maybe in the long-term game. But ultimately, C9, they get on the board.
You needed it. You needed it real bad.
It's all right.
Deep breaths. One more we go. C9, attack. Thieves defensively, we've seen them look very strong indeed.
I mean, straight up, everyone on
But
the Thieves is
Cloud9
playing
boys,
well right now.
Like they are a learning computer. They're advancing slowly but surely. Love that good
They've been
coverage.
starting to
Little
shoot
slow
down.
down from Sib, but it's
That
certainly
is
paid
not
off 'cause
good
Team Up
for
safe.
us.
So Hydra down. The Civ spree comes to an end. Envoy nearly getting another one there onto Mac. Lovely snaps. Good work from the hip. Over to B we go.
And Kremp in prime position. The timing, though, not on his side. Awkward moment. That player's stacking up, and he has a little bit of help there for the trades, and you still got number 3 Civ over towards top office, but Mac is going to need that protection, and he's not going to get it. Now he's isolated on the time.
Damn,
but 1v1, though, to keep it active, and he wins it. His team might be able to help him.
Oh, that's huge from Hydra. Buy some space. Now, you know, the office is not going to be a good place to be. Mac has to keep his head on a swivel. Both Tin and the top plat are an issue right now. Here comes the counterattack from the Thieves. Contest. Mac wins another 1v1. Keeps
Dude,
the capture
Mac
going.
is winning all the gunfights on the point.
This is the hero right now. 4 kills, all on time. And he's just getting his own by
He's
himself.
just straight up solo capping.
He cannot get any help from any one of his teammates. They just can't make it here. And finally, he gets shut down eventually. But a 5 spree to give you 2 ticks. I mean, tip it to Mac. He did everything.
Yeah, Mac just did everything right there.
His teammates are now fighting out a lobby.
He literally got 2 ticks on his own.
Side door. Nameless's
Guy
favorite
was fighting
door.
for his life.
Has got a member of the Thieves inside. He's just trying to slow the approach now of C9. They cannot advance without checking those corners. Mac, once again, looking for another 1v1 win. Doesn't get a whole lot of help there from anything. And Scrap still making the play happen. 30 seconds to go. Chance, this is going to be a tough B zone capture.
And Kremp versus 3.
Nice.
And he does not have that sort of something special sauce Mac was bringing towards that zone. And if you had a solo capture on the B zone for 2 ticks, that means Mac bought his team 30 extra seconds of time to actually play with. And in spite of that, they're still just down to 20. They got to make a play on B.
30 seconds in this map is insane. Back over we go. Mac, we've seen you do this before. Can you do it again? And this time, no. Scrap says, enough of those shenanigans. This time, attach. Oh, nearly wins an insane gunfight.
Good win. I thought attach
And
almost
Krem,
had
you
that.
cannot send it alone. You must wait for the lads. On towards A with a capture now to buy some time. That time has been bought back by the Thieves. And wait, Krem is making something happen here. The
good
slow
shots.
dive on towards the B zone. Can he do
Gotta
it this
tip
time
it.
round?
They keep losing the pinches, though. They keep losing over towards dark, and you have an elongated gunfight now. 3 players flying over through the plat. A pinch is rolling through from Sip, though, but attach falls. Last man standing on the time wins the gunfight. 7v6, and he falls, but number 2 staying on A. Mac has been living on the objective, and he's living with 4 red arrows surrounding him. That poor man needs
There we go,
some
chat.
help.
That's a 3-0 victory for the Thieves right there.
C9 are pulled apart by one of the teams in the finest
There
form
we
we've
go.
seen in the league for
There we
quite
go.
some time. C9 New York down and out, a vicious 3-0. Signs of life there in the control and a lovely resurgence in the hard point, but otherwise, LA Thieves simply too strong in their road to a major 3.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Cloud9, not a cap to be found.
I did call it Clifton. I said 3-0.
I mean, again, that the stretch that Mac just
I did say 3-0.
Never had any help. His teammates couldn't
Scrappy
get through
33 and 24, Hydra 26 and 24,
surrounded
Dill
for
21 and
so long.
23, and Dan
Still was
25
able
and
to
20.
give you, 6 objective kills. He's doing all that from standing on the time, but
Great series
simply
out of
outmatched
the boys
towards
today.
Maybe the ultimate tale. In every single game mode, just across the board, LA.
Yes, sir, Hoodie.
Number and Scrappa.
Yes, sir.
Perfectly fine performance. 33 and 24. Great damage as well.
This is a
Only
great series,
understanding it
chat.
just for Scrappa,
Great
just
series for
expect
us.
it at this point.
He also had 3
I'm interested to
assists
see how we
and,
do
went
against
to those
Toronto
5
tomorrow.
So my guy was running around alone, just finding those kills solo.
I think
with 3
Toronto
final
could
score
be
there.
a series that we go the
Series.
distance.
C9, good luck
Just
on the next
because
run,
Toronto's
but for
been
now,
looking really
LA
good.
Thieves just so
They've been
hot
looking
right
good.
now. They're so hot. They're like so hot.
Let's see who we get for this interview.
12 online
Who are we
matches
thinking we
in a
get for
row.
the interview,
So
chat?
just like Chance's sweater, if you guys want it, you can get it at your local Goodwill. In the meantime,
I'm thinking we get Dan.
let's,
I'm thinking
can
we get
talk
Dan
about
because he had
LA
himself a
Thieves?
good series
Alex,
today.
In the last 11 matches, what are the 2 losses for LA Thieves? Pop quiz. I hid your papers so you wouldn't be able to look up your notes. All right, well, Al is looking for the correct answer. And
my mic.
Do you have it?
Toronto.
And
well, they also Boston.
it was Boston.
Okay,
That's right.
There we go. Nice. There we go, baby.
Well done. Allie, way to find your mic in less than 30 seconds. That was impressive.
That was impressive.
From the ground to back on, just like that. The fans wouldn't have known, and they wouldn't have known about the dominance from Cloud9 because it didn't really happen.
There was no dominance from Cloud9. You're right. What is this? April Fool's City. Anyway, LA Thieves, I mean, there's only so much you can say about a series like this, especially map 3-star. You're too boomer to know that reference. But LA Thieves, I mean, they look unreal, dude. It's a continuation of what we saw during last split when they went undefeated. I mean, it's dominance across the board.
Yeah, they look extremely clean. I mean, you couldn't trade Scrap in this control. He was just absolutely everything. But yeah, I mean, the improvements, and especially the search and destroy, are what I'm going to take away from this series. You know, this is a Cloud9 team that's been pretty good at search. You know, throughout last split, coming into this one, you expect them to put up a better fight there, but getting clutched on left and right, the vibes are flowing in the Thieves camp.
Cloud9 has a tough road ahead of them, and they have had a very tough last 7 matches. Let's take a look, though, at the best play of this matchup. It's a round 7. Let's take a look one more time, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the 1 versus 3, and this is what I'm talking about with challenge.
Hey, GG's.
Yeah, I mean, somebody slides
GG's
out,
Drifty. Good to see you in the chat today.
And then now we're in a situation
We'll
where
see
it's
it.
like,
We'll
okay,
see you
bombs
tomorrow
planted
for the
from
matches
multiple
as
different
well.
angles. All Hydra has to do is go back street. It's a 50-50
Hope
guess.
you have a good rest of your day.
Kremp just picks wrong and ends up getting there a little bit too late. It's just an unfortunate situation.
Imagine dying to that. Like, that's his reaction. I would retire.
All smiles from Hydra and all smiles from us tonight. Thank you, LA Thieves, for the only short match on the day. We started with the grueler. Let's go all the way back at the start of the show and talk to you what happened between Atlanta FaZe and Miami Heretics. You know, if you're hoping for a game 5, didn't really get there. Miami looking clean.
I mean, what's crazy is, like, you look at the map spread out of this, and, like, it was pretty obvious Atlanta FaZe is still trying to work on their map pool and make it as deep as they can heading into this major. But
so are we not getting an interview?
Heretics to capitalize overall. We didn't expect them to take that control. We didn't expect the continuation of Super just being disgusting up against a team like Atlanta FaZe, and makes your expectations and your hopes incredibly high because we're heading into their home major.
Unpopular opinion. Miami Heretics are the best dealership team in the game right now.
They look good there, Chris, honestly. I mean, I think the way both teams play dealership was awesome. It's been a nice addition to our map pool, but, you know, this Miami team, winning controls, the hardpoint was extremely clean through their last 2 games. Like, they're all of a sudden a contender. I think after watching the last 2 matches, you have to say Miami's a legitimate contender headed into Major 3.
If you want to compete against the best, everybody has to be contributing. They got the job done on the slaying front. Miami Heretics takes down our #1 seed, and you can see what
that
it
is
means
crazy
to
that Miami Miami have now beat what? It was Optic and FaZe.
Before Super was on
That's crazy.
0.89. Look at him now, Allie.
I think this is great.
That's
for
actually
Ells
insane.
Individually, because he's kind of been that player that's kind of been coasting with Miami Heretics. He hasn't necessarily.
All right.
done
Well, if we're
bad
not
per se.
getting
He's just kind
if we're
of
not
been,
getting an
I feel like at
interview,
that average bar, but
I
it's
think I'm gonna
ceiling
call
so
the stream
incredibly
there.
high. So
Appreciate
to see
everybody
him
who
play
tuned
this
in
way
today.
versus Atlanta FaZe, like,
Hopefully you guys will tune back in
Surge.
tomorrow
He
for
leads
the
lobby
match
in that
against
game number 4. Let's take a look though at another squad
Ultra.
that was frying when it
We will
came
be
to the
live for that.
hardpoints.
We'll be live for
Clearly the stronger squad over Optic Texas.
League of Legends match tomorrow as well. So if you're interested in that, you can tune in either on Twitch or here on YouTube as well. We hope to see you guys for that if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll just see you for COD back on YouTube. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for tuning into the stream today. I appreciate you all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.